Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing Devin Haney moment ruined, Brian Norman Jr., the king of the South, and Lamont Roach faking. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button. Make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. How's everybody doing tonight? Give me 1 second. Man, how quickly and fast things just flip, flop, and turn in these YouTube streets. It is crazy. I mean, we went from fights being ducked and made and agreed and signed and trying to get out of, like, it's just been a lot going on. And we're gonna chit chat about it tonight. I probably ain't gonna be on here long. Maybe on here for about an hour because it's been a long day. But y'all make sure y'all help support the channel by hitting the Cash App at 2 Cents Boxing. And let me know and drop it below your 2 cents in the chat. Or you could drop a super chat with your 2 cents to help monetarily support the channel. But please, please, please be sure to punch that like, and subscribe with. Now, let's get into this real quick. I want to let a couple more people pull up in here, but it'd be slow on the late night. On the late night. Put a one in the chat if you work. If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. So, news came out today that Devin the Dream Haney has been a restraining order placed on him from his estranged baby mama, ex-wife, or maybe current wife. Are they still married or are they divorced? I'm not sure. Let me know and drop it below. And so it's strange that, when other fighters have legal issues, it's videos and live streams and all this going on. And I was been around these YouTube streets. I didn't really see that today. But I'm not one to be harping on a fighter's personal life like that. I don't really care too much. I don't make my comments about it. I got a video I made. I can't think of the name of the video. Oh, it's called "Don't Save Her." Go check out my video called "Don't Save Her." It got Devin Haney in a Superman costume, and you can really get my thoughts about the whole situation. It's just like, what do you expect? It's basically my consistency. Like, what do you expect? Now, did Devin Haney do these things? I don't know. I'm sure the consensus is going to be she's lying. She's just doing it for the money. But at some point, we got to stop treating everything that's going on with Devin Haney as an isolated event. Because there's a lot of things this man be doing, and it just seems to slide by. Forever, y'all kept calling this man a kid when he was a grown-ass man. He punching people, pushing down old ladies, beating up his pregnant gal. Like, it's a lot going on with Devin. Like, what is going on with him? Is he okay? Is my concern. Because everybody said, Devin's a nice kid. That's been the consensus from everybody. Think about it. That's been the consensus from everybody. Is Devin's a nice kid. He's this, he's that. Bill raised him right. And so now you start hearing all these things. He punching carnival workers and going through this with his baby mama and can't see his child. Like, is Devin Haney okay? Is Devin Haney okay? When they first came back and they were like, oh, who Devin gonna fight? And I was like, let's get Devin Haney versus some counseling. Like, is he okay after all that he went through with Ryan Garcia? Is he really okay? That's my question. Like, is Devin okay? Because for him to have such a squeaky clean background and to be such a great kid, these altercations and things he's been getting into, either that narrative isn't as true as we think it is, or he's going through something and somebody need to get him some milk. Somebody need to get him some help. You need some help with your son? What Mayweather say? You need some help with your son? You needed some help the other motherfucking night. You needed some help the other night. But no, seriously. What's up? And so I really brought that up to just say Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney fight got announced after a whole lot of back and forth. And either way you look at it, it was capping because ain't no way they went through all that in 2 days and then they made a fight announcement. So either they already knew they was gonna try to they was making the fight. Either Bill really tried to get out of the fight and he was pressured into it. Like either way, that whole situation, it was some capping going on. And for some reason, Devin Haney taking the Brian Norman Jr. fight when the story is Bill was trying to get out of it. He was trying to duck and dodge the fight, but the public pressure got to him. That's the narrative one of the narratives I heard. I'm not saying that that's necessarily what I think is going on, but this is the narrative, so we're gonna go with it. So they announced the fight, and everybody's like, All hell Devin Haney. He's taking a fight with Brian Norman. He's daring to be great. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, okay, we got Brian Norman Jr., right? And see, when I talk about this or I try to bring up these points or state these facts, people get all in their feelings and start saying, "Oh, you hate it just because you don't like a fighter, just because just because you a Tank fan. Tank ain't got nothing to do with the situation at all. So that just because you a Tank fan, y'all could ball it up, take that you a Tank fan, put it in your hand, ball it up, and just throw it on the ground and step on it because this ain't even finna apply. Now, we got Brian Norman Jr., right? And I asked this question. If Brian Norman Jr. name was not attached to Boots' name, who is Brian Norman Jr.? I'm gonna ask y'all again. If Brian Norman Jr. name wasn't attached to Boots, who is Brian Norman Jr.? Well, let me ask y'all a question, chat. Let me know and drop it below. Did Brian Norman Jr. How did Brian Norman Jr. get his belt? One. Who has Brian Norman Jr. fought at 47? Two. And why is taking a fight with Brian Norman Jr. daring to be great? Because he knocks people out. Like, I'm just trying to understand. It's a good fight. And it's a risky fight considering nobody knows where Devin is mentally. Nobody knows where Devin is mentally, where his mentality is, because Shane Mosley said he got in the ring with his dad's mentality that night that he fought with Mirez. So you punching carnival workers, you punching your baby mama, pushing down old ladies. Like, you got a lot going on. You're not going into the ring with your own mentality. You're taking your dad mentality in the ring because Shane Mosley said you look great in training. Y'all was training in the smaller ring. You was looking great in sparring. You was inside. Your power was looking good. You was turning over. He said everything was looking good. He said he couldn't believe how you looked when he got in the ring. He was shocked, so upset. Imagine working with somebody a whole training camp and they get in the ring and don't do nothing you worked on, talking about nothing, not one thing, just run around all the time, popping jabs, taking pop shots to win rounds. So I'm just saying that even the way I feel about the Brian Norman fight, all of that stuff, right? People saying this. I heard somebody tell me today Brian Norman is the king of the South. Brian Norman is the king of the South? How? What fight has he headlined his hometown? Like, what name recognition does he have? Like, I'm not hating y'all. I'm just asking because these is like serious questions. Because I'm not understanding where all this stuff is coming from all of a sudden about Brian Norman Jr. I'm just asking. Thank Father say all allegations, but we seen video evidence of Tank dragging a chick out of a basketball game. It is all allegations. I never said none of it was true. I don't know where Tank coming from. I don't even know why Tank name coming up right now. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say if nothing was true or false. I'm just saying that these things are coming up. And if Devin Haney, the narrative that Devin Haney is a good kid and Bill raised him perfectly, he's a perfect young man, and now he has all of these things going on, alleged or not, is he okay? That's all I'm asking, Dane Fox. Is he okay? Like, what's somebody might need to check on that young man because he's seeming out of character, right? It's seeming a little out of character. If the narratives is true, either the narrative ain't true as we think it is, or he got something going on. Is the only point that I'm trying to make, and the fact that he coming in, everybody was praising him. Everybody was you should bow down, give Devin Haney credit. He fighting a competitive fight in his division, in his weight division. Yes, all hail Lord Haney. And then you got this news coming out, restraining order, beating up your baby mama while she pregnant allegedly. And it just all that's gone now. Now it's like you don't even want to talk about Haney no more because either you're gonna be talking about the baby mama drama or what? Because it just outshined the fight. And the fight 5 months away anyway. I don't even know why they announced it this early anyway, to be honest with you. The fight is 5 months away. So now this is just overshadow his whole little moment. Like, nah. And y'all know how people are in these YouTube streets. They gonna be petty. And you know why they gonna be petty? Because just like Thank Father said, when Tank snatched his girl up and dragged her out the game, it was live streams when he got into it with his girl and got arrested, it was live streams and mug shots and all kind of stuff going around. So y'all know people gonna be petty about it. So y'all don't even want y'all to get y'all panties in a bunch. Y'all already know it's coming. Y'all already know it's coming. But I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna get on here and be, you know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking to the situation because look, go back and check out my video called Don't Save Her. I already gave how I felt about the situation. I already gave my 2 cents on the situation. But is Devin Haney okay? Should Hanos clan be concerned about their Lord Devin Haney? Is he okay? Where is Frequent Flyer? Where is Boxing Hacker? I don't think I've seen them all day. Be honest with you. Put a one in the chat if y'all seen Boxer Hacker or Frequent today. Like the last couple of days, they've been on every panel. Everywhere I go, they've been up there. We gotta give him credit. He's taking a tough fight. He's taking a tough fight. So let me ask y'all this, right? Why is and y'all follow me now because I know y'all about to start hating. Why is Brian Norman Jr. the best at 147 pounds? Did somebody how did Brian Norman Jr. get who did Brian Norman Jr. beat for his belt? Let me know and drop it below. But why is Brian Norman Jr. the best at 147 pounds? Them pro Haney channels damn sure made hella live streams when Tank supposedly hit his baby mama, but didn't say a damn thing about Devin's situation. He even caught a gun charge, and none of them said shh. Hypocrites. Yeah, I got a video on my page about that too. Check it out. Check it out. Tank father say, damn, I haven't seen Hacker today. See what I'm saying? Where are they at? So Dank father say, why was Boots the best? It's the eye test right now. Well, okay, thank Father. We're gonna okay, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. I want you to let me know and drop it below, right? So you say it's the eye test. What would you rank Brian Norman skill? Like what do you think his skill level is on a scale of 1 to 10? What do you rank his IQ on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm just asking. I'm not saying he's like a bad fighter or nothing. I'm just trying to see what it is that everybody else see. Because I don't really see it. Like he's a good fighter and I wouldn't mind watching him develop. Like he still got room and time to develop. Yeah, he got some pop and some power. But I don't, you know what I'm saying? You know, like you said, it's the eye test. You could look at a fighter. See, you could look at Boots. You could see everybody ducking Boots. Nobody want to fight Boots. You seen how long it took him to unify the division and all of that. They probably give him a 7. Okay. Jake Fox, who did he beat for his belt? Brian Norman. Who did Brian Norman beat for his belt? 147 a week division right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could kind of say 147 a weak division. And the fact that it is a weak division, I don't know if we can definitively say somebody's the best in that division right now. And that's the only point I'm trying to make because I could argue Rolly is the best at the 147-pound division. He beat Ryan Garcia, who beat Devin Haney. Here we go. Here we go. Boxing Hacker in the building. You say his name 3 times, he pop up like Candyman. Shout out to Boxing Hacker with the $5 in the super chat. He says, Devin, it's okay. It's not like he hit a pregnant woman with a car, but on the real, we will see how the case turned out. Too early to conclude. Shout out Boxing. Oh, I like when you scraping and scrambling, Boxing Hacker. I like when you scraping and scrambling. Y'all, them ain't no saying they scraping and scrambling. Brian Norman didn't beat a soul for that belt. He was emailed that. Somebody said he beat Santillion. Did he beat Santillion or was he emailed a belt? Cause, and this is another point I want to make. I didn't want to say. I want y'all to say it. Did he beat Santillion or was he emailed a belt? I'm waiting on y'all. Let me know and drop it below. Because I know we not doing all this over an email champion. Because if he was emailed the belt, I ain't heard nobody say that not one time. And they called they Booth was the emailiest champions. Y'all called Devin Haney an email champion. Brian Norman not an email champion. Interim title, then upgraded, just like Boots, Barrios, and Stanionis. Okay, okay. I see what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. So they all in the same boat. Boots beat Stanionis, so he unified, so he beat a champion for a belt. Santillion was never champ. So how can we say that Brian Norman is the best at 147 pounds, y'all? I mean, I'm just asking. Because I could say Rolly is the best at 147 pounds. I don't care if you don't like his style and you don't like how he make the end noise when he punch. I could say he's the best at 147 pounds. He's a champion. He beat Ryan Garcia. So how you gonna argue with that? He beat Ryan Garcia that beat Devin Haney, who was the nigga that Brian Norman about to fight right now. If I want to use some of y'all logic, shout out Boxing Hacker. Why you keep trying to compare Brian Norman to Boots? Dang father, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Boots did listen. Boots was not even losing a round. That's a whole nother level of talent. Boots probably lost 5 rounds his whole professional career. He's probably only lost 5 rounds. That's completely different than Brian Norman. We're not comparing Boots to Brian Norman. They're on completely different levels. And that's my whole point though I'm trying to make, thank Father. It is a weak division. So why is everybody saying Brian Norman is the best of the division? Now he king of the South and he all listen, he fluffed up and puffed up. And all I'm asking is if Brian Norman Jr. was not connected to Boots, would we be saying all of this? I don't think we would. And that's just my 2 cents. I mean, he went and knocked the memory out of Kawasaki, but the dude, he was oh my God. He didn't even have his hands up. He didn't even have his hands up. I could have sent one of my sons over there to fight Kawasaki and beat him up. That's all I'm saying. Big Dog Willie say, nah, Rolly isn't the best at 140. Only reason why Tank a Maniac say that is because Tank beat Rolly. So sad. Big Guy Willie, this ain't, I told y'all at the beginning of this conversation that this ain't got nothing to do with Tank. And the reason why I'm saying Rolly is because he went up, beat Ryan Garcia, and became a champion. And Brian Norman did the same thing. And I'm asking, how is Brian Norman the one that's the best at 147 pounds? Because he knocked out Kawasaki. But y'all not saying Rolly is the best at 147 pounds, and he knocked out Ryan Garcia, who y'all say used steroids. So he knocked out Ryan Garcia in the ring, possibly on steroids. And Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney. So how can you just say Brian Norman is the best in the division and not Rolly? I don't give a damn if Tank beat Rolly. That don't got nothing to do with the 147-pound division. I'm just asking, how did y'all come to the conclusion that Brian Norman Jr. is now the king of the South and he's the best at 147 pounds? That's all I'm asking. This ain't even got nothing to do with Devin Haney. I'm just curious where the narrative came from. That's it. He beat Ryan Garcia. He knocked. Okay, he didn't knock out Ryan. I know what I mean. Since we want to be technical. Shout out Fresh 313 in the building. Broken Dangerous in the building. What's going on? He said interesting perspective. I'm just asking, Broken Dangerous. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm just asking because I was sitting here thinking, okay, you're saying Brian Norman the best. What if I feel like Rolly the best? I'm just asking. And I feel like it could go either way. We both could be right or we both could be wrong. But my whole point I'm trying to make is that I don't think we can determine a best at the 147-pound division right now. I don't think Devin Haney fighting Brian Norman is daring to be great. I think it's a risky fight because of the fact that we don't know where Devin Haney is mentally. And just like some of the things that I've mentioned earlier that he's been going through and haven't happened, he may not be in the greatest mental space. In addition to what happened in the Ryan Garcia fight. That's all I'm saying. But Brian Norman, like, is he one dimensional? Is Brian Norman Jr. one dimensional? I feel like he's a decent fighter. He got some time. He can grow and get better. Could he beat Devin Haney? Maybe. Possibly. I'm not saying he can't. What's goalpost moving, dang father? That's all I'm saying. Y'all want to say Brian Norman the best at 147? I want to say Sugar Rolly Romero is the best at 147 pounds. And I'd rather see Devin Haney fight Rolly than Brian Norman. How about that? How about that? Or Rolly fight Brian Norman. How about that? Rolly Romero, Brian Norman, unify. How about that? But we'll see what happens. We got 5 months to go. And you know what I was thinking earlier? Big Supreme say I'm tripping. How I'm tripping, Big Supreme? How is Brian Norman Big Supreme? How is Brian Norman the best at 147 pounds? Let me know. What makes him the best of the division? I'm just asking. Sugar Rolling Romero. No, I'm just bullshitting. But I'm just saying. I mean, I think the 147 division is open right now for the taking. Devin Haney can move up. He can go run some fights, win some belts. He could possibly be the best at the 147-pound division. But I don't think anybody should be crowned that title right now, in my opinion, just to give my 2 cents. I think it's tough fights at 147 pounds. I think it's competitive fights at 147 pounds. But I don't think there's anybody to crown just right now as the best in the division. That's just my 2 cents. That's just my 2 cents. Now, another topic I want to cover, then I'm gonna drop the link. Tevin Farmer gets stopped. First round by Kid Austin, right? And then I heard a lot of people saying after he gets stopped by Kid Austin that Shakur Stevenson is not going to get any credit for beating Zapata because Tevin Farmer went life or death with Zapata, and then he got stopped in the first round by Kid Austin. And I'm listening to this logic, right? See, listen, 2 centers, listen. When I come on here and I talk and I use these people's logic and I say it out loud, they tell me I'm tripping, I sound crazy, and this and that. But I'm using y'all's logic. I'm using y'all's logic. This is the way y'all think. But when I think like y'all don't like, y'all don't get it. Y'all like, no, that don't make sense. Y'all got all the objections in the world. So listen to this logic. People don't want to give Shakur Stevenson credit because Tevin Foreman with life or death was a pain and got knocked out in the first round by Kid Austin. Can anybody tell me what that has to do with anything? Can anybody tell me what that has to do with anything? First of all, one, styles make fights. Two, we're not gonna act like, listen, Kid Austin gets all the credit in the world for stopping Tevin Farmer. He's never been stopped before. Was able to do it in the first round. Tevin Farmer was a great win on his resume, ex-champion, awesome win. But let's be for real. We're not gonna act like Tevin Farmer didn't just lose 3 fights in a row, where he arguably was possibly robbed out of 2 of them, and he didn't have 2 tough fights with Zapata, the fight and the rematch. And what about that injury he had last fight? Did anybody hear anybody say his injury healed, or did anybody even talk about it? They didn't even mention and or talk about the injury. I'm not giving Tevin excuses. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating the facts. That's it. So to say if Shakur Stevenson beats Zapata, he don't get no credit. Because, like, this whole I'm going to give another fighter credit for what another fighter did and say another fighter can't do something because this fighter did that. No, 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 no. Y'all not going to do that. Yeah, I did think Tevin had that's certain thing Tevin was gonna win. I think Tevin had a shot to win. But I said this all when I said that. I said because I didn't even put no money on Tevin because I said he just lost the last 3 fights and that injury. So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna put no money on this fight. But I feel like theoretically Tevin had a better I mean, he had a good shot to win it. He's more experienced, this and that, blah blah blah. But he ain't win it. So it is what it is. But all I'm trying to say, the point that I'm trying to make though is like we're not gonna do the whole give another fighter credit and say it's weird. Like what's up with this take credit for somebody else's what their performance in the ring? That's weird to me. So for all these people talking about Shakur ain't gonna get no credit, Big Supreme, Tevin was the underdog. Wasn't Tevin the underdog? I thought Tevin was the underdog. We're not gonna do that. Y'all not gonna change it from Williams Zapata gonna be Shakur Stevenson's toughest fight to just because Tevin Farmer got his ass whooped, now that changes? No, no. A lot of people, a lot of people picked Tevin to win, but they was like, nobody counted Kid Austin out. I definitely didn't think he was gonna knock him. I didn't think he was gonna stop him, and I definitely didn't think he was gonna stop him in the first round for sure. For sure. Yeah, I think Tevin was the underdog too, because I was like, damn, I might throw a couple hundred on Tevin. But I was like, nah. Because Tim Bradley came out with the video. He said, Kid Austin's the younger fighter. And I think just Tevin's done. Like, I think Tevin's done. He got the tick going on. He got the whatever else he got going on. So let me drop this link, chit chat with y'all for a few minutes. Tevin Former got stopped. Marquise say, I agree. There go the link. Let me pin it to the top. Say, I think Kid Austin deserves a lot of credit. Hell yeah, Kid Austin deserves a lot of credit. He got a very good win on his resume. Shout out Mr. Greg. Shout out Pay the Fool on the panel.
What up, 2 Cent? What up, salute, Mr. Greg?
Good morning, Two
Hey,
Cents and Paid. How are y'all?
what's up? We good, we good. Pay, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
All right, salute to both of y'all. Salute, Mr. Greg. Salute, 2 Cent. I think the reason why they say that Brian Norman is the best at 147, I think just based off talent, by him being the heavy puncher that he is, I don't think too many of the other lightweights really pose a threat to him for real at 147. Because I think he was more so considered second behind, or some people had him third behind because they thought Stanionis was somewhat of a better fighter than him. But overall, I think that's why they feel like that Brian Norman is now the best at 147 since Boots moved out of the division. But outside of that, that's the only other reason I can really think of why they would say that he's the best at 147 at the moment.
Okay. Listen, if you think Brian Norman's the best, cool. I think Sugar Rolly Romero the best. Let's
And,
debate.
and then another thing though, but another thing is based just more so off of I think, people look at Rolly like what I'm saying, he trash. His skill set is just trash. But I think that with them moving up, with Brian Norman already being like sort of kind of proven at 147, I think that's why they more so. It's another reason why I think that they say that he's the best at 147 up until, what I'm saying, Rolly take or fight someone that's actually in the welterweight division, not coming up, and then he may get props and say that he more so be the best at 147.
Okay, Mr. Greg, what's your 2 cents you got for the show?
Just would say that these guys are coming up, a lot of it is perception because they're not fighting enough to really have, I think, an ideal or true account or analogy of what they're going to actually do as the years go on. So they're going to ride on the perceptions of one or two fights, and of course, what fans will say about them on YouTube and things of that nature. And it's what the game is right now. I do think right now because Brian got the biggest spotlight in this division, that's how he's going to be perceived. Rowley has always had the I guess distinguished image of being unorthodox. He's not really that talented. He's not or skillful, I should say, and yet he's still winning, or he's winning when it counts. So his fights, the next two or three fights, will be more defining at what kind of fighter he actually is going to be. And the same thing with Brian Norman, with Keyshawn, and all the rest of them. As their next couple of fights and who they fight will, take place and how they play out, you'll have a better understanding. Right now, all of them are getting a certain kind of shine. It's sad to see poor Tevin. I don't even know why I'm going to call him Tevin. Poor Devin starting to have outside of the ring problems with, of course, with the young lady and what she's doing and how that's going to affect his career. Hopefully he'll get past it and whatever place he's going to take at that time in this game, he'll get there. But for the moment, he's going to have some problems, and it may affect his fight that's coming up, things of that nature. But that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the perception more than anything else, and maybe uh, a good fight here and there. And hats off to, I believe that was Kid Austin that won the last fight. Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Devin, good Lord,
Tevin
Farmer. Hats off to him for getting that moment. And let's see him capitalize on it. That's what you need to watch to see will they capitalize it in the next couple of fights, and will those fights be good, or will those managers just try to position them to the easy fights and get a couple of little nice paydays? And we'll have to see how that plays out. But that's what we're looking at right now, and that's what I got to say at the moment.
Another thing too on that, I think I saw that Kid Austin dad came out and said that they would knock Tank out in one round or something like that. But my thing is this: okay, all that talking is cool, but you can petition the WBA to become Tank's mandatory, and all that talking to just stop.
just said on the boxing voice he want 2 years for Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Cool
He
right
need
now.
2 years.
On the boxer's voice. Yeah, he just said that on the boxing voice.
So when he'll fight Shakur, you see what I'm like? That's what I be saying. Like niggas be bluffing. Like he got like that's what I'm saying. Like he a grown man, bro. He need to start speaking for himself. Like his dad be doing stuff and writing checks and shit that he ain't ready to cash. Like just to keep it a buck, bro. Like you know for a fact if that man would have sent the contract to y'all wasn't gonna fight him.
Ain't
Especially if
nobody
that's what
worried
you
about Kid Austin. No, they ain't worried about that. And I see somebody in the chat talking about Tank ducking the #1 contender. How is Tank ducking anybody when he got a rematch coming up? Like y'all gotta stop this, man. Come on, let's be
think.
reasonable.
I think they be trolling, man. Like for real. I think they get that.
It's part of all. It's trolling sometimes. It's how they feel, and it is also that, like I was just saying with you, the perception. Because just like what you just said, they claim they would do this, that, and the other to the bigger names, but then when they start to talk on these podcasts or interviews, it's going to be 2 years before they do it, or 3 years before they try it.
Right.
I
So
mean,
that
y'all, they could mix it up with each other. There's plenty of fighters in between these fighters they could fight before they trying to jump all the way up there. But the thing with the Kid Austin Shakur fight, I mean, that fight was already supposed to be made. He got sick, he got poisoned, whatever happened. They just make the fight again. But I guess a lot of people upset because he accused them of doing this and doing that. But I mean, it's boxing. It's
Yeah, that's
boxing.
boxing.
Dean, by any means, what's going on?
hey Dean,
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's up,
What up?
Queen?
morning
What's
to
going
you.
on?
What
What
up, bro?
what's your 2 cents, Dean? What you got for that? But
Chilling.
Dean,
A2,
let me ask you a
A2.
question. I know that this is an interesting take, but when you finish, I got a question for you. Go ahead.
Okay. Tucson, did you check your email?
Yes, I got it.
All right, cool. Bet. Devin Haney, man. Devin Haney. I'm just disappointed, y'all. I gave it a whole day. And they not covering Devin Haney the same way they did Tank. And listen, and I hope y'all see in real time why I be going off, why I be holding everybody to a certain standard. Because I remember when Gervonta Davis was going through similar things, it wasn't innocent until proven guilty.
Facts.
Thanks.
It wasn't. And now those same content creators, same fans, you
Oh,
know
look at
this ain't
this. Let
no.
me show you this.
Uh-huh.
Let me show you this, Dean. Look at
Okay.
this.
Hold on, hold on. Hold on. What this fool say? Hold on. Devin is okay. It's not like he hit a pregnant woman with a car. Oh Lord have mercy.
See what I'm
Okay.
saying?
But on the real, we know how the case turned out, and
We will see. We will see how the case turn
we
out.
was
Too early to conclude.
hey boxing hacker, you 100% right. But guess what though? When it was Gervonta, Bill didn't wait for it to be innocent until proven guilty when he was passing out mug shots.
Facts.
Y'all was the same fans saying Devin wouldn't never be in no situation like this. Y'all forget that?
That nigga caught a gun charge and they ain't even talk about that
We
shit.
don't even. And guess what? And guess what? Pay us as Tank fans. We didn't attack Devin for that. You can't find one Tank fan that talked about Devin catching a gun charge.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody come at Devin about that. So I'm just glad that I see. Look at Boxing Hacker. Even with Boxing Hacker, he ain't hit a pregnant woman and none of that. He might have threw one down. He might have knocked one down. That might be a little worse, Boxing Hacker.
And you know what? And I think about what you just said about the things that's happened with Devin. It wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say that Bill talking all the time, catching all the flack from the fans, has helped Devin, and that we don't talk about things like his gun charge or too much about the situation with the women, and that Bill might be actually a good cover.
Well, he got his payola, syndicate, and
But I'm
they
just
they
saying that that might be one way where Devin is getting covered. Because
That's
hmm
that.
even what I have seen about this situation with the young lady as of late, there seems to be a bit of sympathy uh, for that, for him on that. And I've only seen one or two little.
No,
Uh,
Tank did not get locked up for domestic abuse, and we're not talking about Tank.
Exactly.
I
What the
don't
you
fuck?
see,
understand it.
you see how the deflection
See that,
comes. The
Mr.
cover,
Greg? You see what I'm talking about right
yeah,
there? Now
yeah.
they just sat up there and lied on that man. No, he did not. They actually threw the case out because they found out the lady was lying. Actually,
Mhm.
that's what happened.
See, that's what I'm saying. But niggas only remember certain shit, man. They play dumb when it comes to certain situations, and that's sad, bro. Like I just want it. Like I think as Tank fans, bro, I just feel like we want more the same standards that y'all have for other fighters. Just hold y'all fighter the same way, bro. It's simple. Don't try to make excuses for another grown man, bro. Like y'all don't even know that man, and y'all make excuse for him.
That's what people do, though. You favor
I
some
mean, and this is I blame Bill again for this. I blame Bill again for this because you wanted Devin to have such this perfect image, and so now it just creates more like you know what I'm saying? It's like you mess up now. That's even more pressure on you. Like you don't even have any room to mess. It's already gonna be pressure of you messing up because of who you are in the position. But now you're messing up with the image and the narrative that you're this, you're great, you this, you that. And I'm saying maybe Devin is a good kid. Maybe he is great. Maybe the pressure, once again, either way you look at it, Bill has put all this added pressure on him, is maybe getting to him. I don't know. But I'm just saying that people just got to be honest and stop acting like people are perfect and like acting like you can look down to other fighters and this and that when you can't do that because I think it's odd that this is the first fighter I haven't seen Devin Haney and them tearing down Brian Norman. This is the first fight I haven't seen them talking about they trash and saying this and saying that and this and that. I ain't never seen his syndicate big up in the fighter the way they doing Brian Norman. Y'all ever seen that before?
Nope.
No, you want to know what? But two cent. It also all of that plays a factor because the reason why they're not going to be sitting up there saying this, that, and the third about Brian Norman. First of all, they're not that confident like they try to say. Devin fans aren't that confident about him withstanding that left hook. So they trying to soften the blow if he do lose, 2 Cent. See, this not no regular fight. Devin could get flatlined, and guess what, y'all? The boxing hackers and all of that, they it's gonna be hard to cope, Mr. Greg, because they won't be able to blame Austrian. So then
Mhm.
all of the Austrian stuff goes out the window if he loses and get knocked out and get devastated with the same exact punch that y'all claim Ryan Garcia only landed because of Austrian. All of
Bro,
that goes out the window by that at that point.
bro, what's so crazy is that, bro, I'm not even BSing. Like them two brothers, bro. Like they got in some when Devin first lost. I don't know which one. I don't know if it was Joseph or Jonathan, but one of them two, bro, talking about they can't deal with the loss of how Devin took that loss. Like on some, I don't know if they was trolling, playing, bro, but I'm like, bro, ain't no way in hell you can be that attached to a fighter you don't even know that nigga got you down bad like that. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's a little beyond fandom, bro. Like, for real.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, Big Supreme, and he threatened to sue me, but never did that because he knew that he couldn't. Yup, that's him. You was my girl. On March 23, you was my girl.
Don't do auntie stuff like that. Gold members say, "Oh, so Haney staged something to get out of the Brian Norman fight." Y'all trick. This ain't staged. But my question was though, like, damn, like, hey, didn't you already had a baby? How you gonna file for something when you was pregnant? I thought that was strange. I ain't really looked that deep into it. To
That's
find
So
why
he
out.
I
got
feel
two.
like she's trying to damage it. I feel like part of me feel like she probably bitter in some aspects of it because like if he did that, why would you now? Why you now just saying something? Why you ain't been say something?
So this the
Yeah,
second child she has with him that she's having because the way what I saw is that he's allegedly beat her and pushed her down while in front of their daughter. It said their daughter while she was pregnant. So
oh wow.
Oh,
Oh, I know
snaps.
that.
See, so what, Devin got
so
2 kids now? And
that's
we
what I
ain't
was just
know?
asking. That's what I was just
With
asking.
her?
She said that he pushed her down in front of their daughter while she was pregnant. That's what I read. That could have been somebody making something up.
Oh, oh.
But
And
the
then
point,
this would
Wow.
be a great question, Mr. Greg. They
yeah.
ain't known each other that long. So all of them, well, not they ain't known each
Wait, no,
other,
I
but
they was married.
yeah, they wasn't together that long. So why did they break up? So Devin fans, I'm just telling y'all, be cautious. Because it's the reason they broke up that fast. Because I remember like 7, 8 months ago, he was supposed to be married. He bought a Rolls Royce Cullinan.
Right. Yeah. They was dressed in white, and all of that kind of stuff. So you just never know what these real stories are. But I can tell you it's headed to court. She's trying to get now locked into whatever pays he's going to get going forward. She's trying to get locked into those dollars. Because when you
That's
start
crazy.
filing those kinds of cases that you being abused, that you want sole custody, this, that, and the other, the next step is how much money do he have to pay every month? That's where they are going. And because the children or child is very young, you locked into whatever dollars he's going to get, some of it going over to her.
Wow.
So
Damn, Devin.
if what has happened is true, and I don't know if it's true because a lot of times we can find that it's lies or exaggerations, but if any of that's going to be true, it's going to have some ill effect on him if it actually comes out to be true that he's actually engaging in domestic violence. It's
Well, she said
something
she
that the
got
public
text
does.
messages.
Hmm.
She said she got receipts. So,
Well, that's what they're saying. So if Devin's done some of this, whatever Bill was able to cover up for him, all of it is going to come right back out. They're going to start
ooh,
talking about these other charges that he's had before that got kind of
yeah,
swept
because
under
it's
the rug.
paperwork.
It's
It's
going to get
paperwork.
used to beat him over the head with.
Man, it's
They
going to
brought it on
be.
themselves. They brought it on themselves, though.
I was just
Yeah.
about to say, too, Saint, if he get felt guilty of this, Lord have mercy.
Bad choices are bad choices. And sometimes you make those bad choices based on what you've been taught or not taught.
Mr. Greg, all of they,
They
why
all
you
make
support
bad choices. They
all of
all
them,
do.
yeah.
They all do. They all make bad choices, bro. It's like, is that just a part of being a box? Like, even, well, it's not even them though. It's really a lot of these young athletes with this money. They be making bad choices.
Just all of that Devin American Dream Haney stuff goes out the window. All of that.
All the way
Damn,
out the window.
damn, y'all support a woman beater. Damn, y'all support somebody that do this, that do that. And then look right there. And then it'll just be crazy. The thing that y'all used to attack Javante that he wasn't found guilty of. If
Hmm.
Devin get found guilty of the thing y'all was clowning Javante about that he didn't even get found guilty of, people gonna deactivate their accounts, 2 cent. People gonna be so quiet. Oh my God. Like, I just can't wait to see these content creators if this happened. And I hope that it's not true. Because I believe the girl trying to set the boy up. That's my opinion. But I don't put nothing past the Haneys.
Well, the best thing he can do for now is to stay quiet. Don't be trying to run to some channels trying to defend. You guys shut up for the moment because you don't know what they're using. They're waiting. I guess her legal representatives are hoping he starts talking. Are they going to start looking into his past and start, like I just said, and started using things to hurt him in the public eye?
His
To
money gonna become public too.
say it again now.
His finances gonna become public
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah. Oh, they going all that. When you get something like that happen, they going all in. Whoever her lawyers are, maybe they're very good. I don't know, but whoever they are, that's the first thing they're going after because this is always about money. It always comes down to that, and it's going to
Wow.
hurt Devin because it could still have been a possibility that there would have been endorsement deals waiting for him, sponsorship deals. He could have crossed over into other avenues to generate revenue and things like that. All of that's going to is on hold once this comes up because companies are still very leery of having somebody who's known for or even accused of uh, domestic violence, beating women, and if she's pregnant, you was doing that. Oh, you dirt right now. So
Right.
I would just tell them to shut up, get good representation, find out what's what, and hopefully they can. If they have to settle it, sometimes you're gonna have to take a small L as opposed to a large one,
Yeah.
which means give up some money, shut up, keep going forward.
It's just
Well,
amazing to me that if he gets, first of all, it's funny because Tank was accused of domestic stuff, and then Tank was accused of hitting and running a pregnant lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Devin get accused, get found guilty of all of that in one, Lord have mercy.
well,
Did somebody just put? Oh, that's Rick Devin Puffy Combs.
That's cold blooded.
What's
That's
going to be
cold
worse?
blooded, Rick Tail.
I feel sorry for him too, even though he brought that on himself as well. I think
yep.
it's not going to turn out well for him tomorrow or Thursday.
Oh yeah, I think he's done. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people that want a free Diddy though. I don't get it, but
that's what I'm saying. He's going to have everybody going to have some supporters, but having understanding the legal system, have been through it in my own way. When they were able to come to a conclusion on the first four and are struggling with the last charge, it tells you a whole lot. I hope I'm wrong because I'm not wishing that on anybody, but they are convinced of all the other four. They're just a little. It's probably only that one person that they've been talking about who's unsure about the fifth charge, the biggest one, because what people don't know,
Rico.
that's the real kill shot. Because if he gets found guilty on that, it's not just the time in jail. They're able to seize all of his assets, regardless of how they're structured.
I
That's
Wow.
the
think,
kill shot.
but even if he found guilty, you don't think that can? I believe Trump can pardon him, can he? Which would
Somebody
stop.
gonna pardon him.
That's if that
See,
happens.
let me talk.
That's if it happens.
Somebody
If
gonna
they,
pardon him.
if he gets a pardon, I'm not sure how the seizure of his assets will play out, but that's what they're trying to do, seize his assets. And if he, all they got to do is get found guilty on that one, and even if he gets found innocent on the other four, but they still unsure they're deadlocked on the fifth, they can be retried. They can still keep him in jail.
Yeah, facts. That's true.
So
Mr.
the whole
Shelton, I can't see your face, Mr. Shelton.
So I would just, say, I hope that however it plays out, I don't like I say I don't wish that on them, but he made some pretty powerful enemies for it to be like that for him right now that
Yeah,
he's been in. He's made some real powerful enemies.
He made no. He went when he went out to that liquor company.
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking of.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
That's when that shit came back.
people have to understand when you
That's
rise
y'all
up.
think it's because he went after that liquor company. He
Yeah,
could have went after the liquor company and somebody powerful he pissed off for real put this in play. And now it look like it's the liquor company, but it's them. Ain't no
well,
telling who did he pissed off.
but what happens is you have friends who have friends. That's why when you rise to those kinds of levels, people got to understand when you start moving in those kinds of circles at the very top, there are people whose children's children went to school with each other. They
Mhm.
your grandfather knew their grandfather. And that grandfather became a judge, and the other grandfather became a senator, and so on and so on. So the levels of power that are in play, you don't know who's uh, hitting buttons because they're so far up that you don't
Yeah.
even see them. You don't even know this. You just getting there because you done made some money for other people and they don't let you in the room, but you don't know there are other doors and other rooms beyond the room that you in.
Hey, y'all, I'm about to say something controversial. Diddy is going through all this because he deserved it. He's been a goddamn snake his whole life. All them people, money you stole, all them
Did he a
artists
menace?
you did, all them artists you screwed over, what you did to Biggie and Tupac, it's the chickens coming home to roost, like Malcolm X would say.
Yeah,
Well, the
That's all.
thing
that's
is
not
this.
controversial.
Here's the thing though. He was taught to do this. He didn't know how to do this from the gate. Somebody showed him that this is what you're supposed to do.
Clive Davis.
Well,
So he was
Andre
Whoever,
he got
Harrell.
caught.
whoever, somebody showed him that this is the way. He's
That
doing what he's been taught to do.
that's no different
He's
than
just the
Tory.
one taking the fall for it because he's not the only one in his position that's doing
That's
the things they're
no
accusing
fact.
him of.
Facts.
I agree
Yeah,
with that too.
another person that's getting messed over is Tory Lanez. It ain't. I don't think that had nothing to do with uh.
No, he got messed over because he's just an idiot. He took a case
Nah,
for
bro.
somebody
Nah,
he
bro.
should
It's
have
deeper than
told.
that.
He
It's
should
deeper
have
than that.
told. He
Cause
knows that girl shot shot at that other girl. He should have told it.
right, but at the same time, though, you gotta understand being in that situation with the evidence being the way that it was, bro. You wouldn't have had to tell on nobody because the shit didn't stick. If you're 100% excluded from shooting a gun, bro, how the hell did you fire shots at that woman?
Because you didn't open your mouth when they told you to.
He had
We
Y'all
a
know
gotta
you
gag
didn't
read the
shoot
order,
her.
bro.
paperwork.
Do you know what a
Y'all
gag
gotta
order
We
read the
is?
know you
paperwork.
didn't shoot her, but you know who
Y'all
did,
gotta
and you're
read
not
the
telling
paperwork.
us. So
But
we got you.
bro,
This
do
gonna
you know
stick
what
to
a
you.
gag? Do you know what a gag order is?
They don't care. See,
Bro, what are you
that's where you
talking,
It
youngsters.
bro?
don't
That's
matter
what you
in
youngsters
court
don't
when you
get.
about to go to jail. That don't matter when you about to go to
That's
jail.
what
But
you
hold on, we
youngsters
gotta
don't get, right? They
we
can do
gotta get
whatever
back
the
to
fuck
my
they want to do. Now they might get charged for it later. They might have to reverse it, but they can still do it. They can do whatever they want to do.
Bro, if you got a gag order, you cannot talk, bro. And
Well, okay, well,
anybody in that situation, bro, you can. That's the worst thing you can do
you could
as
have
being
talked
on
when the
trial is
police
get
came
on
to
the
the car.
stand.
The
If you get
first
on the
time when the
stand,
police came to
bro,
the
if
car,
you
you
get
could have
on the
talked then.
stand, bro, your
When
case
you went
should
to
be
the
heard.
police station, you could have talked then. You
Well, let me
didn't.
say, let
Did
me say
nobody
this.
talk? What are you talking about? Nobody
That's what I'm
talked
saying. That's
until
his
three
fault. He
days
should have
later,
talked then. He should
bro.
have
Did
talked
nobody
then.
talk until 3 days later?
He should have talked when they police asked him the first time. Who shot the
How
girl?
can
She
you,
did.
Well, I'm
bro?
gonna
Why
say
would
this.
you,
Let me say this. I think Tory got railroad. I feel where both of y'all coming from. I just once Meg came out and lied about them having an intimate relationship, publicly lied about this. I think that no, I'm serious with a case like this
No, I
because
hear
that's
you. I hear you. I hear
discrediting.
you.
That's discrediting the witness. The witness can't go up there and because then that adds to the story, that adds to motive, that adds to a bunch of different things of why would Megan lie? Oh, when you find out, oh, Tori might have been hitting her and her friend, then and that might have been what the argument was. See, this is why that type of stuff matters. And when they said that he ain't had no gunpowder on his hand, let me tell you something, y'all. I've been in the streets. That was the first red flag to me, more than anything else. Because Mr. Gregg will tell you, you can go bang somebody, y'all, and you can have gloves on. If you definitely didn't, it's a chance you're there. Still, test your
It'll be
hands,
on your clothes. It'll be
and
on
then
your clothes.
gunpowder will be on you. The fact that
It'll
wasn't
be on your
nothing
clothes.
on him,
Yeah.
that's like I don't know, like that
But
alone. Like
here's my
forget, like
issue.
let's
But
talk
here's my
legally.
issue.
Hold on.
Ain't
Let's
none of
talk
these
legal.
motherfuckers in the streets. None of them is in the streets. The
I'm
girl,
talking about court
Megan,
lawyer
Tory.
wise.
So why are
His
they
lawyer
trying
should
to live by the street code when you're not in
hold
the
on, bro.
streets?
Hold on. I ain't talking about all that. That don't mean nothing in the courtroom. I'm talking about lawyers should know this. That's something they should have harped on. A real, I don't know how he what the defense attorney he had, but it's kind of hard to charge somebody with a shooting and they don't
I'm
even got
I'm gonna
gunpowder
tell you
on.
what happened, Dean.
He
Dean, this
didn't
is
get
what happened
charged
though.
with a shooting, y'all. He's not charged with
No, no,
shooting.
yes, he did. He did. And
He
he got
got
it, and he
no.
got an enhancement.
He's
I
in
followed that
trouble for
whole case
having
from,
the gun.
but he did though. That's why he went to jail for the gun. And he got
He's not
enhancements on
supposed
it.
to have a gun.
He's not a
Period.
felon. He's not a felon.
Hey, he not from the
It's
United
unregistered.
States.
It's an unregistered firearm, bro. He didn't buy
Yeah.
the gun. It's
Y'all
unregistered.
gotta, it wasn't his
He's not
gun.
a citizen. It was who gun was it?
Oh my! Listen, how could you listen? Toussaint, how could it be your gun if your fingerprints are not on the gun?
Well,
He didn't
you
know
Why
the
know,
didn't
gun
he
was even
say?
in the
Why didn't
car.
he say who shot her, Pay? Why didn't he say that Kelsey shot her then, Pay? Why he just ain't say that?
That's
How
what
can he
Shelton's
say?
saying.
That'd be stupid for you to get on the trial, get on the stand as you trying to defend. That's for your lawyers to go in
I'm not
court and
Why
talking
defend
about
didn't
the
you.
he?
stand.
No, forget the
Pay.
stand. Why didn't he
I'm not
say
talking
that
about
it
the
happened
stand. I'm talking about when the
originally?
police
Why
rolled
he
up
just
on
say?
their
Why he
ass.
say what
Why
happened
didn't he
originally?
tell? Why
How
didn't
could
he
he
tell?
tell when they drunk? What is it to tell?
At what point did he say that he didn't do it and she did it?
He been said it. He been said he didn't do it.
When?
And then the other thing is, bro,
No,
Megan Thee
why
Stallion
did
had a
he say
notto, bro.
she? Wait. Why didn't he say? Listen, all I'm asking is, if he didn't do it, we're gonna move on. All I'm asking
Yeah.
is, if he didn't do it, why didn't he say I didn't do it? She did it. That's all I'm asking.
He
At
didn't
Yeah.
any
say
Why?
point
that.
in time, at any point in time throughout this whole thing, up until getting
Bro, they
convicted,
He
didn't
could have
have
said
the
that.
evidence. Evidence was suppressed in that case. A lot of shit went missing in that case. And then the lawyers that Tory had only had a couple of weeks to even probably like 2 weeks before the trial started. Because
See,
the first lawyer that he had was a part of Rock Nation, which is a conflict of interest. So
So
he
that's
was
like I said.
railroaded
They
from
can
the
do whatever the
so he
fuck they
got
want to do,
railroaded from the
and
jump.
they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, and you can sort the shit out later.
I tell
But that's
y'all
the
this, and
thing, though. But if you go to trial, but who do you know go to trial and get
pay.
convicted
You want to
when
know? You
they're
want to know what happened with him? Let's move on from this. But this is where he made the fatal flaw right here, where 2 Cents is saying. This is where he made the fatal flaw. When they gave the girl immunity, right there, he's done. Because the person that you could blame it on, you can't blame it on because they gave her immunity.
but why would she ask for immunity if she wasn't charged with
That
shit?
part don't matter, Paige. That part
How
don't
that
matter.
don't matter?
Because Paige,
Why does it
the
matter?
reason why she gets immunity doesn't matter. Only part that matters is you was done the minute they gave it to her.
That don't make sense though, Deem. How so the nigga pretty much sitting in jail for no reason, right?
Paige,
because he
yes.
didn't
He
Yeah.
tell
pro-
nothing.
Yeah.
he didn't
That's
say
that's the
anything.
whole point that's the whole point I was trying to prove.
Well, Paige, what we
But
saying
he
is
Bro, Tory
he,
Lanez did the shit to himself.
yeah, basically, he did it to himself.
yeah,
He did
he
it
kind
to
of did it to
himself, bro.
himself, Faye.
But
I
it's his
understand.
fault because he didn't tell on the
I don't
bro.
know, no,
It's
Yeah,
bro.
all
I
his
done fought
fault.
I
I fought a
understand
dope
what you were
case.
saying about the GSR dust. I understand that. I didn't have GSR dust on me, but I still caught the charge.
But he
Okay,
was
so I
y'all gotta look
understand
at
what
the
you're saying about.
circumstances though. GSR would be on him if he had on he didn't have on no clothes with shorts.
Paid. They don't
Like
care.
what the
We got you. We don't care about anything else. We
Exactly.
pinning all this shit on you, and that's what's happening.
And you
bro,
Period.
ain't say nothing on top of
have
all
any of
of
y'all
that.
ever
You
fought
ain't
a
say
dope
nothing.
case, a drug case, anything? I've never known a lawyer to tell you to get up on the stand if you fighting the case. That's dumb.
Yeah, I
Hey,
have. Yes, yeah, yeah, that has been said, and that has saved a number of people by taking the witness stand. The only reason why you don't take the witness stand is that
Big Supreme, I'm gonna mute you. You got noise in the
you
background.
can mess around and indict yourself on either the charges that you're being charged with, or some new stuff can come out. Because once you get on the witness stand, the prosecutor can have a field day.
I'm gonna get on
Exactly.
the
If
witness.
they want
I want
to.
to get on the witness stand and ask for immunity.
Yeah,
Well, look,
you get immunity to prevent yourself from being charged, and you're going to tell everything to the prosecutor that they want to know. That's what's
And
going
then
to
see,
hey,
happen.
and
Greg,
then see, and then
Greg,
the crazy
the
part
nigga
about it,
only
that's why
got
I
10
say
years. He's all
it's
right. The nigga
it's
only
a
got
lot of
10 years. He
evidence
be out
that
in
people
6. He
didn't
fine.
see, bro. Because you got to ask yourself, why the fuck do Kelsey need and that fucking immunity
Hey,
if you were never
hey,
charged
the
with
nigga
nothing to
only
begin
got
with,
10 years. He be out in 6. He's fine.
bro? Bro, what
Shout
the,
out
bro?
to Big
You too
Supreme
old for that, bro. You a
Channel.
senior citizen, bro. Come on
Oh
now.
boy!
Big Supreme,
Yo,
what's your two
Hey, Big
cents? What you got
Supreme.
for the show?
uh, um, who's on Tory's side in the on the panel?
I was definitely.
I ain't. I think them niggas.
Uh,
I'm not
now,
because he's
It's
a
not.
dumbass.
It's
yeah,
not
I
even
agree. I
about.
agree with you, Shelton. He's a dumbass. The reason why I say that is because they offered him 4 years. He turned it down to go to trial, and he got like 10 or something like that. So
Yeah.
if he would have took
Yeah.
that four
Dummy.
years, he would
How?
have been out by now already.
Hey, let me ask you a question though, Big Supreme. Would you go to? Would you take 4 years if you know for a fact you never touched a gun?
I'm still taking that 4 years.
You crazy, bro.
Why am I crazy?
Especially,
You got
why
listen.
would
All
you?
right, so
Why would you,
this is my
bro? Why
logic,
would
right?
you take some time for some
Listen,
shit you
this is my
didn't do? That
logic.
don't
Look,
sound
look,
right.
look, Pay. I'm
Why
gonna tell
didn't
you,
he
this is my
say he
logic.
didn't
Because
do
my
it?
jacket is going to get me
Look, this
convicted
is my
anyway.
logic,
My
Pay.
jacket is fucked up.
Bro, you go to
Can
trial
I
if you know
talk?
for a
God
fact
damn,
that
I didn't know this was like a explosive topic.
no, it ain't. Yeah, I think we all just got caught up on it when I brought it up. My bad, bro.
No, no,
I
no.
didn't.
All right, so this is my logic, Pay, right?
Hey, this 2 cents after dark. Go ahead, Big Supreme.
All right, so I'm Tory Lanez. I'm a rapper. I'm independent. I'm making millions of dollars, but I have a lot of public support. A lot of people didn't really believe Megan's side of the story, and then a lot of things came out about her, a lot of foul stuff she did. But that's besides the point. If he would have took that 4 years, he would have been out right now. He could have been getting back to the bag, doing what he got to do. Probably would have got deported to Canada, but he still would have been free. Now
Big
he has to
Supreme.
spend the rest of, I
I,
guess, the
I
2030 or something like that to come home. Then he's gonna get deported. The public's probably gonna move on.
big
I would have took that time. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Big
I would have took
Supreme.
that.
Okay, okay, cool. So if you would say you got stopped by the police, bro, and a dirty cop planted some shit in your car, you know for a fact it ain't yours. You never touched it. Would you go to trial or would you take some years for some shit you know ain't
But
yours?
you
I
never
see. That's
said
a
that the
different
cop
scenario,
did
though.
it. You never said the cop did it though. You just kept saying that ain't mine. That ain't
But he
mine.
never. But this the thing. Bro, I can't. It's
All
hard
right,
to
so
understand.
that's a
I'm
different
trying to
scenario.
get.
The
I
reason
don't
why it's a different
understand how y'all
scenario.
not catching what I'm saying,
Nah, I
bro.
get
Like,
exactly what you're saying, but I feel like you're using the wrong scenario, right? What I'm trying to say is Megan Thee Stallion is backed by Interscope. She's backed by Jay-Z and Rock Nation. There's a lot of money behind her. So
that's
they
my
have to
point.
listen. Exactly. So what you're saying is basically you negating your point by disagreeing with me because they have the power to turn public opinion against Tory through the media, through hip hop, people coming out against Tory saying they would never do that, support black women, all of these different things they were saying, right? So now if I know that they're trying to railroad me and they're giving me a way out, you'll take this 4 years and then you'll probably be out with good time. And I think in Cali they do like 50% of the time or something like that. So he would have came out probably a year ago. So
But
now,
this the
That
thing,
was his first
listen,
offense. He would have
listen.
got halftime. He had been in jail for a year. He was
bro.
did
All
another
right,
six
Man,
months
exactly.
and
I
So
ain't
went
you
home.
never
could
in
have
my life.
been
I
there for a
never in my
year.
life
You got
heard a nigga that's
halftime. You would
finna
have came home
literally take
already.
some fucking time
Versus
that they know they
going,
didn't do, bro. Like that's
look,
crazy as
Pay,
hell.
look, listen, Pay. Versus going to trial.
Still doing time, paid.
Listen,
Huh?
going to trial, losing, and they blow your lights out. Now, listen, I'm not on here on a panel to talk about my life and stuff. But I know people that went to trial when they got offered 5 years and then they lost and got 25. I
Yep.
know dudes that got offered 15 years, they didn't take it. Now they got to do 40.
But
So
that's
in my eyes, from my perspective, they offer me 4. I'm gonna take that, and I know that I'm gonna do half the time.
but
Why
if you
not do
making
that?
that
Come
type of
on.
money, but if you making that type of money, bro, you're not, bro. You're a fucking superstar at this time, bro.
Of course,
You're
but
not
But
now
gonna
look,
Paige,
present no.
you
hold on,
got.
hold on. Oh yeah,
Look,
hold
let me
on.
just say this one
Paige,
last thing,
here's the
Paige.
question.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Hold on, Big Supreme, finish up. Go ahead, Big
So
Supreme.
now my
Go
thing is
ahead.
this, right? You a superstar, you getting money, right? So now you rather do that 2 years and make up for that time lost, or now you got to make up for 10 years now? Because originally they was trying to get that nigga 25 years, bro. So you gonna really risk that? I'm not.
Man, hey, I'm taking that shit to trial 1,000%,
But
especially if I know
let me
for a
ask you
fact.
this,
All
I'm
Paige.
right,
not
This is
get
what
gonna
I'm
your
go
gonna
to
ask you
license
because you
trial
then.
never
if I'm
answered my
not gonna.
question.
I'm not gonna go to trial if I'm not gonna tell the truth.
But your
You're
your
not.
your, your lawyer is gonna
Paige,
advise you never to
hold
get
on,
on the
Paige. You
stand, though. You
avoided my
see, that's the
question.
problem.
You avoided my question from the gate. Why didn't
Bro,
he
you didn't
tell on
even
the bitch?
ask me no question, bro. Big Supreme
I
was
asked
just
you why
talking.
did he tell? Why didn't he tell on the
All
broad?
right, go ahead. Ask me your
Why?
How you
question,
know I'm the
bro.
jet on thing 5? I'm really the jet though, you heard?
Why did he not tell on the broad? What was his reasoning?
What are you talking about? Tell what?
When the police rolled up to the car, right
They
after
never
whatever
questioned
happened
him
happened.
about he never had an interrogation. He went to jail. What are you talking about, bro? They didn't ask him about
They
that.
can't just take you to jail just because.
Yeah, they
Bro,
They
he
had to
definitely
got
ask you
asked
what
charged
him,
with the
Paige.
happened.
possession of the gun. What are you talking about? It was his security card. That was his car.
What he's saying is,
Bro,
what he's saying is, why, even though the gun was in his car, et cetera, if he knew who shot Megan and he knew they could looking at him, why didn't he tell that it was the girl, Kelsey, who
But
shot Megan? That's what he's asking.
when was he
That's
gonna
what I'm
tell
asking.
though? But this
You
my
can
I'm
go
trying to understand when was he gonna tell?
he could have gone to
When you
court.
get to the police station,
He could have done
tell
it at
your
the police
lawyer.
station, but he could have also done it at a trial if he took the stand.
But he didn't. But none of them scenarios happened though.
Right. So why didn't it?
But that's the thing. Why would you get on the stick? I'm not understanding this shit,
If
bro.
Pay
Like
the
I
why
never.
would
full.
he
Listen,
not
pay
tell
the
the
full.
police officer who
Y'all don't
interrogated him,
hold
this
on. Pay
girl
the full.
shot that
Hold
girl?
on,
Why would he
Shelton.
not say that?
Hold on, Shelton. Pay the full. You don't think nobody asked him his side of the story?
Yeah, but no, he wasn't even speaking on it at first though. He wasn't speaking on it. None of that shit was even being
Why?
talked. But what I'm saying
Why?
before, none of that shit was being talked about until Meg went public about the shit about
What
pointing
you
the
mean?
finger.
That nigga was making songs and doing all kind of shit, antagonizing that girl about the situation.
Was this after the fact, or I'm talking about before they went to trial? Because it was a
before they went
period
to
of time
Before
where
he
they
trial,
went to
wasn't even
trial, he
speaking on the
dropped that album.
situation.
Remember he dropped the album called Daystar, trolling her.
Yeah, I
So
remember
let
that,
me
bro.
ask you this. Hold on. Let me get this straight. I'm confused. Let me get this straight. So you telling me, Paige, that you believe that from the time he went to jail, nobody ever said, "Hey, Mr. Lanes,
No, bro, because
what
nobody
happened
did.
that night?"
No.
I
That's
gotta
hard for
That's
me
why
to
I'm
say this,
believe.
saying, bro,
Paige.
y'all keep talking
That's
about
hard
why
for
the
me to
nigga didn't
believe,
tell
bro.
you. That's why I keep
That's
saying, do you
hard for
know
me
what
to
a do
believe,
you
bro.
bro, do y'all know what a fucking gag order is?
Yeah, but he
That
Okay,
wasn't
so
there.
doesn't
therefore he couldn't say shit.
No,
He
that's not
couldn't
pay
say
the
true.
shit.
full.
A
That
gag
doesn't
order don't account to
apply
the
in a
police,
legal.
bro. A
That
gag
No,
don't
order doesn't
matter.
apply to the detective. A
it
gag order
don't.
So
does
what,
not apply to the detective.
bro? What y'all missing points, bro? It's a
A
whole
gag
timeline right
order
down the
does
Hey,
not
bottom,
apply
hold on,
to the
Paige.
detective.
Paige, if you are getting charged with a shooting, a gag order doesn't matter. You got the right to
so
say I
bro. So
didn't
if
do
a
this.
gag
All
order,
hold on, Paige. All that gag order shit don't matter if you're the one getting charged. It only matters if it's somebody else getting charged. If
bro,
it's you getting,
do you know what a gag
hey,
order
hold
is, bro?
on, bro. If you are getting charged with a shooting and they try to say you did this and you
Dean,
got
do you know
knowledge
what a
that you
gag order
didn't do
is,
that,
bro?
bro, if you got knowledge that you didn't do that, you can tell
Just
investigators.
just
You might
answer my
not be
question,
able to
Dean. Do
go,
you know what a
hey,
gag
let me
order
talk,
is?
bro. Stop cutting me off.
I'm just asking you a question. Do you
Hold
know what a
on,
gag
stop
order
cutting me
is?
off, bro. Stop cutting me off. I ain't even getting finished what I'm saying. A
Bro,
gag
you
order
keep
does not
speaking on shit, but you don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
pay.
Don't let Dean get excited, man.
A
You don't know
gag
what you
order
if you can't tell me what the definition of a gag order is, then you can't talk to me, bro.
pay.
Oh,
A
damn,
gag
bro.
order does not matter if you are the one getting charged with the shooting.
Oh my god,
You
bro.
can go tell the investigators at any time your side of the story. That doesn't matter if you're the one
Hey,
getting
I'm
charged
done.
with a shooting,
I'm
Nah,
bro.
I'm not gonna lie,
I'm
Deem.
done with
I
the
kind of disagree with that. I don't think that's
That's what I'm
accurate.
saying, bro. Like, if you don't know what you're
I
talking
don't
about,
think that's
bro, just
accurate,
don't
Deem.
speak on that, bro. Because
Because
you
if you
Bro,
got a
like you're
gag
not
order,
the
that
shit you're
Cannot.
saying.
Hold
all
on,
It
right,
hold
so
on,
don't
hold
not.
on.
It's not
Time out,
true,
time out, time out. I'm gonna look up gag order, but I don't think you can be under a gag order and be in court on
bro.
trial at
not
the
not
same
two
time.
Yet
That
cents.
don't
All right,
even
so
in
sound
that
basically,
legal.
case, he had a gag order, so he
all
could
right,
not speak
2 cents.
on shit.
Let me say this one thing, right?
he
So
can't speak on it
so
publicly.
the
He can
gag
go
order, the
privately
gag
and
order
talk to
was
the
in place.
investigators at any time.
Now the gag order was in place because he dropped the album antagonizing her. So what they
Yeah,
was
that means
basically
he
saying
can't
that
talk
you
about it
can't.
in
He
the
can't
public.
talk about it publicly. He can go and tell
Correct.
his lawyers privately to talk to the
Oh yeah,
Talk
yeah,
investigators,
yeah,
about
yeah.
it
the
in
I agree with
court.
that.
prosecutor
I
at
agree with
any
that.
time.
But
Hey, I
if
agree with
you're
that.
going to Deem, if you're going to so regardless of the fact, if you're going to trial, you're going to tell your lawyers that.
He just couldn't speak on it in public. What I'm saying.
That's what I'm
But
saying. He could
yeah.
have said it in private. He didn't even want to say it in private, Paige, because he didn't
Yeah,
want the image like he was
gag
snitching.
order, bro.
Now he's a
Imagine
Exactly.
if
cornball. That's why I say he's
That
a bozo from
that
the
was it
beginning,
right
That's
bro.
what
there, G.
happened.
That's what it
There
is
you
right
go.
there.
Who is that? Who is that just said that? You got it
He-
right. He's a fucking bozo.
That was me that said that. He a bozo,
Yeah.
man. Like I
Yeah,
know,
the
like I
gag,
said, I know
yeah,
people
the
that turned
gag
down
order
5
does
years and
not
got
work,
25 to
does
life,
not
bro. Like
stop
you
him from
stupid.
testifying in court.
I'm
It
not
only
doing that.
stops him from talking
But
to the public.
this is the thing though, bro. Any lawyer in that situation would advise you their client to not get on the stand, bro. It's
Why?
open from that point on. It's open season.
Exact. But if you get ready to go to jail, and that's the only way that you can prevent yourself from
But
going
he don't.
to jail,
This
huh?
the thing, Mr. Greg. Though, if the evidence that they have was so weak that at the time you would go to trial because you feel like you're gonna beat the case.
But he didn't.
Exactly. So that. At the end of the day, you can't go back and say, "Damn, I should have got on the damn stand." You can't do that.
He
Paige,
should
he
have
should have
told the
got on the
police in the
stand.
interview
He paying
room
his.
that
But
girl
what I'm
shot that
saying,
girl.
any
That girl
lawyer that
shot her,
you're
not
paying
me.
gonna advise you not to do that, bro.
Hey, no, he's not.
Now Rick Tim said
No,
it
he's not.
like gag orders work like as far as like not making albums, not doing public appearances, talking about the
Thank
situation.
you. It's
You can
something you
talk,
can't talk
That's
about
all.
you can
public.
That's
You
talk
can
all
go
it
and
freely.
tell
is.
the
You can,
truth to the
what's wrong?
prosecutors whenever.
Yeah, but you can't. You. They can't stop you from telling the truth in court.
Yeah, that's no, especially when it's you're the one getting charged with the shooting. That's somebody else. It's you. You
Bro,
can say whatever you want to say at that point. You just
but
can't
part
make
All
it
the
of the
public.
judge
fact
wanted to do is
you
stop
missing
making
my
rap
point,
albums.
bro.
That's
The
it.
lawyer, if your lawyer that you're paying is gonna recommend you to never get on the stand, bro. That's
Why
what
would
I'm
he
trying to
tell you to
get y'all
not
to
get on the
understand,
stand
bro.
Now I'm
when
not
you're
gonna
the
lie,
only
Pete.
one that could clear your name?
Yo, Pete, I
You
ain't gonna
don't have
lie.
to listen to your
That
lawyer.
nigga's a bozo, bro.
Like
I'll
that
keep it
don't make
Hey,
sense.
Big Supreme. I agree with you 1,000%, bro. But if you feel like you got a case won, bro, why the fuck would you get on the stand?
Pay, he should have got on the stand because the
And then at
security
that,
guard
you could
went
have been winning
missing.
the case. You could
Paid
have been winning the case, and you
the
get on
other
the fucking
person that
stand
was
and
a
you cook.
witness in it, paid his security guard went missing. So the
And
person that could back his story didn't even want to come to court.
bro,
That's why
he
you should say
couldn't, bro.
something.
With no. You had people that was willing to testify, bro, and they
It was
didn't
only
even let them
4
into the
people in the
courtroom,
car. It wouldn't have mattered if it wasn't one of them 4 people. It wasn't Meg. The girl got
bro.
immunity and the security guard went
Bro,
missing. You better say something at that
Dean,
point.
have you followed the case? Have you followed the case up until this point, bro?
Yes, I have. I followed
Okay,
it up
so
to the point. I
what new
followed it up
evidence
to the point so much. I followed it up to the point so much that I know the security guard went missing and didn't want to testify on his
did you
behalf.
read the affidavit? Did you read the affidavit of what the driver said? And did
Yeah,
you read the affidavit of
the
the
driver said he
star
didn't
key
shoot her.
witness of that case?
The driver said he didn't shoot her, but the problem is he didn't want to come to court paid and say that.
Bro, you had 3 other people that said that they, from the time that they packed the girl bag and all types of shit, and wasn't able
Yeah,
to
and they did
testify.
not pay.
And
None of
then,
that
and
matters
then,
if you're not paid.
bro,
None of that matters if you're not going to come to court and say it.
oh my god,
Another thing
Pay,
too,
if I
right?
get charged with a shooting, pay, I'm in the streets, bro. If you can have a witness
nigga,
that say a
Yeah,
guy
talk
I
that
didn't
beat
talk,
do
a
Dean.
dope
something.
Yeah,
case,
Dean.
bro. I done beat
Hold
a
on, let
dope
me
case
finish.
before,
Let me
bro.
finish, bro. Because you don't know what you're talking about with this. If
Man,
somebody
you
charges you
tripping,
with a
bro.
shooting, bro, if somebody charged you with a shooting, and there's witnesses saying you didn't do it, none of that matters up. That matters if they're going to charge you, all of that. But once they get to the point where they charge you, and it's a case, those witnesses have to come to court and say that in court. If they say it prior to the court date, They could say whatever. But if they're not going to come to court and say
This is
it,
what I'm saying, bro.
hold on,
That's what I
Paige,
said.
but why you keep cutting me off, bro?
Go
Every
ahead,
time I'm
bro.
trying to finish what I'm
Go
saying,
ahead,
bro.
Because you speaking on, bro, you don't
Bro,
understand
if
what
you
you're
are getting
talking
charged
about,
with a
bro. I don't
shooting, brother,
believe you've been
and
in trouble before.
bro, this is how I know, bro. If you've been charged with a shooting and you got witnesses saying you didn't do it, if they don't make it to court to say the same thing, it doesn't matter. That's why witnesses get murdered before trial.
Deem, have you ever fought a dope case or a drug case, bro?
Yes.
So would your lawyer recommend you getting on the fucking stand?
Yes. If I was the only person that could clear my
bro,
name,
you
he
couldn't have never
would.
been in no trouble, bro. You tripping.
Paid.
Why would you do that?
Paid. If you are getting
Hold on, y'all.
charged with a
Hold on. We
shooting.
got a new person on the panel. Shout out Rollo.
Yo, Rollo did fed time. He might add some
Devin
quality
Haney
content.
the Great. Devin Haney the Great going after another title like y'all favorite fighter never does.
Man, Rollo, man, cut that shit up, man.
Hey, man, get out of here with that bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah, like your favorite fighter never does. Yeah, 3 divisions, 3 championships.
Bro, it's all respect. You still the homie, bro. It's just a passionate conversation, bro.
I'm just telling the truth. If you get charged with something
I'm on bail
and you
right
got
now.
hold on, y'all, and you got witnesses that say, "Oh, we saw that Dean didn't do this," and then it's time, but they still charge me, and it's time to come to court. If the witnesses don't get in court and say that, I am fucked now. So the minute paid that he knew that the security guard boy, the driver didn't want to come to court, he should have said something. Listen, my witness that's coming to testify on my behalf, the one that said that he saw me not do this, he's coming to court. So at that point, you got to say, hey, listen, go holler at the prosecutors, tell them I'm willing to work out a deal X, Y, and Z, because they're going to railroad you from there. Because it's your job to prove your innocence.
Yo,
He's not a
let me
rat,
go
though.
after Rollo.
He's not a cowardly rat, though. That's why he don't
ahead,
kill
Rollo.
on people.
Go ahead, Rollo.
He's not a rat. What y'all missing about that? Maybe
we said that, Rollo, that he didn't want to snitch. That's the main reason.
And I was trying to get to that
He's
point.
Not a rat. That's why he didn't tell on that girl.
So then don't cry then. I don't.
So your ass going to jail.
But you can't say don't cry.
He didn't cry.
If you're not a rat, then don't whine about your time. Do your time like a man.
He didn't. He went to trial and took his time.
No,
but
he is because he got people doing press conferences
he
talking
went
about
to
he
trial
innocent and all
took
that
his
shit.
time.
But that's
But
what I'm
he's
saying,
still
bro.
going to let people know that he got railroaded. What motherfucker wouldn't let a motherfucker know?
I don't. What you
they
mean?
railroaded
If I'm not a rat, I'm not gonna come out here and let you know I didn't get railroaded. I'm not a rat.
You did get railroaded.
Railroaded and not be a rat.
But that's the issue, though, bro. This is what I'm saying, though.
What
Like
are you talking
you
about?
can't have it both ways.
Makes sense.
If you shoot, like I'm saying, if you know for a fact you didn't shoot a gun or you didn't shoot at nobody, and you have them DNA test the shit, and then your shit come back completely excluded from the gun, then what the fuck? How the fuck are you doing time for some shit you didn't do?
Because he got railroaded.
That's my issue.
Because we don't care.
I was gonna get deeper.
This is what we're telling you. This is what we're telling you. Listen to what we're telling you. We don't care about the evidence. We got your ass, and we sticking this shit on you.
What the fuck are you talking about? You don't care about the evidence, bro. What are you talking about?
Real life.
What I'm saying is he couldn't have told on
you get caught with a
people.
gun, you gonna say you don't give a fuck about the damn.
What I'm talking about is the APD. I'm telling you about the LAPD.
Hold on, Mr.
The
Shelton.
LAPD will put shit on you.
Hold on, Mr. Shelton. Mr.
You tripping, bro?
Yeah.
If
go
you're
ahead.
not a rat, that means you finna do this time then, since you're not a rat.
And that's what he's doing. And that's what he's doing.
But
that don't mean you don't.
Not, hold on, Rollo. That's not what he's doing, because he keeps coming out talking about new evidence coming out. He doing this. He got press conferences. He keep doing all of this stuff.
Nah, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You
trying to say, hold on. You don't know what you're talking about. Trying to say that he didn't do it when you're not a rat. So if you're not a rat, why are you coming out now saying you didn't do it?
Because he's trying to clear his. You're not making sense.
It was
saying don't make no sense.
In that same evidence.
Listen.
All right, so this is my thing, right?
That's just like coming back on appeal. Just because I'm saying I don't do it, that don't mean I'm ratting on somebody. I don't got to say who did it. I can come back on the appeal and present evidence to prove that I did.
The problem is, Rollo.
That's the real problem that nobody's acknowledging, right? Look,
That's why he
nobody's
setting up.
acknowledging.
He getting a pardon package down right now, just so that
Tripping.
because the
No,
evidence
nobody's
against him not
acknowledging that
there.
this nigga's an entertainer. That's singing. He's from Canada. He's not no street nigga. It's not like Jeezy caught a shooting case or Gucci or King Von. This nigga's a fucking singer, bro,
I
from
don't know if
Canada.
he's a
That
street
nigga's not
nigga
Hey,
no
or not.
no,
thug. He's not
hey,
no
hey,
gangster.
Big Supreme, bro. But a lot of time, motherfuckers like out there in LA, bro, that shit different.
Listen,
Yeah,
that nigga's
he
not a
really be
gangster,
getting
bro.
it
So
started.
all that street politics, that shit don't apply to him. So everybody in the
Yeah, I
comments
don't know if
talking
he's a
about
gangster or not.
listen,
But he was
everybody
in
in the
LA
comments
though,
saying that
bro.
he don't want to be a rat, this, that, and third. That nigga's not a gangster. He's not a
See,
Yeah, how
gangster,
you
bro.
Paige.
know if he's a gangster or not,
He's
though?
not none of that,
How
right?
you
So
know?
this is my thing, right?
Nigga,
If you
I'm in
know you didn't
LA.
shoot that
I
girl,
live in LA.
that's
I've been
not
in
gonna
LA all my life. That nigga should have told and got the
Hold
fuck
on,
out of
Mr.
jail. That's
Kelsey.
what he should have
He
done.
should have told. Yeah, you a
all I'm
rat,
saying
Go
nigga.
is that
ahead.
nigga, he
You a
should have
rat.
just
Low
said, look,
life,
I didn't
cowardly
shoot the
rat.
girl. That's it. You're not a rat. You on trial for shooting a R&B singer, basically,
He
making it
did say
sound
that.
like an IG model, homie. She's not no gang member. She's not associated with no gang.
He
Nobody
did
gonna
say
look
that.
at you like no rat, dog.
But that's what he
So
did say though.
He
But then
did
the
say
other
he
thing
didn't do it.
was
What are you
is that
I'm
talking
just
this
about?
was a
saying,
fight.
That nigga's a
Another
hook.
thing
What is
is,
you
everybody's saying
talking
that
about?
he should have not
but
got
What is
another
arrested
you
thing is
idiot
that
niggas
not
talking
defend
about? That
himself.
nigga's a hook. He's not no gangster. That
He's
nigga
not a
ain't from
gangster, bro.
nowhere.
How
He's a
you
mark.
know?
He's supposed to
But
be
this
That
the
police.
nigga's from
thing
Canada,
though. But
bro.
this the
How you
thing
know?
though. If you go back and
He not
actually
no
watch
street
that
nigga,
shit,
bro. So if you got to understand and said, look, I didn't
How
do
you
this,
know
that,
he
and the
ain't no
third,
street
nobody's looking
nigga
at
though?
that nigga like no rap, bro. It's not like
but
you caught a case or
Y'all,
something
How
it
like
you
that.
come
know
down.
he
It
ain't no
come down
street
to
nigga?
this.
no, that rap
Once they
shit is
gave the
serious,
babe,
bro.
That nigga's a hook.
bro, it come down
You
to
don't
this.
know that
Once they
man.
gave the
You know
babe
what that man
immunity,
do?
once they gave the babe
No,
immunity, it was already too late to tell at that
You know
point
it.
because the
No, it was
person
not.
that you would
No,
tell
man, you don't
on,
know what you're talking
the, the,
about. You
the
don't know
person
what you're
that they would
talking about.
tell on,
Listen,
the
man, that
person you
nigga's a
would
Man,
tell
you
cornball,
don't know
bro.
on.
what
He
you're
should have
talking
took
about.
that
That's not
4
how
years
Hold
and
immunity
that
on,
shit,
hold
works.
bro.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
You don't know
The
what you're
person
talking
you would
about.
tell on, is out of
That's
the
wrong.
picture now.
That's
no,
wrong.
that's not
No, it's
true.
not.
Paige should
No,
have
That's
they
not
never.
not.
true, Dean.
No, they not. You don't know what the fuck you talking
That's
about,
not
dumb
true,
nigga.
bro.
You don't know
You
what the
just
fuck
because you
you
got
talking about.
immunity, that means you can't self-incriminate yourself.
That nigga
Whatever
don't
you
know what
tell
he's
them.
talking about.
What I'm saying is
That's not what immunity means,
when they
dummy.
So
gave the babe when
even if she
No, it's
guilty, the
not,
person that
dummy.
they gave
That's not what
immunity
immunity
to
y'all
is
means,
No,
bro.
it's
motherfuckers
That
keep
not,
means
you
that
cutting me
whatever
dummy.
off,
you
and I
said on
didn't
the
even
One
get
mic,
to
stand,
what I
one
was
mic,
saying.
one mic,
Cause you
one
talking
mic,
stupid.
I
one
didn't
mic,
even get a
Rocco.
chance to finish what I
Let
was saying.
them
First
they
of
gotta
all,
say it, and you don't disagree don't mean you get to cut them off. Go ahead, D.
because none
I
of you
mean, I
motherfuckers
ain't
out
finished what I
yell
was
me.
saying
So
either, but go
if we
ahead,
gonna
though.
start over talking people, just let me know if that's what we gonna
You the
do.
only
Because
nigga
I'm going
yelling.
to win that. I'm going to win that. I'm
You the
going to
only
win
nigga
that.
yelling.
I'm going to win that.
Yeah, nobody gonna beat Dean, man. Like,
Oh, all right. I
let
just want to
let,
make
let
sure
Dean
that's not
talk.
what we doing.
You
All
the only
right.
nigga
So
yelling,
let me
home.
It's
finish
my
saying,
nigga screaming
Rollo,
by
I'll
any
knock them
means.
dusty ass braids out your head. You better stop playing with me.
Nigga,
You
you
Come
dirty
on,
than a
5'4".
man.
You
motherfucker.
5'4". You
Nigga,
better shut
you
up.
crusty ass,
You
broke ass nigga.
5'4". You better shut up.
You
All
crusty
right,
ass,
go ahead,
broke
Dean.
ass nigga.
Go ahead, Dean. Come
Go
on.
ahead,
You
D.
wear long wife beaters. You better be quiet.
Ah,
You
Nah,
We
a
that's
seen
crusty,
your
nasty
broke
braids
work.
ass
and
nigga.
that damn shack you living in.
my nigga D.
You don't even got a fucking sidewalk outside.
Long
Nigga, you
white
just
beaters
got a
is crazy.
mailbox and grass.
Bro, you should have
Come
got
on,
that nigga
Dean. What you
started.
got,
Oh,
bro?
all
What
right.
you got,
I
bro?
was just making sure. Oh, all right. So anyway, like I was saying,
And old
You
head
when you
showed
crusty.
his
when you
face.
don't want to tell, and then the babe, they give the babe immunity. And then the guy that's coming into your defense, he's missing now. That's when
Uh,
Tory Lane should have went back and said, listen, all right, I
no,
need to
D.
cut a deal. I don't want to take this to trial because it's going to look bad. Because now you got Meg, who's the victim that's lying, saying that you did X, Y, and Z, and you got nothing to on your behalf to say that you didn't.
D.
That's the biggest problem right there, and that's how they
No,
fucked him.
what Kelsey should have did, but I think you explained it wrong, bro. I think immunity is just
Nigga
simply you
dumb.
can't incriminate yourself with any testimony that you give on the stand.
Right. That's
So
it.
what she's
That's what
saying,
immunity is. That's a
so
And
fact.
so
that's all it is.
to be honest, if Kelsey knows she did it by her having immunity, she could have just said she shot the gun. The whole shit would have been
Right.
over
She sure could have.
See, now, Paige,
because
you
she
talking
could have
that
got
talk now. I
charged with
agree with that.
nothing.
She sure could have. But
But
that
then that
don't
comes
But
out
why didn't she?
afterwards now. He's already in jail.
You
Yes,
know, you know what's so
and that's
crazy,
the
bro?
issue, and that's
And
why I
We
said
talking
that's
that's
why
what
about
I
I
was
two
agree
saying.
there,
females.
Paige. That's the problem right there.
Listen, we talking
That's
about
And
we
how
that's
they
talking
and
about
that's
got
what
him.
I was saying, bro. So if she ain't do shit, she was never charged with nothing in that case. Why the fuck do she need immunity?
That's the thing that had me confused, Paige. His lawyer
That's
should
what
have
I'm saying.
attacked
Like
that
that
though.
shit don't
He should
add
have
All
up.
I'm
said, "Fuck
saying is,
that." No.
Did she ever get tested for GSR?
Yes, she had gun residue powder on her, bro. In her handprint. She never got checked. She never got checked for a DNA test on the gun. Only person that they
So
checked
why
was
did so
Tory.
if she had
It
GSR
sounds
on
like
her
hold
and
on. It sounds
nobody
like
else,
Tory Lanez had a trash ass lawyer.
Facts.
Exactly.
How is
not
that?
only that,
Exactly.
Say
How
that
is
not only
that?
again.
that, why the
if
fuck he didn't
she
take that 4 years though? Why we not talking about that, man?
so
And
if you
then and
He
saying
was
she had
innocent.
GSR on her
yeah, she
and
had gun.
nobody else had GSR on them, right?
Yes,
That what you saying?
yes. His handprints came back excluded from the gun. It was a male. It was two
Then
other
watch that.
males' handprints
Now
on
you
that
asking
gun
and you
and a
asking
female
yourself
handgun.
and
Man,
you're
listen,
asking yourself
he
why
had a
she
really
needed
bad
immunity.
lawyer.
That's
All
why she
this
needed immunity.
information.
Exactly,
Thank
bro.
you.
They got the
All that.
fighting, bro. If you go back and look at the new evidence, bro, her and Kelsey
Hey,
got the
hey,
fighting. My
hey,
bad.
you gotta ask yourself this though. All this information, all that, like your lawyer was trash. They didn't let shit in. All of that, whatever happened, his ass was gonna be in jail. That's
Yo,
where
why
they
this
wanted
Tootie
him to
kid
be.
nigga in the comments
Facts.
sucking dick, man? Man, shut the
And then
fuck up, man.
another thing
Who?
is anybody
This
know
Tootie
who
kid nigga
Desiree?
talking about only them is in the streets and they real niggas. Like, y'all niggas don't know what niggas doing in real life. Nigga, what the fuck is you talking
Man, that's
about?
what I'm saying, bro. Niggas be getting this interference.
What
That
was you
nigga
about
be
to say,
going mad
Paige?
hard. This nigga's an R&B singer, homie. You trying to apply street rules to an R&B singer
Man,
that
you
shot
think
a
the
Man, that
female
motherfuckers
nigga
don't
Another
R&B
get
pays
thing
shot
though,
from the
rapper?
streets?
another thing
The
though,
fuck?
that nigga pays taxes, homie. He ain't no
Big
gangster.
Supreme.
These niggas,
Another,
they
another,
not no gangsters,
Y'all
nigga.
niggas sound so
but
Talking
stupid.
about
that shit
an
can
IG
destroy
model
your career
No,
that's
though,
a
that
bro.
rapper
that
from
no
Canada.
man.
That
How would that have destroyed his career? They not know he's not a
if
gangster
they
He's not
rapper.
no
That would
gangster.
not have destroyed his career if he
man,
said Kelsey
Nigga in
shot
the
her.
comments
Y'all
sucking dick.
gotta
this
stop it,
Fuck.
bro.
That's my
this the
point right
It's
thing
too
there.
though.
easy.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like
Tory Lanez is a
outside
singer.
of the camera, we really don't know what the fuck that
Man, you
nigga
don't
got
know
going
what
on
type of
for real.
nigga
Lane's
that
just a
is.
goofball,
And
He
man.
that
He's
could
nigga
just
be
from
a
tied
Canada,
into
dog. That
something.
nigga
We
not
don't
no
know that.
gangster, bro. He's not a gangster, bro.
How
nigga's a
you
I
know?
know.
goofball.
How
First
you
of all,
know he
How
a
you
Tory
know he
gangster?
a
Lanez
gangster?
say he not a
Let's do
gangster.
that.
What is y'all
How you know
talking
he's a
about?
gangster? What he did?
How you
What
know?
work he put in?
Listen, let me tell you. Listen, let me
That's the
ask y'all a
thing, Big
question, right?
Supreme. We
No,
don't
hold
know
on.
that part,
Paid in
bro.
full.
Man,
Paid
that
in
nigga,
full. Let me
nobody
ask you
looking
a
at that
question.
nigga like
Paid in
no
full.
gangster, bro. Y'all just
Nobody
doing
Paid
look
in
at
full.
Tory
elevated
Lanez
shit, man.
like that.
You don't
Hey,
even
let me
know
ask
that
you a
Niggas
man.
fucking
question.
niggas is no
Paid in
gangster, dog.
full.
This is not
Hey, let me
42
ask you a
Dog
I
question.
hear
or
you. I
Big
hear you too,
City
Cent.
or one
Hear
of
me?
these niggas.
So you
Like,
messing around with two women and they get to arguing,
yeah, man,
and
it's two
one
women.
shoot the other one. You not
Meg
gonna
was
tell because you don't want to be a
Meg was
rat.
beating her ass though. Like Meg was beating Kelsey ass. And that's why Kelsey got mad, got the gun, and started. And that's when Tory tried to knock it. That's when
What the fuck
Tory
does
knocked it.
that matter? What the fuck does that matter?
What do you mean? That's what the fuck that's what happened, motherfucker.
It doesn't matter. He's in jail. Whoever was getting their ass kicked, it don't matter. He's locked the fuck up.
Man, Uncle Shelton, take your ass to sleep, bro. Clearly you're not listening to none of the questions that's being asked, bro.
Cause the shit you saying is stupid. Nigga, you ain't never been to jail. You ain't never been to prison. You don't know
Okay.
what you're talking about.
I can show you
Nigga.
my record and everything, bro. Stop,
Now
bro.
you don't know
Don't
what you
let this
talking
internet,
about.
bro. Y'all niggas be
Nah,
letting
you
this
know what you're
You
talking
internet
want
about,
shit
some
bro.
sucker
confuse
rat
Really,
y'all,
you
shit.
bro.
don't.
For real, like
You
y'all
really
niggas
don't.
need to stop doing that shit.
You
Y'all
want some
niggas don't know
sucker
what the
rat
fuck
shit.
niggas be having
Just
going
say
on
that you a
outside of that
scary
shit,
nigga
bro.
and you a
Niggas
rat.
stop speaking
Either
on shit
way,
like you know a nigga, bro.
Just
For
say
real.
that.
Your old ass ain't really about no
That
action, bro.
nigga's a
Cut this
mark.
shit out, bro.
Didn't
That
he
nigga's a
violate his
hook.
probation or something? Ain't that what happened? Why he got in trouble?
That
Nah, he
nigga's a
was never
hook.
home
2
probation.
cents. He's a mark. He's a square. He's a motherfucking rapper. That nigga's nothing.
That's cool, bro. But you speaking on other niggas like you know them or something, bro.
Right.
Bro,
Stop
You
doing
don't
listen,
that
know what
let's
shit,
that
be
man
dude.
let's
go
be for
through.
real, Paid. That he's not a street dude, bro. We
How
not
you
How
gonna
know
can
do
it,
that?
that.
bro? I
Yo,
said
this
he
nigga had a
probably not,
tongue
but
ring,
like
homie. Like Tory Lanez is not no street nigga, bro. If you
but
go
this the
back
thing.
10 years ago, he had a
He said
tongue
he had a
ring, lip
tongue ring.
piercing. That nigga's not no gangster, bro. Y'all not gonna sit up here and act like he's anybody
Big
like
Supreme,
that
bro.
live in
I'm
any
not
kind of hood, bro.
disagreeing with you, bro.
Ain't
I'm
no
not
nigga from the
disagreeing
hood
with
got no
you.
tongue ring,
What
Come
I'm
homie.
on,
saying
man. That nigga
is,
had his lip pierced, homie. He's from Brampton. What is
Big
that?
Supreme. Hey,
Come
Big
on, cut
You
it
Supreme.
don't
out,
know one
Paid.
thing about it. He's
Cut
a
it out,
solid
bro.
nigga because he didn't
Big
tell.
Supreme. What I'm
Man,
saying
he
is,
ain't no
bro,
solid
we
nigga.
don't
He's
know
a
what
Yeah,
goofy.
he
niggas
is a
got going
solid
on
nigga.
outside of
He
this
is.
He's an
internet shit.
idiot. He's an an
He's an
idiot.
idiot, bro.
You
He's a
can call him what he
bozo.
want. He didn't tell.
That
He
nigga's
took
a
his
good.
time.
That sounds
How
dumb.
you
And now he
telling,
got
bro?
10
You
years.
shot a
That's
female,
what
And
I'm
now
all,
saying.
he
bro.
that's
got
So,
10
first of
okay,
years.
all,
10 years ain't the end of a
That's
motherfucker's
dumb
life.
nigga thinking. That's
He
dumb
shot
nigga
a
thinking.
female
Hey,
rapper,
I got
bro.
one question. Just got one question, Mr. Shelton.
Oh, hold on. We got some new people on the panel, y'all. I gotta let them
Yeah.
talk. Shout out
Go ahead.
Thomas Hill on the panel. Shout
What's
out Rich
happening,
on the
Thomas?
panel.
What's up? What's up? Hey,
My
I just
guy, Rich, man. What's up, bro?
what's up? What's
What's
up?
your
Hey,
question?
I just want to say this, man. You don't gotta be a
What's your
street.
Hold
question?
on. Rich, hold on. Thomas Hill was up here first. What's your 2 cents,
Oh my
Thomas? What you
bad.
got for the show?
Nah, I'm just checking out what y'all talking about, trying to gauge what the fuck's going on.
Hey, this two
But
cents after dark, baby. This 2 cents after
I
dark.
see it's hella at the
Talk
dark
my
right now.
good. Sometimes we get off topic. We're talking about the Tory Lanez case right now. Some people believe that Tory Lanez isn't a rat and isn't a snitch, and he's taking his 10 years on the nose, while I believe he's an idiot and a goddamn goofball.
I agree.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And he
Yeah, he's
ain't
a
Vehemently.
taking no
bozo.
10 years on the nose because he keep crying and putting out press conferences talking about he getting out and this and that and this and that. He ain't taking no 10 on the nose.
He
He is
already
a
took it.
That nigga's
goofball.
a moron.
He already took his 10 on the nose. What are you talking about? You mad at him for trying
No,
to get an appeal?
But
I
Mr.
don't
Seemed
care
You
like
what
mad
he
at
he
him
was
for
do.
trying
trying
to
to get an
save
I
him.
don't
appeal?
care what he does. I
Nah, he
don't care
took
what
that
he
10 piece
does.
because he went to trial and they blew his lights out. He didn't go there. He didn't think he was gonna get 10 years. He really thought he was
Hey,
gonna beat that
hey,
case, bro.
hey,
That's
let
what
me.
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, he
Hey,
thought he
Big
was gonna
Supreme,
beat it.
that's all I was saying from the
Yeah, he
beginning,
thought he
bro.
was
That's
gonna
all
beat
I
it.
was saying.
He just thought he was gonna beat
Yeah,
the
I was
case. It's not
listening
like
to
he
you,
stood
Fade. I
tall and was
understood
like,
what
I'm
you
gonna
were
go
Hey,
to
saying.
hey,
trial.
hey, hey, this what I want to say, man. I keep hearing people keep saying he not a street dude. You don't gotta be a street dude to keep your mouth shut, man. He
Right.
I don't
like,
want to hear that, man.
and then,
Civilian,
Why
and
would
then,
I keep
civilian
my
life,
and,
mouth
bro.
and,
shut when I'm facing 25
and,
years, bro?
Because
Are
if
y'all
you're a
tripping?
celebrity and you got a snitch jacking on you, bro,
Y'all
like
silly,
that's
Nah,
Bro,
bro.
that
nah,
nigga
nah,
is a
nah,
civilian,
can I,
bro.
wait, hold
Oh
on,
my
but
God.
He's just not
hold
a
on,
rat.
it ain't about a snitch jacket. He probably was brought up like that. You
He's
don't know
just
where
that's
not
these
a
what I'm
people
rat.
come. You don't
saying,
know,
bro.
you don't know
That's
these
all.
back. You don't know the background of these people, of their family, or
This
how
shit
they
don't
was
make
Right.
no
taught,
sense to
That's
how they was
all
Thomas.
I'm
taught
Yo,
Exactly.
saying.
you
growing
know
up,
what? You know
how
what,
they
Rich?
was taught growing up. That's just like Kendrick Lamar. He not a street nigga at all. But you think he'll sit back and tell on one of his men?
The
Nah,
crazy
Yeah.
part
He
is
should. He
Kendrick
should.
really a blood from Compton.
come on,
That's what
man.
I'm saying, bro.
Obviously, the man
So
was brought up not to be a rat.
Guys,
We know that for a fact.
and then another thing, you don't know his background. So if he get up on that stand, ain't no telling what they gonna start
Man, that nigga
pulling out.
career will be over, bro.
Ain't no telling what they gonna start pulling out when
Right.
he get up on that stand.
Exactly. That
And
nigga
they
was
Right.
gonna make
cooked
him
to jump.
they gonna make him look crazier than what he is. He gonna
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
why
definitely
you don't
incriminate
take the
himself.
stand.
guys,
They
guys,
gonna
That's why
definitely
you don't
incriminate
take the
himself.
guys.
stand.
Let me talk. Let me talk. It's two women fighting. One shoot the other one. He tells what happened. Ain't nothing in that situation is ratting. Y'all sound
It is.
ridiculous.
That's most definitely
Two
ratting. What do
cent
you
that
mean?
would be riding, bro.
That
His
is
whole
right.
If you
interview
see
came
somebody
out.
get shot and you tell, that's ratting. What are you talking
That's
about?
ratting, bro.
How?
What do you
What?
mean?
Nah,
How?
What are you talking
he
about?
would have had
Look,
the
look,
rat.
look, look.
He definitely would have
Listen,
had the rat. But the
Y'all
problem
not
is,
crazy.
you
y'all. The problem is when it's just you that's involved.
Ratting is if me and Big Supreme and Rollo go rob a subway
That's
and
not
we
ratting.
all get arrested and I tell
Yeah,
No,
that's
you
ratting
no,
too.
Nah.
I'm
no,
That's
ratting.
telling.
no,
That's
no.
telling.
That's
It's
ratting too.
different.
That's telling.
That's ratting
That's
too.
this
But
is
if you
what
telling.
we
tell what you
saying, bro.
seen,
That's
Civilians can't rap.
that's
Forget my
telling.
career. Forget my career. Forget everything I got going on. I'm just gonna sit
Civilians
here and not
can't be
say nothing and
rats,
get 10
y'all.
years.
Man, you do
I'm
you know what
not.
they
Civilians
do?
can't be
Look, bro,
rats.
They not gangsters.
Two cent,
They
they
not
will
Civilians
end
gangsters.
pay
your career
taxes
behind that
for
though.
the
We talking about
police.
celebrities,
They're
You
bro.
lost your
supposed to
career
use the
anyway,
police
Faye.
in the system.
Faye,
They're
you lost your
supposed to
career
use the
anyway, Faye.
system. He's a
Huh?
civilian. He's not in no gang. He ain't from nowhere. He's
That's
not
what
a
I'm
gangster.
saying.
He's a
Listen,
What you
listen,
civilian.
keep
bro. What
talking
the
about
fuck
Civilians are
happened
gang?
though, street
supposed to
nigga?
tell.
Why you
My
keep
thing,
saying
bro.
I
Niggas
gang?
agree
don't
What
there.
even
gang?
know.
What
Like,
gang?
stop it,
What
bro. You
gang
don't
got?
know niggas outside of this internet, bro. What the fuck are you
Gang?
talking about?
What gang
I
got to
know
do with
Tory Lanez ain't from nowhere out here. I know
what?
that.
Nigga, you think that the United
He
States
ain't
only
from
one got
60s. He
gangs?
ain't from Harlem. He ain't from Hoover. He ain't from the Pyrus. He ain't from
Man,
nowhere out here.
man, go, bro.
Ridiculous.
I
Take
know
your
that.
old ass to sleep, bro. Cause you
Hey,
tripping. You
hey,
I
thinking that
know that.
gangs is only in the United
hold
States?
on. So hold on, Shelton. So, quick question. You think you
Yeah.
gotta be in a gang? If you in a gang, that mean you can't tell or
If
something
I
like
No,
that.
see
You
listen to
gotta
what
somebody,
I'm saying,
tell.
bro.
What
Hold
the
on.
fuck?
if
Listen
I
to what I'm
see
saying. You
somebody
asked me a
shoot
question. Listen to what I'm
somebody,
saying.
I'm telling the
Listen to
police.
what
Yeah,
I'm saying. You asked me a question. Listen to what I'm saying. If you're
yeah.
in the life, if you in the streets, you held by the street code. If you are a civilian that pays taxes, obeys laws,
Hmm.
go and you doing the civilian shit, The street laws don't apply to you
That
because
shit
that don't.
don't, bro.
You're
We
not in
in
the
a
streets.
different age and
Hey,
time,
hey,
bro.
Pay
I
the
agree
full.
with
Pay the.
Shelton
Hold
Paul.
on, hold on. Time out, time out. Let me ask y'all a question. Rich, pay the. You driving in your car right now.
You breaking
Y'all
up,
go.
Can't
Two
hear
Cent.
you, 2 Cent.
2 Cent, you breaking up.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Hello.
I don't know where y'all from, man, but my
Hold
neighborhood
on,
gonna
Rich.
turn a
Hold on,
blind
Rich. We
eye,
talking.
regardless if
Can y'all
they
hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you
Somebody
good. Hold
gotta
citizens
on,
or
mute.
y'all.
not
Let her
or
talk.
not.
Let
I
her
don't
talk.
know
Hold
Hold
where
on.
on,
y'all
hold on.
from, man,
Somebody gotta
but
mute.
for half my
Hold
name,
on, hold
Somebody
on.
in the
I
car
gotta
got to
mute
mute.
y'all. Somebody gotta mute. I gotta mute everybody. Somebody got some background noise. I don't know who that is, but I'm muting everybody. So this is my question, right? Because I'm telling y'all right now, if I see somebody shoot somebody, I'm telling the police. I don't know what y'all talking about up here. I'm not in no gang. I'm not affiliated with nothing. If I'm walking down the street and I see you shoot somebody, I'm telling the police when they pull up what happened. I don't know what y'all talking about. We grown-ups out here. Y'all talking about ratting. If my life is on the line and I'm facing jail time because this girl shot this other girl and they're saying that I did it and I didn't, I'm telling the fucking police. Because y'all talking about they could have ruined his career. His career is ruined anyway. And it wouldn't have ruined his career. People would have had criticisms or said whatever they had to say, but he wouldn't be in jail for 10 years. You
I
And
agree.
literally
plus,
One,
2 Cent,
didn't
they
live.
love
hold
Hold
on.
on.
Let
Gunna,
me let
so
me
I
let
don't
me say
want to hear
one
the
thing, right?
snitching
Can I
shit,
respond
because
to you, 2
Gunna
Cent?
snitched and Gunna had the #1 album. So
hey,
Tory
All right.
Lane
So
should
look,
have did it.
this is my thing with Shelton Moore, right? Because
And
I agree
Gunna
with.
really snitched, y'all. See, Gunna was in a whole different situation. He really told because they
Right.
was coming at him about shit that he was well aware of, that he was with, that he was screaming. Tory Lanez was in a situation where they trying to charge you for some shit you ain't do, and then the bitch you trying to protect is lying on you.
Hey, Dean. Dean, check this out though. But that didn't happen right
Exactly,
away.
Deem. That
Once he
make it even
snitched,
worse.
once he
That make
That
it
snitched,
make
even
it
worse.
worse.
hold
Like,
on. Once he snitched though, his career went down, bro. Like his career went
who?
went to
Gunner?
sand.
Gunner got the #1 album immediately.
Now, when since when?
Pay his last album went #1, was #1 for a
All right.
while too.
Let me say
When
one thing,
I'm
right?
saying when was his last album released though?
His last album came out like what, 6, 7 months ago, 8 months ago.
When he
That's what
lost
I'm
all that
saying. But do
weight.
you know when he snitched?
nah, that was
When
like
he
a year
before he
ago.
when he
That was like a
first
year
snitched,
ago,
that
right,
shit wasn't
Rich?
happening.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
what
ain't
I'm
nobody
saying
care
is,
about that
Pay,
shit for real, Paige. That's just the internet.
as soon as he got out of jail, Pay, and put an album out, they love Gunna. Gunna is touring. He had the #1 album. They love it. He getting his music played on commercials and shit. Like,
I guess, but rats get
Hey,
praises now. I
hey,
guess
hey,
no,
hey,
we
hey,
not
praise
hey,
saying
hey,
that
also.
they
So
don't,
I
Pay.
agree
We
with you.
just telling you why he got railroaded,
All
Pay,
right.
because he didn't want to tell.
All right. Look.
Hey,
Yeah,
this
I
the
agree
thing.
That's
with you.
why
I
he
agree
in
with you,
Hold on,
bro.
jail.
hold on. Go ahead, Big Supreme, and I got something
Yeah,
to say
because
after
all
Big
right. So
Supreme. Go
my
ahead, Big
line of
Supreme.
thinking is more in line with what Shelton Moore's saying. Now, this is my logic. What I'm saying, right? I'm not advocating for Tory Lanez to get on the stand and say that Kelsey did anything. What I'm saying is, from the beginning, he should have took that 4 years. He would have been home already. He would have
oh
been
yeah, I
rapping
agree
and
with
getting
that.
back to the bag. We wouldn't have these conversations about is he a rat, is he not. The second thing, right? I felt like when black men get in trouble, there's like this implicit understanding that we're not supposed to say anything, right? If a white man gets robbed, who's a business owner, and then he tells the police this, that, and the third happened, nobody's gonna call that man a rat. They're gonna say he's a civilian. But if a black man in the same position does the same thing, he's gonna get called a rat. This is the reason
Exactly.
why Big U was extorting NBA players,
No, it's
boxers,
not. That's not
and
how
other
it works.
entertainers because black men are not allowed to say anything to police,
Yeah,
right?
facts.
Even if
No,
you're a
that's
civilian or
wrong,
not,
home. That's
right?
Facts.
wrong, home.
So this is
Nobody's
my
Facts.
calling
logic
the
with
Hold
that.
on.
The
nobody's
third
Let me
part
calling the
say
is
this.
business owner a rat
Hold
for
on,
the
Rollo.
third
telling
Hold
the
third
on,
truth.
part
Rollo.
that is right.
No,
Hold
man,
on, Rollo.
Tory
that's not how
Lanez,
it works.
again, I'm gonna reiterate it again. He's not a street dude. I don't care what anybody on the panel
Yeah, but
says.
Tory
That
Lane,
dude
listen,
had a
hey,
lip
listen.
piercing. He's from Canada. If you
Hold
look
on,
at his
Rollo.
videos from 10, 15 years ago, he was not on shit. He's not King Vaughn. He's not Lil Durk. He's not 42 Doug. Nobody's shooting at him. He don't got no beef with nobody. So that
So,
rat angle is weird to me.
so why'd
If
he
Yeah.
you
catch a
didn't
drug
shoot the
and gun
girl,
You a
charge?
celebrity
I
though,
feel like
bro.
with
That shit
Tory's
get that
logic,
shit hit
listen, I
different,
feel like
bro.
with
Hey,
Tory's logic, he really believed in his heart that he was gonna beat that case. You know
That's
why?
what it was. That's why he
Because
didn't
he's
get
a
on the
square.
stand.
That's why he's a square.
hey, but if he's a
Anybody,
square, why
anybody
he
from
catch
the
a?
hood know.
Hey,
Look, if you get caught with a pipe, and they like, look, this your third offense, bro. We gonna give you this 3 years. and then whatever, you come home. Nah, I'm gonna fight it. You gonna risk that and get 15 years, 20 years?
Yes,
What?
because if you know that gun wasn't yours, Big Supreme, why would you take
But
them
why
time? Why
risk
would you
it if
take
you're a
that time?
two-time felon,
Hey,
bro?
let me tell y'all.
Why risk doing it 10, 15 years when you're a multi-millionaire and you can
Man,
come back in 2 years and get back to the bag? All you
Because
man,
gotta
you
do
you
is
innocent.
ain't
do shit
taking
with
no
Hey,
15,
time for
y'all,
some
20
hey,
shit
years.
that
y'all,
was
hey, y'all.
you.
Hey,
That's
can I
what I'm
ask
Because
y'all
you
a
saying.
question?
innocent.
Hey, hold on real quick. Y'all familiar with Paul Manafort, Donald Trump, folks?
Yeah.
All right, all right. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story, right? I was inside this place called Loretto with him, right, in the feds, right. He ain't telling Donald Trump at all. So he ain't no street dude or none of that stuff. And he walked around with the Italians. They
Nigga,
they
they
had him.
politicians. That's the
let,
same
let,
thing as
let
a
me let me
street
let me
nigga.
talk real quick. He walked around with the Italians and all that stuff because he ain't telling none of that shit or whatever. And you know what he was doing around there, his old ass? He used to walk around and he used to brag about not telling on Donald Trump. He used to brag about it, right? So when COVID came around, right, guess who was the first one out? His ass was. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be a street dude. Tell some people got
No,
morals
that's
and
right.
principles.
That's
Some people
right.
ain't gonna
They
tell on they
are
Talk that
some
street
people.
shit.
Wait,
dudes.
hold on.
They
Let me talk. Let me
politicians,
talk. Let me
nigga.
talk. Let
You
me
Talk that
get no
talk.
more
shit.
Let me
gangster than that.
let me talk. Let me talk.
Thank you, Rich.
Some people not
I
gonna
agree.
tell. Some people could be not a street nigga at all. But I'm not gonna tell on my best friend. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So when you grew up like that, man, it don't matter who you is,
Rich,
what
he's
state
not
of
in
life.
that
Wait,
situation though to tell
hold
Like
on
on.
his
like
man.
Hold
Barry
on.
Bonds' best friend.
It don't matter what shade of
That's what I'm
life you
saying. The
from. It
context
don't.
you're using is
He
not
is getting
applicable to the
told
situation, bro.
on, Rich. That's
Bro,
the
Like Barry
difference.
Bonds' best friend didn't tell on him.
but the girl was his friend. That's what I'm
She
saying.
not
She
friend. If she
still.
was, she
She
wouldn't have
not
been
his
with him
friend
for
if she let
long.
him go down for this shit and
She
didn't
thought
come
he
out
was.
and
Oh
say
my
Oh,
anything.
God.
Wow.
That's some
y'all
fake ass
missing the
shit.
point,
If you my
man.
mans and you let me go to jail for some shit that you know I ain't do, you a
That
fake
you
ass
did.
nigga.
Niggas do it all the
That you
time,
did.
They
though.
Hey,
do,
and
Rich. They
hey,
do,
Bro, weird
Paid. That
ass.
don't make it
How is
thorough.
that your friend?
And then
How's
and
your
it
friend gonna let you take 10 years
then
for
it'd have
her?
been
That ain't
worse,
your
bro.
fucking
This
friend.
nigga telling on a female, that shit would have been
So,
worse.
Paid,
listen.
can I ask you this, Paid?
Yeah.
Hey, Paid, let me ask
Fuck
you this,
that
Hey.
Paid.
bitch.
Paid, if you and your mans get pulled over, you pick your mans up, Paid, right? You say, bro, I'm about to take you somewhere, right? You got the burner in the car, right? Y'all get pulled over. They take your man's in for it. You not gonna tell the police that's my gun, that's not my man's gun?
Let me give
Hey,
you.
look,
No,
Let
I'm
me
at
break
hold
down
on,
one
hold on,
scenario.
Rich. I'm talking to Paid.
Dean, that's what happened to me before. That happened to me when I was a kid. No, I'm not gonna tell. And guess
Tell
what
him
happened to
again.
I
the
didn't
driver
say
when they
tell.
found?
I
Wait, let me
said
talk. Let
Rich.
me talk. Let me
Hold on, no,
talk.
you
Guess
cut me off, bro. I was talking to Paid first.
Yo,
okay. I'm
don't make
telling you
Dean
something
start
that
yelling,
happened to
bro.
me when I
Please
was
don't
younger.
get
Rich,
So
this
hold
nigga
Rich.
to
on,
yelling.
Rich. Go ahead,
So Rich.
Dean.
So hold on. So now I'm gonna bring it back to Rich
Somebody
then.
got feedback. They got to
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen.
somebody got crazy feedback.
No, I'm gonna
So
answer
Rich.
you, Dean. Go ahead, then you can go to
Oh,
Rich.
all right. If you get pulled, if you bring your mans with you, right? Because this is, I don't know how niggas move, but I couldn't never do this. You bring your mans with you. You get pulled over. Your mans ain't got nothing to do with that shit. He don't know the drugs in there. He don't know the strap in there. Y'all go to jail. They about to charge your mans with this shit. You not gonna tell the police, yo, I did that shit. My mans ain't do that.
Hell no. You a
I mean,
goddamn
I done
fool.
did that.
What?
I done took cases for the
Hell no.
homies. I
You
ain't
a
gonna lie.
So
goddamn
y'all gonna
fool.
let y'all
I
Man,
mans go
can't
to
fuck with
bro,
jail?
y'all
at that
niggas.
point, if
Y'all
my
niggas is
man don't,
sad.
I
Y'all
if
done
some
did
You
cold
gotta
that.
fight
niggas.
that shit.
Yep.
That's
Hey,
cold
Y'all
hey,
was
hey,
blooded,
hey,
bad.
bro.
hey,
hey,
I
look,
done
hey,
did
hey,
that.
Dean,
hey,
Dean, but
Dean.
let me break this scenario down to you.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
for
I'm just
instance,
asking. No, I'm asking. Pay. Answer that. Would you let your man? Would you not? If you know it's your shit, you gonna let your mans go to jail?
wait, is it my gun or is it his gun?
It's just your shit. It's yours.
No, I'm taking the. I'm gonna tell him it's my
That
shit.
that's all I'm saying.
Y'all niggas is
So
dumb. We don't talk
so
to the
if she was
police
really
in
his
no way,
friend,
shape, or
and
form.
hold on, y'all, if she was really his friend and she know that man career is on the line, he about to lose meals and he ain't really do that shit. And then you know the babe telling on him because he mad he was fucking you or whatever the situation is, and you
Dean,
let him go to jail for that shit and don't say nothing.
Dean.
She a fraudulent ass
He
bitch.
said, fuck
Okay,
that
Dean, let me
nigga.
break this scenario down to you then. Okay, say for instance, you in the car, you got your girl, you got your friend, yeah, man, you got your girl, you got your her home girl. Say for instance, y'all get pulled over, you got some dope, but you pass it to your home girl. Is you as a man know for a fact y'all go to trial or whatever, you as a man gonna tell her, I mean tell the
Man,
judge that
I
that's
don't
mine,
want to
or is
hear
it you
this
gonna tell
as
it's
a
her?
man shit. I don't want to hear this as a man shit.
Yo,
Tory Lanez
Paid, me
is a
personally,
bitch ass nigga. Y'all
I'm
tripping.
not letting
That's
my
what I'm saying,
homegirl
bro.
go to
Like,
jail for some shit I did. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna take it on the
that's the
head.
but that's the thing though. That's what I'm saying.
That's
That's
what
what I'm
real
trying.
men do. You don't let your friends go
What
to
I
jail for shit that they didn't do,
what
and
I
you
know is
you
I'm
did
not
it.
hitting the lick with none of you niggas. I won't hit a
But
lick
would
with
it
Now,
none of
but
you
would
niggas.
it
now the
hold
difference
on,
is,
but what I'm
Right.
trying to iterate is would it been worse for a nigga to snitch on a female, bro?
Bro,
oh, I mean,
plain and
it's
full.
always worse to snitch on a female for
Exactly.
sure,
So that's
Snitching
what
for
I'm
period.
sure,
saying.
Paid, absolutely.
It don't matter who you
Bro,
snitch on, nigga.
are
Snitching
y'all
That's
period.
what
serious?
I'm saying.
Time out,
So it's
time out,
different.
time
So
out,
if you
time
think
out.
so,
Rallo,
two
stop
cent.
Time
it.
out.
Talk about it. It
Hold on. Let me
does
talk.
matter.
Let me
That's
talk.
No,
cut
it
it
don't
out.
matter,
So
nigga.
you gonna
Snitching
hit
is
the
Let me
snitching.
bitch.
talk.
So you gonna
Snitching
take
Nah,
is
10 years.
snitching is snitching.
You gonna take
hold
10
on. I'm about to
years
have to
because
mute
you don't want
y'all.
to tell
Hold
on the
on,
broad.
Milton.
Yeah,
Hold
hell
on,
yeah.
Milton. Hold on, y'all.
Hell
Listen,
yeah, I'm gonna take that
listen,
shit to trial.
listen.
Especially if I didn't
Y'all
do
are
it.
tripping. I don't think listen, the public wouldn't have even cared long enough.
Shit.
Would have told Kelsey shot her there, but niggas would have talked about that shit and moved on about their business because the nigga facing 25 years. Yes, you
Nah,
tell.
nah, yeah, they
You
ain't
talk
had niggas
about it
look
with
at it.
this is the point you
Yo,
missing,
thank you,
Paige.
Dank Father.
The
Facts.
shit
I'm the
ruined
money
his
maker.
career anyway.
She ain't
He
Nah,
thorough
went to
for
nah,
that
I ain't
jail
shit.
gonna
I'm
lie. I ain't gonna
sorry.
lie
She
to you.
ain't
anyway.
Tory
thorough.
Lanez, Tory,
Rat to
Lanez
rat.
might
But this
come
the
out.
Listen,
thing though, two
hold on,
Tory
cent.
let me
Lanez
say
go.
this. Let me say this. Let me
Tory
say this.
Lanez gonna
If,
come out way,
if I
way,
see
way,
no,
way
he
better.
not gonna come out.
And,
No,
and
he's not.
Tory Lanez did catch a
No, he's
gun
not.
and a dope charge
He gonna come out
before all
way
of that
Tory
Exactly.
happened.
Lanez
dangerous
is
than he went
done.
in.
He gonna get out of jail and be an old man and be done. He's finished.
Tory
Damn,
Lanez
bro,
be out
you
in
listen,
five
man.
in
Bro,
five
you
years.
Uncle Shelton, you one
That's
ain't
a
that.
long time. 5 years, y'all
Yeah, it ain't no
tripping.
I don't.
long time.
I don't even
So
think he
y'all
gonna be
telling
out.
me, so Rich, you telling me if a nigga come in the store and rob the store and shoot somebody, and then you gotta come in and do the police or they know you a witness because they got you on camera, you not gonna go to trial and test like you're not gonna say nothing?
Hell no.
I mean, if I don't know the person, even if I knew the person, I wouldn't say nothing. But I'm saying if I go to
Man,
trial or something like that, I'm not gonna never get on the stand because they gonna bring up.
Exactly.
Wait, hold
Thank
on. Let
you,
me talk. Let
bro.
me talk because they gonna bring up my whole background. They
Right,
Thank
gonna
you.
bring up. They gonna bring up all my charges that I ever caught before, everything
right.
I ever did before,
Exactly.
everything, and they gonna make me out to be the baddest person in the
That's
world.
right.
Exactly.
That's
Because
why
you
you
a
never
street
get on
nigga,
it.
right?
That's why.
That's
That's
why
right.
your lawyer
And then
recommend you to
people.
never get on the stand, bro.
That's
And
right.
then
As a
lawyers.
witness, you're not you're just a witness to the
So
Listen.
case.
what? It don't
Oh, you
matter.
said a
They
witness
still
to
gonna
the.
bring up your history.
You saying a witness to the charge of the person getting shot?
Listen,
If a person come in there in the store where you at, you see them, you know everything, you to identify the suspect, they shoot somebody. You're telling me you're not gonna identify the suspect when you know who did it because you don't want to be
Hell
a
nah.
rat?
Hell nah. It's not because I'm a rat or none of that stuff. I wouldn't do it just because, and I'm not going.
right.
I'm
Why
getting. I'm
would
not.
you?
Hell nah.
And
Why
I'm gonna
would
tell
you?
you,
Because you
and
in the
this the
streets,
reason.
right?
Dean, you
No,
trying to
it's
get
not
on the
because
panel
I'm in the streets.
on another device?
I'm not in the streets, man. That's karma coming back on you.
2 cent. And another thing is this though.
Mr. Shelton, mute.
Uh,
Mind your
Dean,
uh,
can you hear me?
business.
hey, hey, 2 cent. Another thing is this. The reason
Dean,
why
is
he
that
said he
you?
didn't
Yeah,
tell.
it's me. It kicked me out on the other one.
Oh, okay.
Hell nah.
But 2 cent. The reason why he said he didn't tell. He said that he didn't tell because he had to grow up without his mother, and he said that he didn't want to take another mother away from her
Goofball.
kids.
Goofball.
Oh well, then yeah, but now
Smart.
Pay that's where he coming from. Cool.
Yeah,
Then that's just what it is. That's why. But
I
that's
Pay,
why he
I'm
didn't
trying to
know.
tell.
Pay. Hold on. I'm trying to tell y'all. Then if that's the case, that's why he got railroaded like that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was just trying to say. If that's
But
if that's how we feel, power to the people. That's what's up. But what I'm saying is that's why that happened that way, though. That's all me and Two Cent was trying to say the whole time. That's why
but
that
I
even happened that way. You could
but
not
then
want to
another thing
tell,
is
but he was in a situation, Paid, where he didn't have the people was telling on him. It's a difference. He was in that situation.
right.
And it's like either you speak up or you go to jail. It's simple as that. And he
I
made
agree.
his decision. So then that's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
Yeah,
disagree with
That's
so
that
all
then
I
at
was
all.
saying from the rip.
just stop crying about it. That's all I'm saying. Just do your time and stop having people do press
Yeah,
conferences.
But
just do
Nah,
your
but
time like a
now
man.
here's
Go
my
that's
Nah,
home.
where
he
we
not. He
disagree,
not.
Get
He
Two
that.
not.
Cent.
He not.
He got a
He's
right
not.
to still try to appeal and stuff too.
He
Too,
yeah, he
exactly.
though.
not
No,
crying about that.
listen.
Right.
He's trying
I
to do
didn't.
his
Did I?
appeal.
Hold on.
He's
I
coming
didn't
off on
say
his
time
appeal
out.
and stuff like that.
Time. Y'all not gonna talk over me. I never said don't do your appeal, did I? I said, stop having your people do press conferences.
That's what they
Take up
trying to get the
everything
appeal
that
for.
you don't get up and appeal at a press conference,
Yes,
Rich.
they
Why? Yes, you do. You gain the public interest. Too.
that's
Why
what
you
he
go
trying
to
to
court and
do.
get an appeal? What does the public interest got to do with
And
your
and, and,
appeal?
it, and it ain't even about the public interest. It's about the governor. The governor could let whatever they stating they in, whatever they could let them go. They can let
Yeah,
them go.
that's what he
So that's
Do
doing
what
you
right
not
all
now.
that stuff
file
for.
an
Gavin Newsom
appeal
is
with
not
the
gonna
court?
pardon that dude. Gavin
And,
Newsom not gonna pardon that dude.
and then that's the thing though. The whole
We don't know
situation
what he
is
gonna do, man.
this is what I'm saying. So from that point on to where he
Nobody's
got
gonna
locked up.
pardon you because you didn't want to be a rat, y'all.
But this the part. Well, this the thing though. To sit when you if you go to jail pretty much for some shit that's like I said. If you get if y'all have gun residue on you, bro, and they support that means you shot that gun. So
Right.
therefore, if they take that gun and DNA test that gun, your handprint should be on that gun. Now,
Facts.
if your handprint or any of that is not on that gun, how the fuck did you shoot the gun?
I mean, I hear
That's
what you're
that's the
saying. My
part paid
point
where his
is,
lawyer is trash.
I agree,
somebody got
Dean,
to
a
mute
thousand
Mr.
percent.
Shelton.
His
Mute.
lawyer is fucking trash. Cause I would have
Trash.
And
harped
what
on
I'm
that
trying
point.
to tell y'all,
Go ahead,
hold on,
2 Cent.
hold on. To file an appeal, do you not do that through the courts?
Yeah,
Yes.
So why do you need a press conference?
The
the
press
press
conference.
conference was after he got stabbed 14
Let me
times.
let
No,
me say this. The
It
press
was the pardon packet was already in the works before that situation happened.
The press conference is really to try to gain public support to get a pardon, not an appeal. An
Yeah,
appeal, something has to have gone wrong in the trial that can be appealed to get the, because you can't just find something out of the air to file an appeal. Something
facts.
had to have been an error in the trial in order for it to be appealed. You just can't create an appeal like that.
Yeah, but it's
But
always
we were,
4,
we
5, or
were talking
6.
about why he went to trial, what happened. Now we know he didn't want to tell on the girl, so he's in jail. So now he's trying to get a pardon because I doubt if he's going to get an appeal. So then
Yeah,
now he's
facts,
trying to
Mr.
get a
Greg.
pardon.
No,
That's
that
what
ain't
he's trying
facts.
to
That
do.
ain't facts, home. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. He's
No,
gonna
no,
get an appeal.
Mr. Greg said it
That's
right.
not facts,
you
home. Yeah,
keep
He's gonna get an that's appeal. facts, bro. No,
Mr.
it's
Mr.
not,
Greg
man.
said it
Y'all don't know
right.
what y'all
Like
talking
like
about,
like at the
man.
end of the day,
Man ain't getting no
if something
pardon.
wrong, anything could be wrong in your case. They could
Bro,
mess up on
this
some
man, bro, this
on
man
all
don't.
types of certain stuff on your appeal,
And, and,
whatever
and,
you
and
get
and it
appeal.
always is. Listen, your
And they can
lawyer
mess
is
up
gonna
on
mess up on
on
purpose
a
to
they're
get you
person
gonna
an
get
name.
appeal.
Tory
They can
Lanez
mess up
out.
on a
They can
lot of
Y'all
stuff.
send
That's
Tory
why
tripping.
a lot of
Y'all
Lanez
don't know
people
ass
what
go
y'all
back
to
to
talking about.
Canada.
And it's the
They can
thing
send
though.
Tory
Rallo,
Lanez
did
Tory
back
you
was
there.
say his lawyer gonna mess up on purpose?
Tory wasn't yes,
yes.
only going to
Yes.
No, no, no.
Wasn't only going. But this the
Yes.
thing. But this
Your
the
Listen,
thing
lawyer
though.
home.
could
Tory wasn't
your
only
lawyer
going
could
against.
be.
He
Go ahead, go
wasn't
ahead.
only going against. But he
Lawyer,
wasn't
your
only
lawyer.
Well,
going
then
against the
Rallo, don't
lawyers
that
though.
mean he got a trash ass lawyer?
But this the thing though. This the thing though. D. He wasn't only
Well,
going
no, I'm
against the
trying to listen where
lawyers.
Rallo coming from because I don't see where he going with that.
I know you don't
Nah,
because you
nah,
never
Well,
nah.
been through this. But
Hey,
listen,
Dean. People, lawyers
everybody,
do
listen,
mess up. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Lawyers do mess up on purpose to get
on
appeals
purpose
for
to get ineffective counsel.
Okay,
insufficient,
that's what y'all.
That's
and all that
Okay,
stuff. And
listen,
then,
home.
let me
That
tell you
that
what
that's
judges
that's
do.
that's
Let me tell
elementary,
you what
home.
judges do for you to get an appeal.
That's elementary,
A
home.
judge might
Every nigga
over
on the
sentence
appeal
you
is going to
on
get
purpose.
ineffective counsel. That's Hey, elementary, man. and the Y'all don't know next what y'all thing talking
Listen,
about. this the thing, bro. He wasn't only going against Megan, bro. Like Megan had Rock Nation behind her, bro. It's way bigger than what you think it is.
the
It
well
ain't
state
that's
just
was
true.
elementary.
against Tory Lanez. It's not Megan against Tory. It was the state against Tory. She
Listen,
was the
if your
agent.
lawyer don't object to a certain thing and he'll do it on purpose, that's ineffective counsel, and you're going to get an appeal 100% of the time.
Exactly.
I
Yeah, that's
promise you.
true.
Any nigga
That's
who get an
true.
appeal, that's the first appeal they
So then
get.
why
It's
he just want to
ineffective
apply for
counsel.
his appeal then, and
He
why
is.
he doing press?
He
So
going
why
for
he
a
doing
pardon.
press
He
conferences?
he not going for no appeal. He going for a pardon, bro. He ain't going for no appeal. Man, you a shit. Man, Ben done filed that appeal. They filed the appeal immediately after And that's trial. what I'm
Nigga
saying.
got this
But he
nigga got
presented.
Ray J and fucking what's that girl name?
Listen, you
What's
file
her
an
name?
appeal
What's her
immediately
name?
after trial,
Hold
man.
on, Rollo, you're not gonna talk over me, bro. What's the girl name? Ray J and the other girl.
Brandy.
The one with the tattoo on her forehead.
Oh, Amber
Uh,
Rose.
he got a Ray J and Amber Rose advocating for him. Y'all talking about he's about to get a pardon.
I'm
No,
gonna
it's
tell you.
multiple. It's multiple. Drake was advocating for him
Hey,
and
look.
Chris Brown.
I'm,
Motherfucker ain't
I'm,
getting no pardon.
I'm gonna tell
It's
you.
multiple
Hey,
big
Dean.
artists that was
Hey,
advocating for him, like Drake and Chris Brown.
Dean. I'm gonna tell you someone who got. I'm gonna tell you someone a wild nigga who got an appeal in your state. Bill Cosby, he got a pill on something that was some bullshit in his case. Not even had
Everybody
nothing to
gets
do
an
with the
appeal.
people that none of his victims, and he came home off of that.
Probably because he had a good lawyer.
But
Might
That
have
but
played
this
always
the
the
been
point.
that.
Hey,
but
that
Houston, but
played
this
that played the fact and the fact that you in Pennsylvania, so a lot of statute of limitations on shit
this
played a
Nah,
factor in that
nah.
shit too.
but this is
I'm tell you again. It had nothing to do with the case of the girls. It was something that they did on this paperwork that they
That's
fucked
what
right.
up
it
on.
was.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Right.
yeah,
I'm gonna
they
tell you,
throwing
it
that
had
out.
nothing to do
Already
with
had,
his
But
he
paperwork.
already
Rich, you
had a,
gotta have a good lawyer to find that out though.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
no,
But
it
you
was
don't always
already known.
let me
He
tell you
had a,
something right now. Let me tell you something right now. You don't always use the same lawyer for your appeal lawyer.
no,
You
you
don't probably
always
need
use an
your same
appeal
lawyer for
lawyer.
your appeal lawyer.
Facts.
Bill
No, that's not
Cosby,
You don't,
true.
Bill
That's not
Cosby
true, man.
that
already
is true.
had,
You don't
No,
always
it's
have to
not,
use
man.
your
I
same
didn't. I
lawyer
didn't
for your
use my.
appeal
I didn't
lawyer.
use the same lawyer for my appeal. That's not
I'm
true,
just
man.
saying. I'm saying not everybody use the same lawyer for their appeal lawyer.
yeah,
Yeah,
Y'all
most
no,
saying
of
the
them
Mm-hmm.
same thing.
use somebody
no,
who's
yeah,
an
But
yeah.
expert in
You
the
but
don't.
field.
that's the part that he provided to the governor or whatever to try to get the pardon, because once your DNA come back inconclusive on that gun, then how are you locked up? That's my
But
only
paid in
issue.
full. If all this you're saying is true, he should have been had an appeal. It should have been a shoe
It's not
in.
an appeal, it's a pardon though. To send them two
Yeah,
No,
different
no,
things.
but what I'm saying is he should have been able to get an appeal. It should have been easy.
yeah, but now appeals don't work
That's
like
not
that.
always
You
easy
just
though.
don't go in and get an appeal.
Yeah,
Listen, it's gonna take
it's
the upper court at least 2 years to even see your appeal.
now if he come home
Sometimes
this
That's
it
year,
can be
tripping, man. Y'all
faster.
see, y'all,
Now
y'all
if
that's
keep
he
Sometimes
end
it
true.
saying
up
can
That's
be
stuff
coming
you
true
don't
home
right
say.
though.
It's
there.
been
Hold on, let
2
Mr.
years.
Greg talk, y'all.
That's
I
true.
was saying sometimes an appeal can be faster. Mine was 6 months. So
I
it
was about to
wasn't
say you
2
get an
years.
appeal ASAP.
Okay,
On the
yeah,
state,
mine took up
on the
to a
state
year and a
charge.
half. Mine took up to a year and a
Where
half for
you?
But
sure.
what happened with Bill Cosby is Bill Cosby had already had a deal in place for for one of the charges, and they just act like that deal wasn't in place. So when they charged him again for
Exactly.
for the same thing he already had to deal with when he went to jail, they were able to go back to court, to the appeal court, and say all of this was in error, and that's how he got out.
But
Mm-hmm.
why
He got
couldn't they
and
figure
he
that
got
out before
and he
they
had
even
like
took
60
him through
some
all
years.
that?
Said again,
Cause
Houston,
the system
Hold
is
on.
crooked. Simple as that.
I was saying, how did they let that even go through all of that before they figured that out?
corruption.
Man, listen.
Corruption.
And
Listen,
this one
it
was
get
this one,
real.
and that's what I was just saying. I seen a judge over sentence someone on purpose just so they could come back. Went
Mhm.
past the guidelines,
I'm
went
gonna
past everything, and just
Yep.
so they could come back on the appeal.
I'm gonna
You know
be
what I'm saying?
honest, bro. The
Because
reason why
he knew the person was doing something. He knew shit was wrong.
Bill Cosby got railroaded the way that he got railroaded, bro, is because he tried to buy was it NBC or CBS, one of them two?
Yeah,
Mr. Greg, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm talking about,
I
right?
That
think it
played
was
a role.
NBC.
That played a role in it, but also this was at the height of the Me Too movement. So,
Also, because he
Facts.
did it, y'all.
well, yeah, that too.
But Susan, this the thing though. If he did it, why they didn't Ben come out and say that then? Why did they wait?
I listen. I hear what you're saying, but this be my thing, right? Like I get it. Like they take your things and your vices and your little whatever things you got going on, and they use it against you. I get it, but I think we skip over the fact that they did it. It's not like they're making these things up and these
Bill was
allegations up
passing out
to these people.
Quaaludes.
They
Yeah,
I don't
actually
know. I don't even
Listen,
know.
I
so
don't disagree. I
regardless
don't
of the
disagree at all.
reason why they're using what they're using that you did against you, the fact that you did it don't change.
Hey,
I
yeah.
two
agree with
cent.
you
Hey,
1,000%.
2 cent. Hey, two
What's
said
that?
he
What
was
about
spiking
that?
them pudding pops. He was
Yeah,
spiking them pudding.
man.
I
Hey,
don't, I don't, I don't know about
hey,
that. I don't think Bill had the Spiker motherfuckers drink 30 years ago. He
That's
was
what I'm
Man.
saying. That's why
nigga. Bill was Himothy.
vicious. The
Ain't
nigga's
no
a
bitch came over to
millionaire.
Bill's house at 2 in the morning, not
But they
expecting to
already
get
had a
down.
deal in place. He had
Cut it
already,
out, man.
and
He had already
they just
been
dismissed it.
They
That's
bring
what
this
I'm
shit up
saying.
30 years later.
because
Cut
they
it out,
wanted
man.
to make it public. They did all that to make all that shit Bill Cosby
Well,
did public.
Devin better hope his ass don't get railroaded in a couple weeks.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
railroaded
nah,
that
Devin,
motherfucker.
Devin, but
Devin got to be quiet.
Devin ain't been charged with nothing.
Devin only got
Not
a
yet.
case. Devin got
Devin ain't
Devin
never
got
been
a
charged with nothing.
Nah,
Y'all
Devin ain't
don't
got.
know. Y'all don't know what's been hidden that Devin has done. Y'all have no
No,
idea.
we know that he haven't been charged with nothing though.
We
Nah, they
not
only.
talking about charge. We talking about what he about to go through. We ain't
What he
talking
about to
about
go
that.
through?
She
The
only she
accusation
put.
is there right now.
What's he about to
Yeah,
go
but
through?
that's a protected order
She
though,
took an
man. That's
EPO
something.
out on him. That ain't shit. I could go take an EPO out on you.
He shouldn't have did it.
That don't mean shit. I can go
See, that
take an
don't mean they
EPO
gonna
out
grant
on
it.
you.
But if they do, we gonna have a
If,
That's
different
not the point.
conversation up
Nah,
here.
they
listen,
going they
The
even
going
if
they
they
going
point
they
do,
is
going
to
that's
they
not
publish
charging him with
information.
nothing.
they gonna automatically grant something like that, a protected order. You can sit down and go in the middle of the street right now and
Right.
have
That don't
problems
mean
with
shit.
someone and have a
Oh,
protected order.
hold up.
That
We
don't
got
mean
my
shit.
nigga No Cap on the panel. What up,
That's
No
not a
Cap?
charge. That's not a
Y'all be
charge.
sounding like Perry Mason about to come on.
That's not a charge. Now when they locked Tank's ass up, that was a charge. They charged Tank with
Uh,
domestic violence. They ain't
They
charged Devin
did
with
They ain't
nothing.
charge him with
charged Tank with
domestic
no.
violence.
Stop lying, nigga. Tank
When they
got
came,
charged with hitting
Tank
the
ain't
lady.
never been charged with
I'm
no
not talking
Niggas
about
domestic
just
hitting
be
the
up
lady.
here
violence.
I'm
lying.
not talking about that. I'm talking about when they was in Florida and the police came out and told him put his motherfucking hands behind his back.
Bro, he
And they
didn't.
dismissed the
That's what
case,
he got
dummy.
found out to be
Okay,
lying,
but they
bro.
charged him though.
No,
What are
they.
you talking about?
How can you
They
be charged
charged him.
with,
He
bro?
never went
You
to
can't
court for that.
listen. You can't not get a case dismissed that you
He
ain't been
never
charged
went to
with,
court for
correct or
that.
wrong.
Nah.
Can you get a case dismissed
If
that
you
you
get
haven't been charged
arrested,
with?
if you get
Just
arrested,
because you
you
charged
got
don't mean
charged.
you
They're not gonna
guilty,
put
bro.
handcuffs and take you to no station or no jail. You got arrested for something. If that's the case, he should have sued them for millions of dollars. He had
Sued
to
him
get
for what?
arrested if they did all that. He
Yeah,
got
he got
charged.
charged. He got
Yeah, but
charged, and
just
then
because
they
you
He
got
got
dismissed the
charged don't
charged.
case.
If
mean
that's
you
the,
was
if that's the
that
case,
don't mean you guilty of the
oh
situation.
no,
Yeah,
no,
like what
no,
the
hell
fuck?
no, hell no, hell no. That
The
don't mean
bitch
you
was
guilty.
lying.
If you got found guilt, if you got found innocent, man, that case over with. You ain't do none of that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he
That's
got his
how I
case
look at it.
dismissed, but he got charged with it though.
Oh,
But Devin ain't
That,
been charged with nothing
but
though.
that's cool.
if the case got dismissed, then he ain't do none of that shit.
Charged,
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree
not
with that.
accused.
I
Yeah, I
agree
could have
with that.
swore he was accused, not charged, but
Man,
whatever.
it's on tape. The police came out, told him put his hands behind his back, and locked him up. It's on tape.
Yeah,
Pull
he
it
got.
up. Hell, you
Yeah,
Yeah,
talking about?
that's true.
Who you talking about,
Haney,
Devin?
Devin.
No, we talking about Tank when he was in Florida at his mansion. The
Yeah,
girl
he
was
got,
inside. He came out
But
and talked to
nothing
the
happened
police.
though.
They went in
but
there
he
and
got
talked to the
charged. That's what
girl,
he's
and then
trying to
they
say.
came out
Devin
and told
Haney
him
ain't
to
getting
put his hands
charged at
behind
all.
his back. What are you
I
talking
get what
about?
you're
De-
saying.
Devin Haney ain't getting charged because that did. Cause,
Nobody's comparing Devin to Tank. Like, why are y'all doing that?
yeah,
Nobody's
Yeah,
comparing
we
what
are.
Tank did to what Devin did.
I
Like, why
am,
are y'all
because y'all
doing
so
that?
hard on Devin, but y'all won't talk about the nigga that
Who's
got
hard on
charged.
Devin?
Y'all
Just
want to
because
talk
you
about
So
got
what
y'all.
happened?
talking about just
So
because a
We
nigga
two
got
wasn't
cents. Hold
even
on,
charged,
2
talking
cents.
about Devin.
why
Y'all
would you
brought
harp
this
on
shit up.
that?
We was talking about
Nah, I
Tory
didn't
Two
Lanez.
bring
cents.
Devin up. Y'all brought it up. Y'all
Two
don't
No,
two
like
nigga,
when
you
cents.
y'all
brought
don't
it
like
up.
when a
What
nigga
happened
go
to the
with
nigga?
Tank.
What happened to the
Who?
nigga? 2 cents.
What
If
happened
that's
to
the
who?
Y'all don't
Devin,
like
what
when a
happened to
nigga
him?
go with Tank.
okay, then that's the case.
The
Then
girl
Devin was
took an
charged with a
EPO out
gun.
on him.
Then, bro, come on, bro, we ain't doing
Man,
that,
Somebody
Devin
bro.
took
guilty. He got the women
his
beat her
baby,
ears.
his
The girl
baby
took an
mama.
EPO out on him. But one
His
thing we
But
do,
baby
the
we got
ears
mama.
we
what
got
happened
Tank.
to the
We
nigga?
got
Hold
Tank
on,
on
man.
tape.
Hold on. Let me hear what happened to the
Hold
nigga.
on. We
What
got
happened to
Tank
the
on tape assaulting that girl. Did Tank not
Hold
assault
on,
that
y'all.
girl at the
Hold
basketball
on,
game?
Rollo. Hold on, Rollo. Hold on, Rollo. Listen, Rollo. I don't know why you up here running down Tank rap sheet. We already know
cause he a
everything Tank has
fan.
done. I don't
But
know
why
why
y'all
you
running
doing
down
that.
Devin's rap sheet?
Cause he a
Bro,
fan.
Nobody was.
we
We
said
was talking
one
about
thing,
Tory
bro.
Lanez, nigga. We not
Man,
even
you
Hey,
talking
a
about
No,
that.
grown
no,
I'm
ass
don't
trying
try
man.
to
that.
I'm
hey,
trying to
Somebody
find out.
brought Devin
Hold
hey,
up.
I
on,
just
Rollo. I'm trying to
Mr.
find out what the
Shelton,
nigga
hold
did.
on, y'all. Hold on. Mr. Shelton. Allegedly, he pushed his baby mama down when she was pregnant and she filed a restraining order or something like that. I don't really know. I haven't even looked into it.
Oh,
I don't care.
in
But it's something
California he did
baby
that?
mama again. I don't know what state.
Man, Frollo, you acting like a full female. This nigga
I
said
hope
just
he
because
Why
you
y'all?
didn't. I
don't
hope he
harp
didn't
on
do
that.
that. Hey,
I said what?
I
Like,
hope he
man,
didn't
you
do
want
that
a
shit in
grown nigga to
California.
say
That's all
no
I'm saying.
drag me it type shit,
Fact.
man. You want
You
to
said
bring up
what?
shit just because a nigga
I
talk
just hope
about
he
Shout
didn't
out
do that shit in
Blaze.
California. Hope he
Shout
didn't
out
do
hey,
that shit
Blaze
in
hey,
People
California.
P on
that
the
shit, bro.
panel.
I'm
hey,
saying he ain't been charged with nothing though.
A Shelton and Two
Blaze
Cent.
P for
Peace,
P,
2
what's
cent.
your two?
Peace,
Hold
panel.
on, hold on. We got somebody new on the panel. Blaze P for P, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Oh man, just jumping in. I think I can just give my 2 cents real quick on the Devin Haney situation. I seen the news. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. These guys being high profile. You got everything looking ahead of them, and he gets caught in a situation with his spouse. And then I seen the stuff with her and Young Thug and all the comments and all that. I don't know anything really about his personal life and about their personal life, but I know they got a child together. Them are serious allegations when she's saying he put hands on her or pushed her down while she was
Blaze,
pregnant.
what you in the gym?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm actually in my garage. I'm actually
Oh,
in between
no, I hear
sets.
you
Can you
breathing
catch
hard. I'm
me?
like, this nigga working
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
me
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm
I
working
hope
out. I'm working
so.
out.
I
I'm
hope
doing
so.
chest.
All
Most
right, then,
definitely. It
bro.
ain't a
Check
medical
that.
emergency, fellas. I'm in here.
Them is
About
just
to hit this heavy
allegations.
bag next too.
Get that work in, bro.
She could be lying.
I
But
think
yeah,
she is lying.
but look, she could be lying or whatever. But you guys know how it is. It just impacts him.
Yeah,
The money that's
it
got to
do.
spend on the attorneys. Then if this is, I don't know if it was, they give multiple reports. If this is his wife, his ex-wife, he gonna have to spend some bread. You feel me? And
It
then,
do.
it's going into her seeing him going into, possibly the biggest money fight of his career too.
Yep.
If they can
Yep.
really sell the fight right. So it's just unfortunate to see it happen. Like I said, we don't know the facts. I don't want to jump to judgment on them. I don't want to jump to judgment on the young lady either. You know, and it's just one of those things that kind of get in the way of individuals striving to be great because it go from he got a super high going from really redeeming himself in public opinion of getting his fight with Brian Norman Jr. finalized, and then he go into having this distraction. And that's my 2 cents.
AC,
And that's
AC,
exactly why I said Devin Haney moment is ruined.
Yeah.
That's
AC,
exactly
That's what
why I
I'm
said
saying.
it.
AC,
But you
Demon
got
two cent.
Rollo
Nah,
up
it's
there
not
acting like
ruined
a
if he
whole
has the fight. It's
female.
not ruined. If he has the
A,
fight, it's not ruined.
No, I'm just
AC,
talking about this particular moment where the attention was on him in boxing, and now it's like now everybody want to be talking about this
a,
him and
but
his
but but
baby
Most
mama.
deaf.
but Demon 2 cents, man. With the Devin Haney situation though, right? Do y'all understand that this shit is like they just pressing they not even pressing charges.
Right.
Yeah.
This shit is like so we will never find out what really happened unless this shit go to like unless they he getting locked up or she pressing charges for him to get locked
Nah,
up.
that's not Rich. If he listen,
She can go to civil court.
now this all depends on what state they in, but they gonna always grant a woman a temporary restraining order. She could go in
Yeah,
there and
yeah,
say whatever the hell she wants to say,
yeah, that's what
and they'll
I
grant her.
understand that.
And no, hold on, and then they'll now this the problem though that Devin fans gonna have because this part is irrefutable.
Right.
If the judge grants her a restraining order, he did what the fuck she said. You know why? Because she has to have so much evidence to get a restraint. They don't just pass out restraining orders. The reason why they give out a lot of temporaries, because women have complaint back in the day, Rich, where they say, oh, somebody's slapping me and shit like that, and then they won't grant it right away, and then the woman wound up being unalive. So now,
Right.
if a woman say she feel like she in threat for her life and her babies and all of that stuff, they gonna give her a temporary. But if the
You know
judge
what? But
hold
wait,
on, Rich. But if the
okay.
judge grants a full restraining order, like he goes all the way through with it in July, he did that shit because he's not going to grant the restraining order unless she shows the evidence of physical abuse, harassment, etc.
Okay.
Them
Okay. And
text messages
wait.
might get them.
Okay.
Them
Okay.
text
Okay.
messages talking
Okay.
about
Wait.
stuff
Hold
being
on.
handled
Hold
in
on.
the street
Hold on.
might
Hold
might
on.
get them.
Wait. Let me say something
I
real
fall
quick.
back.
Let me say something real quick. And I agree with you if she show all that stuff. But a lot of judges probably will grant that shit just because it's a bunch of wild niggas in that city or state that end up killing girls over stuff like that or end up really doing
Nah,
stuff
Rich,
like
he too
that.
high profile.
So
They
they
not
take
gonna
it
just do that with Devin.
they taking that threat shit, you know what I'm saying,
No,
seriously.
Rich,
You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you, but they not doing
Now
that
hold
with
on,
Devin.
y'all.
He too high
Hold on. Y'all,
profile.
if y'all enjoying the show, make sure you hit the cash
Yeah,
app
but
at
I
Two
agree
Cents
with you on that
Boxing.
though.
Hold on,
She,
Rich. Hold on, Rich.
okay.
Hold on, Rich. If y'all enjoying the show, 2 Cents Boxing After Dark, where we don't just talk about boxing, it can go either way over here. We could talk about Tory Laney's case. We could talk about racism. We could talk about freedom. Right? We talk about all kind of stuff on 2 Cents After Dark. But make sure y'all support the channel by hitting the cash app or dropping your 2 cents in a super chat. 2 Cents Boxing is the cash app. Make sure you punch that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And let me know down below your 2 cents if you're listening to the replay. Yeah.
Let me chime in behind Dean. For Rich. Rich, what can happen is it could be a temporary restraining order while they do an investigation. When
Okay.
they do the investigation to look at, okay, when did he push you down, this, that, and the third, then they'll make it permanent. And if they see it's serious enough, then they'll further the investigation to look at making some criminal charges against them.
Yep.
That's where it is. Those are the processes. Those are the steps. And that's why I was saying for him to shut up and say nothing.
Oh yeah,
Because
he better.
if it goes to those additional steps and then they open up a criminal investigation, and he still might not get charged, but now he's being investigated, and that's
And,
the thing
and,
he don't want happening.
and
Well, all
sometimes the
I
fact,
know is I hold on, Rich. All I know is his fact. Somebody got a mute, man. They got nasty feedback.
Yeah,
God,
somebody feedback crazy.
that
Oh,
shit
let's
is
see. I don't think it's
disgusting.
me.
Come on, y'all messing up my replay. I'm gonna have to get y'all off it. Nah, but all I know is the baby mama said, I don't even want to do this on the internet. I got receipts. We could take it up in court. That's when I was like, ooh, don't play with her.
Yeah,
She ain't trying to go back and forth with you on this internet, bro. She
Yeah,
said she
that's a
got the
setup.
receipts and I'll see you in court.
Boy, y'all
He
sure
She's
set
love.
it
ready.
up, set the play up.
She's
Y'all sure
ready.
love to down old Devin. Y'all just wish for the worst for
Is
old
anybody
Devin.
out here down in
No,
Devon?
we don't wish
Please
for the
tell me.
worst, but we know how these things play out, OG.
yeah,
But but
they
I
play
tell you what,
out ugly.
I seen a nigga put his hands on his baby mama though on camera.
hey, hey, that
We
nigga ain't
seen a
got
nigga snatch his baby mama
that
up.
nigga ain't got Bill Haney in him. No near. That nigga
Did,
ain't nowhere near got Bill Haney in him.
Hey, yo,
didn't we see that nigga Tank snatch
hey,
his baby
I've been
mama up in
calling
that
the nigga
basketball game?
Debo Dev. Maybe the nigga been Debo in that bra.
Hey
Like
yo.
Tank did that girl at the basketball game?
Man, it's a bro. You
Why
see,
the
like
hell
that's some
you
female
talking
shit,
about
man.
Tank, bro? Like, what is up with you?
Like that
Wait
nigga
a minute,
whole
wait a
female,
minute. What?
bro.
How's it okay for
That
y'all to
nigga
talk
like
about
okay,
Devin?
don't y'all talk about Dev? Okay, cause Tank did this.
How's it
Like,
okay for
man,
y'all
get
to
the
talk
fuck
about
out of
Devin,
here,
but me
bro.
not okay to talk about Tank?
Because bitch
Grown
ass
ass
Devin
Because
nigga,
it
fans
bro.
like
happened
you always bringing
today.
up Tank, nigga.
Yeah, this ain't
That's
got nothing to
why.
do with Tank right now.
Huh?
Nigga,
That's some
This
that's
ain't got nothing
why.
to do
female
with Tank
shit.
right now. We know
So
what we
so
can say about Tank in this situation
so
because it's
it's okay
similar,
to
but it
talk
ain't
about
nothing
an
to do with him right
Nah,
now.
EPO
the problem is when it was Tank and he
about
wasn't found
allegedly.
guilty, motherfuckers was making panels,
Right?
videos, and everything. Don't y'all be up here acting fake like y'all don't know the
Why are you
fuck
Right?
why.
screaming for?
Bill
Why are
Haney
you
was
screaming
passing out
for?
fucking mug shots,
Why
nigga.
are you screaming,
Don't act
huh?
like y'all don't know why, nigga.
Hey,
Want to
hey
sit up here
Dean.
and act
Hold
like
Hey,
you
on, but
see
hold on,
hey,
now. Nigga,
Dean.
hey
you ain't
Dean.
see
Hold
now
on, hold
now.
on.
We
Hey,
seen
Hold on,
Tank
but
put
this
his
the
hands
thing
on that
though.
girl,
This the thing though. Hold on.
right?
This what I be talking about though, because nobody even talking bad about that. Ain't nobody calling Dev a simp for getting an escort pregnant. Now he crying about the
Exactly. Ain't
bottle. Ain't
nobody even
nobody
call
even
that. Yeah,
saying that.
ain't nobody even
Nobody even
criticizing
saying
that.
that.
Now what you
So
saying
Rollo,
is,
I
oh,
don't
it's
even know
over.
what you up here talking about.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about.
Sure,
You
bro.
just said it's over for Dev. It ruined them for him. Damn, why it got to be
No,
worse
she
for
just said it
Dev?
ruined this moment. Nah, bro,
I'm
that's not what
saying
she
the
said. She
moment right
clarified it.
now where
Why it got to
everybody
be the
was
worse
Right
for
walking.
now.
Dev?
She just
What?
explained it to that
Oh
slow
my
nigga, bro.
God.
Yeah,
hey,
why it got
hey,
to
hey,
be the
hey,
worse
hey,
for
but this
Dev?
one, this one I
Listen,
wanted.
Rollo. Listen, Rollo, to what I'm saying, right? Everybody was excited. Devin had a fight coming up with Brian Norman. Everybody was going back and forth. Bro, I think that's you, Rollo, with this disgusting feedback. You
I
gotta
bet
leave.
it is. I guarantee it is.
I
Man,
was
shut your
saying that.
dusty ass up. I bet you
That's
won't
that
cut your
bullshit he
camera
Nigga,
on.
talking.
nigga,
Break it
you
up
out
with this
there on that
bullshit he
song
talking.
with that mailbox and grass.
I bet you
Listen,
won't cut your camera on,
I'm gonna
dusty ass nigga.
Nigga, I cut my camera on all the time. Everybody up here know what I look like. I look better than your ass, nigga. How about that, bitch? I
I
look
bet you
better than
won't cut your
you.
camera
Fuck
on,
out of
dusty
here,
ass
nigga.
nigga.
Fuck is you talking about? You got 5 o'clock
listen.
shadow. You don't go to fuck
Y'all made
head
me
with
forget what I
razor
was gonna say.
bumps. Go ahead,
Y'all made
Damn,
me
Toothman.
forget
Rollo,
what I
you
was
that
gonna say.
damn old and acting like a female?
You dusty than a motherfucker.
That nigga like 67
You
years
just turned.
old, bro.
Why am I acting like a female? Because I'm bringing up
Bro, cause
Tank
you
beating
up
that
here
girl
talking
up?
about some, bro. You talk about some. Oh, why you gotta say that about Deb? Well, I remember what Tank did. Like, bro, that's some female shit,
Now,
bro.
female is you sitting up here talking about who Dale screwing.
What? I
No,
never
we're
even,
not talking
bro. This
about
is
that.
my
We're
first time
Ain't
talking
hearing
about.
nobody
this
bring
today.
up.
Hold
Female
on, hold
sitting up here
on,
talking
hold
about
on.
he's
Let
a
me
simp
clear something up for Rollo.
getting a prostitute
Rollo.
pregnant.
I don't think you know where you at, bro. You at 2 Cents Boxing where we talk everything boxing and everybody entitled to their own opinion.
Nah, talking about who
Currently,
he's having
a
sex with.
currently, Devin Haney and his baby mama are in the news, are in the headlines because apparently he over there beating up pregnant women. So that's why we're talking about it because it's a current topic and we're talking about it. That's it. That's all.
We don't know
Hey,
if he
can
beat
hey
that
look
girl
this
up or
why
not.
this
Man,
why
you
I
just
want
hurt that little
We
hey
post
ain't
hey
nigga
do
hey
that
right
to
hold on.
there.
Dev. His
Hey,
chick did that to him.
hey,
You
hey,
mad at us?
let
I
me
ain't
ask
mad
the
at y'all.
panel. Let me
Well, then
ask the
shut
panel.
up
I
then.
just think you on sucker shit.
Let me
You
ask the
been a
panel this.
sucker,
No.
nigga.
Let
Oh,
me
you
ask
got
the
a big
panel
fat
this real
nasty
quick.
white girl, nigga. You live in an apartment building.
Go
Shut the
ahead,
fuck
Rich.
up.
Go
Shut your
ahead,
dumb
Rich.
ass up, nigga.
I just
Dusty
want to
ass
ask the
nigga. You live in
panel
an
this, right?
apartment building.
Since she said she
Nasty
got
ass apartment
since she
building.
got since she
Nigga,
said she
shut
got
up.
since she said she got evidence and all that stuff, right? Do you think this nigga, Devin, is a stupid nigga? He did the same thing with Shannon Sharp did. She set him up with the text messages and all that stupid shit.
Yep.
Damn
She
right.
got them. She got
That's
them
what
text
females
messages
do.
talking about stuff
Hey,
getting handled in the
hey,
streets.
hey, look,
Yeah,
if
when
he
you
got
get to talking
if he
silly, they start creating a receipt, a track
hey
record on your
look,
dumb ass.
if he fell from that, man, I ain't got no respect for that man
But
at all,
also,
man.
this another thing y'all gotta do, right? This another thing y'all gotta do. Y'all
If that
can't
nigga
just
fell for that,
always chalk up everything that she's saying is a lie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, if she got evidence, y'all can be like, oh, she just set him up. Like every time, every corner, it's like this nigga has no accountability. Like, oh, he got her pregnant. Oh, he took the
Real,
bait.
real
I'm
talk
He
not
too,
no
got
Sam,
Devin.
because
her
I
I'm not
got
no.
four
pregnant.
I'm
daughters,
not.
so I reserve judgment. I don't know what happened, but it's like I'm not gonna sit here and just discount this young lady's story. You feel me? I got four daughters, homie. So it's like
That's
I'm not
all
gonna
I'm
rush the
saying.
judgment on them because I know how it go. But at the same time, too, we're not just gonna act like, we're gonna put something on her if she making valid claims. That's a serious allegation if he pushed her down while she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
pregnant, homie.
That's
Real
definitely.
talk.
Yeah.
That's
That's
nasty work.
definitely.
And
Did they
he's a
say he
boxer.
punched her in the stomach too? Did they say that,
Nah, they
Dev?
ain't saying nothing about no punching the
Nah,
stomach.
nah. They
Come
said
on,
That's
bro.
what I'm
Stop,
nah.
talking
She
bro.
about.
said
Niggas
nah. She
Stop,
said he
Yeah,
stop,
punched in the
stop.
what,
stomach. She
what
said
tripped
that.
me out was
She said
somebody
that.
brought up Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp brought all that shit on himself.
But how
Nah,
He
can
but
you
did
bring
Shannon
up
this.
Sharp.
Shannon Sharp?
Nah,
We
no.
ain't talking about
See,
And
Shannon
Shannon
No,
Sharp.
Sharp
he
is a
never
freaky
Why
did.
you
ass nigga
bringing
that
up
need to
Shannon Sharp?
see the
Why you
stay
difference.
off
bringing
the
up Shannon
Somebody
motherfucking
Sharp?
on this panel
Wait,
just
hold on,
brought up
hold on,
Shannon
hold on.
Sharp.
You
Shannon
see how I can
Sharp
switch it
Let me
on
did
you?
let
all
me
that
tell
shit to himself. He had
let me
You
no
see
tell you
how I can
this.
business
switch it on you?
talking to no 19-year-old broad at 57 years old. He
But you
had no
cool with
business
talking
doing that.
about Shannon Sharp, even though he don't
Let
got
me
nothing to
tell you
do with
something.
it.
Why I
You
said
see how I
Shannon
can switch
Sharp
that on
because
you?
why I said about Shannon Sharp because Shannon Sharp. What I seen in the text message seemed like the girl was lining him up from the beginning. If y'all go and relook at it, I don't care about all that other stuff that y'all saying about Devin and all that stuff. When you look at them text messages, she kept asking the same questions, kept trying to get him to admit to
Baiting
certain
them.
stupid shit that wasn't even really serious, but you could tell that she
At
was
some
lining him up.
at
She was
some
baiting
point,
them.
men gotta take
His
accountability.
goofy ass should have knew better.
If
That's why
you
I'm
get
so
set up,
that's one
you
reason why I
just
brought up
listen. Hold
that's
on,
why I
hold
brought
on,
up
hold on. So if a man gets set up, is that not his fault? He got set up, or
Man,
no?
that's Shannon's
No, hell
freaking
no,
ass
it ain't
fault,
his
man.
fault. It's the
Straight
trifling
up.
bitch's fault.
No, you
nah but
crazy. He had to deal with her, bro. That's his fault. What are you
Man,
talking about?
that ain't his fault because the
What you
motherfucker
talking
screaming
about?
in.
Hey, he is a high profile,
Rollo,
entertainment
Yeah, that ain't.
personalities.
Yeah, that's not
What are
your
you
fault if
talking
you get
about?
scammed, home.
No, it is your fault if you get to
it
messing
is
with
your
some
fault.
woman that's gonna undermine your empire.
Nah.
He didn't have to mess with her.
Yeah, why is you fucking with
What
a
you It's called where
19-year-old
I come
anyway and
from.
you 57 years
It's
old?
nah
called tricking,
Why are you
homie. It's
doing
nah
called
that?
you being a
Nah,
trick.
you're
He
not gonna
got
blame the
tricked.
victim in a
And
scam.
any
nah
nigga agreeing with that shit, bro,
Victim
you
in the
a fucking
scam.
Yeah,
creep, bro.
you're not gonna
nah
blame the victim in a
nah
scam.
No,
nah
it's not a victim in a
nah
scam. He's using his position of power and his position of wealth to manipulate this young woman, and he got tricked, homie.
yeah he
Like that's
definitely
that's how the
did.
game goes. What are
By
you
He
saying
talking
definitely
about?
trick,
did.
she
But
scammed him, right?
Blaze at the same time, anyone he could have had any woman for real. Not any woman, but he could have had any woman, damn near any woman that he wanted. That
If you
probably ran
move
in
loose
contact
like
with him.
that, you
And he,
leave yourself open for this, homie. If
yeah,
you think you justify with having wealth and celebrity and you're gonna run around and just have these little young women and do all this freaky
With a
shit, you
19-year-old?
undermine what you
What
got
the
going
fuck are
on.
you talking
Hey,
And
to her
she's
Blaze,
for?
hold on,
19.
hold on.
Yeah,
Blaze,
y'all
listen
tripping.
to me. I'm glad you up here and you
Yo,
saying this
somebody
because
feedback, dog, is
that's
crazy.
Rollo mute. And I'm glad you saying that because I feel like, especially as a woman in this space, I always hear like, it's like with the Devin situation, right? I'm talking to somebody about it. And I'm like, okay, well, he shouldn't have got no escort pregnant. Yeah, she baited him in. And I'm like, he put the baby in her. How did she bait him in? And it
Yeah.
just seemed like every step of the way in these situations, I kind of feel like the men be slipping accountability. Just like how Rollo
Yeah.
talking. Oh no,
yeah.
he got scammed. Like nigga, where
Nah,
is
he
the
definitely
Man,
your
listen, it's on
accountability?
you, homie. Who you choose to
hey,
deal with, who you choose to engage
hey,
with and interact with, especially with women in relationships, that's on you, homie.
hey,
You can
look,
blame them all you want,
hey,
but you
hey,
put
look,
yourself in that situation if you got
You
tricked.
know Devin, wait, you know Devin a sucker, right? Because when that Young Thug shit came out the next day, this nigga bought her a truck. I said, what the fuck?
So
Probably
Devin's
because
a
she
I
sucker.
pushed
You
her
said,
know
that's
him
down
the
and
personally.
punched her in the
that's the
stomach.
suckiest shit I ever seen in my life. The next day
So
later
you
after
know
that
him
Young Thug
personally.
shit came out, he bought her a
Probably
truck.
because he pushed her down and punched her in the stomach.
He bought her a truck the next day
Well,
after that Young Thug shit
let me
came
Well,
out.
he's
let me say this,
emotional.
y'all.
He's
Let me say this,
emotional.
y'all. I think this is important.
Yeah, that's some sensitive.
Shannon Sharp and
So,
Dev got responsibility. You got all the responsibility. You knew
that nigga is
she was
crazy.
the escort and things like that at the time. Shannon Sharp You knew you was messing with a little wild 19-year-old. So if you was going to do that,
She was
you
an
were
escort
supposed to.
too. Y'all know she
You,
was a sex worker, right?
yeah, she was a sex worker, so you're supposed to protect yourself
Nah,
in that
they
way,
met, but they, but
Exactly.
nah.
keep it strictly, strictly business. So two things can be true. You are responsible for who you deal with, who you date with, and the decisions. Shannon and Devin gonna have to live with that. And the women also, if you get see the problem to that men that be having is women will be lying out here and suffer no repercussion. Men, it's not that way. If you reverse the situation, a man going to jail. He don't get to lie and do all of this stuff on women and it just go out the window. Jesse Smollett ass went to jail. Women accuse niggas every day, all the time. Hold on, y'all.
The fuck?
Women accuse niggas of shit every day, all the time. And we find out it's not true and there's no repercussions for it. So it's
At
like
all.
only the men get the responsibility for it. That be the problem. That's how I see it.
Yeah, man. We gotta start
Good points,
supporting.
Dean. Good
We gotta
points.
Good
start
point. I mean,
supporting
I
us,
feel
man,
what you're
because we get
saying, but
abused the
I
most.
just be rich. I just be saying, I just don't be seeing no accountability. That's all. Just like how all the accountability falls on a woman. Like, oh, you should have known he was gonna cheat on you. You should have known. Like, how am I supposed to know all this stuff? And if he do cheat, it's on me. I should have did this and I
Yeah,
should
but
have
how's
did
he
that.
supposed to know she's a snake and gonna scam
When
him in the end?
because
I'm
she's
not.
an escort,
That
bro.
works
What are
both
you
way.
talking
That
about?
works both ways,
No,
baby
I'm
girl.
not gonna blame. Look,
That
I'm
works
The
not
both
gonna
thing
blame
ways.
is
Devin
we
because
don't
Devin
got
is
enough
young.
Hey,
information on none of
I'm gonna
this to
tell you
make
something
Evan
like
opinion.
this. I'm gonna tell you something like this.
Devin is a young nigga.
Bill Haney would have knew what type of time she was on.
So why
Well,
Bill Haney
it's
gotta
Devin
be
Haney's
unfortunate
married?
since Bill Haney is laced, he didn't school his son. They fall for that. No,
Yeah,
exactly because
and
Devin
that's the
Haney's a
whole
young
point.
nigga,
That's what
so
I
you got to
mean. It'd
give
be
him a
like
little
it's
bit of a
bogus.
pass
I
because
tell you
young
that.
niggas do goofy shit. You know that
Yeah,
young
but
niggas with money do
in
Old
goofy
niggas do
shit.
position
goofy
You got to
though,
give
shit.
him a
my
little bit
thing
of a
is it'll
pass.
be. I know, but listen though, you got to understand. Devin Haney's different, bro. Devin Haney got his dad right there as his promoter, and he's like too big to fail. You can't make these mistakes right now.
Yeah, you
Like
can't at
you
all.
can't.
But
You
his
can't
dad is a
afford
goofball.
this.
You know that nigga's a goofball.
Nah, I
Not
don't think Bill
necessarily.
would have
No,
made
his
that same
dad is a
mistake.
That nigga
spectacle
Bill's a goofball.
I don't think
He
his
talk
dad
too
never
would have
much.
seen
made.
his dad
Man,
advise him to
crazy.
be
Bill's a
doing some
promoter.
stuff
You
that'll
you don't
have him
want
in
the
jail.
promoter to talk.
Like, what are we talking about?
What's wrong with you
Hold
niggas?
on, have
Anyway,
y'all ever thought
but
about maybe this
Should have
grandiose
said the
image
promoter
and
talk too
narrative y'all
much.
have of them? It just ain't what y'all think it is. Y'all ever thought about that?
that
What
could be who
That's
the
a
grandiose
nigga
image?
highly
is.
possibility,
Yeah,
Two
Say that
Cents.
again.
yeah.
2 cents. What she say?
Maybe he
I
not
said,
just who the fuck y'all think he is. That's a
I
high
can't hear you.
possibility,
I
Two
can't
Cents.
hear.
Yeah, possibly. But we know Bill Haney is the microphone for Devin Haney Promotions, and they got motion.
Facts.
So and they've been making moves and they've been fighting. So it'd be like we know they know some shit. We know they have got some sense. But what we do know in the position that they're in, they should know better to
They
limit
in
their
that
risk.
position. They need to mess with black women. That's why they in that damn position. Like, let's be all
Say
the
it, Dean.
way.
My wife is black,
You feel,
and my
like,
wife is
let's
from
be
my hood.
100.
You
Shannon
feel me?
Sharp,
So,
you like them snow bunnies. When you dip in the snow, sometimes it get dirty. That's
well, there
all
you
I'm
go.
saying.
There you
When you
go.
No,
There you
step,
go.
when you step in
With
the
In
Shannon,
the
snow,
the thing
South,
you
with the
get
my
thing with
women ain't never
dirty.
Shannon,
trouble. White women
he's
ain't never
too
trouble.
She
old.
white. I thought she was like
Shannon is
Indian or some
too
shit.
old to get caught
She like
fucking
an
off with a
Arab.
19-year-old broad. Shannon's too
And
Shannon
old for
too
that.
Sharp. Hold on,
big
let
He's
me
though.
say
no.
this.
That's the thing with Shannon.
Let me say
Shannon's too
this about Shannon
successful to
Sharp.
be
Hold on,
falling
let
for
me
that
say this
nonsense.
about Shannon Sharp. When I first heard about the Shannon Sharp situation, and they was like, "Oh, she was 19," I was like, "Damn, why we be messing with a 19-year-old?" And then they was like, "Oh, she's an ex worker," and I'm like, "Okay, so y'all think Shannon Sharp is the only old man that this girl is messing with?"
Hell
No,
no.
no. And y'all think Shannon Sharp wasn't paying for a service? He absolutely was, because from my understanding, when she wanted to charge him more is when the problem started.
No,
So
Mm-hmm.
from what I heard about that situation, they said he met her at a gym. Like the way he met her, it was like a famous gym out like
that
Cali
don't mean she
somewhere.
not an
Nah,
escort.
they like he didn't meet her like on a sex worker time. He met her at a
Man,
gym.
some of them gyms be low. They be brothels on the low. It be like
Yeah,
it's
Fact.
outside in that bit.
it was one of them expensive ass gyms that he go to. What I keep saying that she set him up because he like the way they was having whatever they was doing, he was choking her and all that stuff, and she kept trying to make it seem like, oh, you was choking me too hard, saying stuff like that, like trying to get him to admit to choking when that was already part of the agreement of them doing stuff like that. So I was saying was
And
Devin.
then Shannon gets on the phone with her,
So
Rich.
that's yeah. So
This
that's why I
nigga's a
said he's a
goofball.
dumbass nigga.
That
He
nigga's
No,
could
an
have
I
old
him.
think that
goofball.
I
He should
think
never
He
been
I
in that
think that
situation.
was I think that's what he was paying for. Like
That's
whatever little
exactly what he was
fantasy,
paying
That's
for.
what he was into.
whatever little fantasy thing they had going on, that's what he was paying
But
for.
that,
That's
See,
why it's kind of like
but
Yeah,
that,
for
see,
that
two cent,
plantation
but this
shit.
where it go. So
Yeah,
hold on,
slave
y'all.
shit.
Two
This
cent.
nigga
This
slave.
where it go to your
you whack
point.
for that.
When you that
You whack
famous,
for that.
you gotta have NDAs. You can't be calling bitches when you know they gonna record. Listen,
Exactly.
if I'm
nah,
famous,
that's why
bro.
I said that nigga
Hold on,
stupid.
hold on, Rich. Hold on. If I'm famous, I meet a chick. I'm gonna tell her in person when I meet her, whenever we talk. Listen, I don't do all the texting and all of this. When I hit you up, yo, meet me here, blah, blah, blah. We could talk in person at the restaurant, at the crib. I'm not leaving
Shit in the
no
pool.
footprints. I'm not doing none. All they gonna see when we text each other is you coming here, me coming there, and then they gonna know that part was consensual. So anything, all that you should know these chicks try to record you. You Shannon Sharp, you
Didn't y'all
Devin
see
Listen,
what
Haney.
happened?
you should only
Didn't y'all
talk in
see
the
what
pool
happened
like
to her?
Nino Browns. Make sure they ain't wearing a wire.
Man,
I mean,
treat them
sometimes
niggas
they,
like
they
my
need to get some
sisters,
female
Greg.
gurus.
But
They,
that's
What
how
they
you
need to
say,
supposed
get
to.
Mr.
a
That's how
Gray?
female
you.
guru
That's
on
how you
deck to
supposed to
check these
live.
females.
That's how you supposed to
Wait,
live
what
life. Period.
say? What you say, Mr. Gray?
I said all of this came up just as Shannon Sharp was about to sign the $100 million deal.
Exactly.
They already had an agreement to
Blue the
settle with
badge.
her until the lawyer found out about the deal that he had and decided that they wanted more. That's how it became public because they didn't want to lose the traction of it. She had already agreed to, I think, 10 million or 20 million, I
Mhm.
believe. But the lawyer that she got decided
Tony
to
Bugsby.
sign this deal, yeah, Tony Busby, that they should get more. That's how it got into public. Shannon was having his little fantasies with the girl. They was doing what they were doing,
Mama Michelle.
and she decided she was gonna get paid more for it because she knew about this. So it was a case of greed and stupidity all in one because he was gonna pay her off so he can get the deal. Now he don't have the deal.
Stupid.
Yes.
So what happened? They ain't talked about it in a long time. He beat the case.
Nah, that shit part. They
Now they
got
Nah, he'll
Tony
never be on
Busby.
TV
They
again,
got
bro.
they got Tony Busby, man, pick up on any case that he did. Deshaun Watson, Jay-Z, all them people, man. Like he doing the Diddy cases, like over 1,000 Diddy cases. He just pick up on all these cases,
those cases
and
take time.
and a lot of that shit
Hey,
go
Tony
away. But
Busby paid.
they don't never charge the people that's making these false allegations, and that's sad.
I thought Jay-Z got him
Like,
banned from New
how they
York to
charge?
practice
Nah,
law.
nah,
Yeah, Jay
Nah,
Z
Jay-Z.
that shit
cooked
ain't
his
true.
ass.
Nah, Jay-Z.
He just won that. He just won that case against Jay-Z, that defamation case.
Yeah,
Tony
that's what
Busby
I'm
won that
saying.
shit.
He and Jay-Z keep trying to file another one. That man about to bust Jay-Z head for
Yep.
funds,
Yeah,
man.
Sharp will never be on TV again. He's done with TV. He
Yeah,
could
Why
do
you
yeah,
know?
nightcap. You ain't getting on
Why you
TV no
know?
more.
yeah.
Why?
They
Nah.
can't trust
Shannon
him.
Sharp.
They can't trust this nigga. He can't trust him.
He gonna get on
They
TV
Shit.
put you
They
on
eventually.
gave
TV.
they gave Marv
You
Albert
might
his
grab
job
another
back.
19-year-old. We're not fucking with you.
They gave
That
Marv
ain't
his
got
job
nothing to
back
do
after
with
he
night.
was
That
biting
man
them
been on TV
girls.
his whole life. How you gonna sit there and
That's
say that
a,
man ain't on TV?
Watch
That man
this
on
season. I
that
bet you
that,
this. I bet you $1 to a donut
that
hole. You
man
don't
got
see him on TV this season.
that man got
He
Who you
won't be
talking
Marv,
on
Nah,
that man got
ESPN.
Rich, ESPN ain't letting them. They ain't let them back on,
on,
bro. That's real. They
on,
ain't let them back.
on,
That's why he ain't
he,
been on first take.
but what I'm saying he got one of the top 3 podcasts on the social
Oh
media,
yeah,
man,
that's
right
his
now.
shit. But we
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
like
he
He's
can
him
not
keep
being
gonna
that.
on
get
That's
shows.
fine.
he's not gonna get the 100 million for it now. That's the
Yeah,
Okay,
thing.
That's fine.
He's about to
Yeah, you
he's
can do
about
that.
to monetize it into the
But
100.
network TV,
That's
NBC,
done now.
CBS, no, we not fucking with you.
but Greg, I ain't never thought. I thought the 100 million. What was the 100 million? Wasn't for no ESPN, was
look
it?
it
for
was
It
for the
was
podcast
for
podcast.
the
shit.
show. The show
Yeah, it
was
was for
going to
the
be
podcast.
yeah. The show was going to become part of the network. That's where the 100 million was coming
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Damn,
Yeah, it was going part of the network, exactly.
man.
And that was his
Hey,
leverage
that's
because
because
he
he
was
Like
did
the
making
that
other
Cat
sure.
boy.
Williams.
from.
That's because he did that Cat Williams interview, so they had to
That
take him
was
down.
What's the boy named 2 Cents? The white boy that used to play for the Colts?
What white
Peyton
boy?
Manning,
Man, yeah.
The punter,
Andrew
the
Luck,
punter.
Peyton Manning.
The
Pat
one that be on
McAfee.
wrestling and shit.
Pat
McAfee.
McAfee.
That's how he
Oh,
got his
McAfee, yeah.
money.
Yeah, he.
He
that,
got like a 50,
He went
60
from the
million dollar deal.
podcast.
He
Yep,
part of the
yep.
right.
network now.
Yeah,
He part.
Shannon.
Yep.
Shannon is a perfect example of how dudes be letting their appendage mess up their money.
Facts.
Yeah. Real talk.
Perfect
Man,
example. If he had left
But
this
what
young
did
girl
Shannon Sharp
alone,
do wrong? What did Shannon Sharp do wrong?
The
They
fact of the
make that
matter
girl
is
sign an NDA
it's
and
a
talk too much
19-year
on
When
that
you
old.
phone.
when you 57 years old, 2 cents, and you fucking with a 19-year-old, that's bad business
Y'all,
all the way around.
y'all act like he met
That's
this
bad
girl at
business.
Starbucks. She a S worker.
Yeah, but you can't have that when you networks are still very, very touchy about their image. And they're not gonna have a 57-year-old having that kind of sex with a
First,
19-year-old, and they're gonna just look the other way. They're not doing it.
first of all, if you a famous guy and you messing with females and you are talking on that phone and you texting and you ain't sending NDAs, let me give y'all a story. Y'all know Derek Jeter?
Yeah.
When Derek Jeter throws parties, at the door, he make you sign an NDA and put your phone in a basket. You can't even walk in Derek Jeter house without
That
signing an
sound
NDA or putting your phone up.
that sound real Diddy-ish.
Hey, listen, but you
But
saying
everybody
it's to
do it.
protect yourself because you ain't heard about Derek Jeter being in nothing. It's to protect yourself.
A
You
lot
can't
of celebrities do that.
Castanet and them at they little house that they be doing where they stream and all that. You gotta sign an NDA the minute you get to the door, whether it's the person who cut the grass, the pool boy, who the cable guy, whoever walked past those gates, gonna sign something. That's just what it is, bro. If you not protecting yourself, you're stupid. Sorry, bro.
And you
And
know what the
remember,
biggest thing was with Sharp? The biggest thing with Sharp was this. Sharp telling all these other athletes what not to do. And you
Fact.
wind up doing exactly the same shit that you told them not to do.
After
and
having a sex
Monique
tape on
warned him.
Instagram.
Monique warned him to leave them young girls alone. On his show, she told him. And
But
he
it ain't
said,
the young
nah,
girls,
she
Mr.
good.
Greg, because Bill
Huh?
Cosby had all old chicks coming at him.
And they had NDAs too.
Yeah, like so it ain't the age thing. Like
But
Bill
Bill
Cosby
Cosby
wasn't
had
none of
did
them
that shit.
19
Bill
and they
Cosby had
was
did that
all
shit 40 years ago. 40 years ago.
but I'm talking
When
about
Bill
the
Cosby did that
mindset from
shit.
them Shelton. They didn't come out at 40 years ago. They coming out as grown ass women,
Because the law
grandmoms
just
and shit.
changed now. Because the law just changed now.
See, that happened during the height of the Me Too movement. And Bill Cosby was high profile, just like Harvey Weinstein. And all of that stuff. Now, if y'all remember, I don't know if y'all remember this far back, women were talking about Harvey Weinstein as far back as the 80s, but nobody was doing anything about it until finally the Me Too
Because they couldn't, Greg. They
started.
couldn't.
No, I understand that when the
Mute
Me Too
Mr. Shelton.
movement hit, it started with him, with Harvey Weinstein. They got him, and they went back to the comedian who was talking about Bill Cosby in one of his shows, and then it got traction, and people started talking and calling in, and women started talking, and then they got to him. Except he had made an agreement with the prosecutor long before he got to trial, but when they went to trial, they still said, no, forget that. We promised not to prosecute him because he was going to settle. That's how he, like I said before, that's how he finally got back out, because his due process rights were violated. That's why he got out. But this was at the very height where high profile men, if you done anything, I don't care if it was 30 years ago, they coming for you. And
Man,
didn't come was being taken down for something they did or a lot that they did, and they should have got caught.
if you a successful black man, you need to keep it. I'm gonna be real. You need to keep it in your pants. I know it's fat. I know it jiggle. I get it, my guy. Trust me, I understand. But when you that whole
Whoa.
high profile, they get y'all like this every single
Every
time.
single
It be
time.
coming down to these females. Listen, bro. If y'all can learn or not learn, take the advice or don't take the advice. You better protect yourself, treat these phones like the feds is watching, because they are. These
Yes, they
phones are
are.
directly connected to these police. Stop telling them all your fantasies and doing all of that. Man, listen here. Smash and pass, my guy. It'd be much harder for her to prove one night than it would be for her to prove you dealing with her over 6, 7, 8, 9 months, a year. That's a time somebody could put a case on your ass. Smash them and pass them. And I got daughters, and I hate to say that, but it's the motherfucking truth. If you are a successful black man, they getting you like this with these females. And the age thing, It don't matter the age. I just seen them all do it up to from 19 to 70 out this motherfucker. You better protect yourself, brother. I'm being real. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
And he was going back and forth with the bitch. That was having fucked up. He kept going back and forth with the bro.
Yeah, look at how many high-profile black men are all in jams, all for the same thing. Just look at it. All the ones in the music business. Right now, Russell Simmons can't even really live in the country.
That's because they signed their name in blood, and times came to pay the piper.
It's in trouble. But some of these cases are now very quiet, but they haven't gone away yet. We just seem to be talking about the one because Diddy done blew everything up.
Look what Johnny Depp ex-wife tried to do to him. Look what she tried to do to my man Johnny. How you do that to the Pirates of the Caribbean? He ain't do that stuff.
Johnny was a weirdo. Don't take Johnny out of the picture. He's a weirdo too.
But no, she a weirdo too. They was doing weird stuff together. The problem is showing when the chick tried to go to court and act like she wasn't with it.
And he's lucky, but he had to go through that. You know, at some point.
Yes, and that other shit. What was you saying, Greg? What was you just saying about that weird ass nigga?
I said I was talking about Russell Simmons. I was going to talk about
yeah, Russell was smart. That's what I was gonna say. Russell was smart. As soon as he heard about some charges, he bumped the fuck out. I'm out.
Didn't his wife get hustled out their bread though?
Yeah.
No. Russ got bread stashed all over the place. Russ got bread. Russ bumped out. He went to a country. He went to a country with no extradition. And he went to a country with no extradition. They can't even bring him back.
Like this.
Hold on, Mr. Shelton. Please fix that feedback, Mr. Shelton. Please.
Hey, Mr. Greg, Russell Simmons, he's still spending that LL Cool J money. He good.
Yeah.
Still spending the beginning
of over there doing yoga and believe and shit. Them niggas is guilty, dog. People in the music industry file, bro.
Successful black man, and they trying to bring a black man down, and that's I mean, I get it, but guys, like so I'm echoing. Somebody got to mute, but like I keep saying, they actually did these things. I mean, it caught them too. It's catching up for all of them. It's not even a black thing. They took Epstein down. They took Weinstein down. They took Bernie Madoff down. This ain't just no black thing. I don't know why
we know that.
Trying to make it out.
Bernie was stealing all the money. These other
Bernie stole from rich people. That's what got him teamed up.
That's what I was speaking of.
What I'm saying is, if you into freaky stuff, that's not a crime. The crime comes in when you don't protect yourself.
Right.
That's just where it comes in at. Because then now, we don't know what they did, what they didn't do. If she telling the truth, that part, I don't even care about that part. It is what it is.
Look how they used to do that girl Superhead. If that Me Too shit was happening with Superhead was out here, she would have been cooking them niggas.
Like, you feel like, listen, if you're going to be doing that stuff, though, 2 Cent, make sure you're doing it the right way and make sure you're protecting yourself. That's what I'm saying. You can't be doing all of this freaky stuff and just leaving it out there.
But Dean, this is what you're missing. This is why they all get in trouble for it. Because it's about the control and the power. That's why they all get in trouble for it, and that's why they are gonna always get in trouble for it. Because they can easily find willing participants or people that want to or this and that they don't want that. They want the control and the power. It turns it turns into that.
Yeah,
and it gets out of control. And that's why
I agree.
And I said I wasn't gonna talk about the Diddy case, but real quick, just to make a point, that's why the Diddy case, like, people don't understand, even if the women consented, even if they was like, yeah, with the new freak offs, the times they didn't want to and they were forced to is the problem.
Yep, I agree. 100%.
That's what the problem is.
No means
that's
no.
Ain't nobody crying for Diddy and these things. We not crying. But ain't nobody crying for Diddy and them. We just saying this is why y'all find yourself in these situations, and they be crying about it. 2 Cent. That's what I'm bringing up the point. 2 Cent. I don't want to hear the crying about this shit later. Is what I'm saying. You didn't take the precautions like you saying, 2 Cent, and then you might have went a little too far. So since you did that, Don't be bitching about it later that you ain't take the proper precautions to make sure you ain't have to deal with this. Cause Tucson, guess what? You know somebody who
Nah,
was
D,
doing the
now you
same
set
shit.
up. She set you up, D.
Yo, Tucson, you wanna know
Now
who
they
else?
set up.
You want to know who else was doing the same shit? But he took the proper precautions. Hugh Hefner, you ever heard of him?
Yep.
Well, actually, Dean, they did try to get him multiple times, and now they've gotten him postpartum, not postpartum.
But Mr. Greg, I know that. But at the
Post
You
time
know
Malone.
he
about
was there, he was holding it down. They could try to get him, but they couldn't get him.
Yeah, they just couldn't get him. That's all. Because I mean, the fans was on him big time.
Oh yeah,
And
they
No,
was
he
on
had
it.
what's that white girl name that was fucking with Michael Jackson?
Damn, what is her name?
Brooke
What is
Shields.
Brooke
Her name is
Shields,
Brooke. He had her naked in Playboy, but she was like 15.
that was
Nah,
a
man,
model.
listen,
Yeah,
That was a
Elvis.
long ago.
That was.
How
Have
long
y'all
ago was
seen
that?
that 13-part series on Playboy?
No.
Nah, I haven't seen
It's
that.
on
Is it
Nah, where
good?
that at?
It's on A&E. If you see that, what you will see is what you seen in Diddy's trial.
Man, stop doing
Yeah.
freak offs. The word of the day is stop doing freak offs, bro. Control y'all freakiness. Is what I'm trying to tell them.
Hey,
Yeah,
but
Man.
look,
man.
they had already transferred the white parties to Mike Rubin. What's that guy name? Mike Rubin before they got Diddy. Now Mike Rubin doing the white party. So they just got a new person at the top of the music game, and they took Diddy down. Like it's
It is
ruthless
what it
out there,
is.
man.
But Diddy
This,
getting
this man
everything
been
he
this man
deserved because
been getting away. He been getting away with this for 30 years, y'all.
I
2 Cent,
think
30
it's
Diddy
the
getting
it's
years
what
the
this
he
man
it's
been
deserved
a menace.
it's
because
the
he
era
did
now,
that to
though.
Biggie and Pac. I'm sorry. Diddy is the reason Biggie and Pac is dead. So I really don't care what happens to. He been fishy. All of them people, money you is still. And see, when you do dirt, you get dirt. It don't matter how it come back around. It's everybody know that boy in Chicago, D Rose. They say he in jail for something he didn't do. That's unfortunate. But the problem is you done caught a lot of bodies. That's how God gets you sometimes, my guy. Sometimes he gets you for shit that you didn't do, for all the dirt that you did. So this is a key telltale sign to people. Your past to come back to haunt you. Better watch how you treat people. Watch what you say. Watch what you do, or you gonna be on trial.
And
Absolutely.
it's a different era now. You know, we went through the Me Too movement, the council culture, you know, and then we got just more accountability and there's more like
Yeah.
receipts for this behavior now. So if Hugh Hefner couldn't have did what he did in this era, he
Hell
wouldn't have
no.
been able to
Nah,
move like
hell
that.
no,
No,
hell
You see what
no,
I'm saying?
no.
absolutely
So
not.
it's the era thing, and now we're seeing the old era. We're seeing them guys. You know, the Roosters is coming home, right? You digging with Puffy from that era and this era, continuing it on, right? Then you got, you know, R. Kelly got popped in this era. Who else? You see, they ran Russell. Russell ran to a non-extradited country, right? Because
Now they about to get
because
Fat Joe.
yeah, Fat
Everybody
Joe.
get
You see what
Fat
I'm saying?
Joe.
And it's like
They
all
like they
this
This
trying to
shit.
shit
get
bigger.
Yeah,
Tyler Perry.
he
Look what
thought he
they
was
doing.
God
They get
from what's the movie In Too Deep?
I
And
yep.
that
learned
man
about this
doing all
shit when I
types
was
of
taking
humiliation
entertainment
shit.
business. I
Hey,
got
You
about
know,
to
Mr.
get
but
my
that
Blaze,
but that's
entertainment
what it
business.
is though.
Like
Mr.
it's some
Blaze,
shit
Different
called
era right now.
NABMA. And that's like it's like an organization for pedophiles and shit. But they been trying to
Yeah.
legalize pedophilia and all that type of shit.
yeah, that's crazy.
And now they
Yeah,
doing the
that's that shit
shit.
I seen on South Park.
Hey, Mr. Blaze,
Yeah,
make
they been
sure,
trying to do this shit like a long ass time.
Mr.
And
Blaze,
the
make sure
motherfucking
you try to find out try to watch that 13-part documentary on Playboy. You'll see.
Yeah, yeah. And then we
I
want to let's
mean,
talk about that too.
I
Also, that's white
mean,
supremacy as
they
well.
had
You feel me? That
murders
white man was
involved
able to do
there.
that.
I didn't even know that there were many Playboy mansions that they had for the B-level girls. But
Oh, okay.
most of the high-profile men who were involved with a lot of that stuff at Playboy, all of them are dead. So you can't get at them now.
Yeah.
But to see what happened, because at one point, I think a lot of men admired Hugh Hefner because of the image that he created, not knowing the stuff that was really happening in those mansions. And the fact that they was taping too, but his secretary allegedly, when he died, made sure every one of those tapes disappeared. But the
And
Wow.
girls are
it's
talking.
a power thing too. It's a power
Yeah,
thing and it's a race thing too. because that was an old white man. You feel me? That was
Right.
able to get away with all that power, and who he was connected with, and it was the level of like acceptability of
Yeah.
behavior
That was the
with
biggest
patriarchy
thing.
and sexism and misogyny. That shit was acceptable back then.
Man, it's
You
deeper
feel
than
me?
that,
Yep.
man. The pedophiles is running the government. But that's how we
So
about
there
to
you
get them
go.
up
I
out of
mean, when
here.
we get to this deviancy
You know
seems
what
to
I'm saying?
run hand in hand when you get into these upper areas of this power, and particularly with entertainment. It seems like every time you get to entertainment where somebody blows big, there's some type of deviance going on
Bro, all that shit
for you to be
intertwined,
in
dog.
those
It's like one
positions.
company that own all the shit. And then
Because
it's
just
like,
think, we know, we see the game now. They can make anybody a superstar. They can make anybody famous.
Yep.
It's the machine that actually does it, right? And so you see, let's just talk about black men, right? We see all these black men, right? They try to put them in a dress when they cross them over. You feel me? They try to have
Mhm.
them do something against
they
they
do it to white
manhood and
people too.
masculinity. They do it
Yeah.
to white people too, for sure. But I'm talking
Yeah.
about it just sticks out with black folks because there's very few black men that cross over in the mainstream to become like
And
Hollywood
plus, and
stars.
plus, a lot of white boys already played on gay games
Yeah, they
anyway. Watch
already
how
on
white
that. That's
boys
their
play
thing.
these.
Man, these
Yeah, that's
niggas
their
is
thing.
bending it over and flipping it over for a
Hey,
bag.
gentlemen, all of you all who have daughters, be honest with your daughters when you're teaching them, talking to them, when they're going to school. Show up on campus randomly all the time so men around them will know there's a man watching them.
Yeah, please believe it's like I got a
Do
17-year-old
all of
daughter.
those
All I
things
do
with
is
your
meet all
daughters.
the boys that she talked to, so they know what's up. I
Yeah,
have a
let them
conversation
know
with them.
from
They
day
know there's a
one.
male presence there.
Yeah,
You feel
that
me?
there's a presence there. They ain't out
Yeah.
here by themselves searching for love. Dad'll show up on
Yeah.
campus unexpectedly.
Yeah.
He gonna want to know who your father is, what your father do, et cetera, et cetera. You
Yeah.
have to do that. A lot of times fathers want to do that and maybe forget to keep doing it as their daughters get older. Even they get upset. Let them be upset. Dad got to do what he has to do because you now see what's going on out there. All you got to do is blink and something done
See,
happen.
Mr. Greg,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
problem
Yeah.
is
That's
a
real
lot of
talk.
these dads, a lot of the dads, they be pump faking. So the young guys, man, your daddy ain't. God, I got 3 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna be the old head with my pants tucked in all high and all that. Listen here,
Right.
young guy. I'm in great shape. I'm not. I'm gonna put it past my daughter. I'm not even. Listen, young man. I know when my daughter. I was your age too. I know it's not
Exactly.
all your fault. If I catch you sneaking in my house, I know my daughter told your ass to come over there. You didn't just come over here. I know she being fresh. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck what she say. If I catch you, you
Mhm.
understand me? I already know she gonna be a little fresh. I'm gonna deal with her. Don't worry about that. I'm telling you, you're
Right.
gonna have to deal with me. I will come to your house and knock on your door with your collar raised, holding your collar. Hey, miss. Hey, sir. This yours?
It's yours.
Yeah, he was over the crib. Now I ain't touch him and do nothing to him. I'm telling y'all right now. I catch his ass over there again, it's gonna be look, we gonna do whatever y'all want to do. You understand? See, a lot of dads be pump faking. I ain't
Mhm.
playing. Don't play with mine. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give niggas one warning. I'm not even gonna do all of this extra shit. I will go to jail over mines, brother. You ain't got to
Come on.
worry about police. You ain't got to worry about none of that, homie. I'll deal with that later. You won't be here no more. So if you okay with that, if my daughter worth that, I hope you treat her right, family. Because if you cross that line with mine, me and my guys, we gonna come find you. We gonna come find you. That's all I'm saying.
Real talk.
Hmm.
Real
And that's how
talk.
you have to be. You got to be that from the time they start dating. You got to
And
go
then
through the neighborhood.
and then
Show 'em what.
when you a stand up father, like you really be in your daughter's life, and if you with their mom, she gets the example right there. So like my daughter had 17-year-old daughter got high standards because it's like how I interact with her mom.
And
How I
just
treat her mom,
maintain.
how I open doors, how how we don't argue in front of the kids and all of that. So when
Right.
she be dealing with these boys and they don't text back the right way or they be being goofy, she X's them out. Like, she got high standards for how boys interact with her. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with
And
that,
that's
bro.
needed. That's needed because if they don't have that, right? If they don't get to see the example of that, it's just like with us as young men too. If you don't get an example of a healthy relationship between a black man and a black woman, then you're gonna fall into the culture. of this shit, the battle of the sexes and all this toxic shit that's going on. You feel me? So much
Saying that.
respect to you, Dame, from one father to another. If you know, you know. You feel
Yo,
me?
and Blaze, I appreciate that, bro. And to elaborate on that, dads, you gotta keep it real with your daughters here. And one of the biggest problems, I know 2 Cent probably can feel this. One of the biggest problems is a lot of dads, we don't be real with our daughters about who we are. We try to
Yeah,
sit up there and paint it like daddy is this. Listen here, baby. Daddy done curse chicks out. Daddy ain't perfect. Let me tell you, I'm gonna teach you how to be treated, but I'm gonna also teach you how to treat a man. You know why I'm gonna teach you that? On what a man looking for, how men think. So
yeah,
when you know you giving it your 100% to a man, baby girl, and he not giving you that back, you won't feel bad about leaving. See, a lot of girls don't leave
yeah. Come on.
situations because they don't know what the standard is, like you were saying, Blaze. So
Mm-hmm.
they
Yeah,
questioning themselves. Dag, am I doing this? Did I do that right? Maybe I should
yeah.
stop making him mad. No, if you teach your daughter how to treat a man so that she knows that she ain't tripping. Like, I ain't do nothing to this nigga. I ain't been nothing but good to this man. I'm not dealing with that. A lot of dads don't want to be real with their daughters. A lot of dads don't want to tell their daughters, listen, baby girl, the guys don't like chicks that talk too much all the time, baby. Like, he try to show them that you different. Like, try to take
Yeah,
interest in
yeah.
certain, you know what I'm saying? We only teach them one way on how they supposed to be treated. But
And
that's where we fail our daughters at a
Yeah.
lot, because it's not just that. I gotta teach her
and
how to interact with men also. So therefore, she knows what she's looking for. She know what man she'll be willing to even do that for. She'll know how to give, she'll know how to take. Because a relationship is tug of war. You ever play
spot on,
tug of
Dean.
war? That's
Yeah,
how a
spot on, Dean.
relationship is.
And real quick, me and my wife, we talk to her about that all the time, about her playing games with them little boys. You feel me? And I give them the perspective when I was a little boy, like, hey, don't be playing games with them. Don't be, it go both ways. You're right, Dean. You feel me? To teach her how to be able to interact and engage in being a healthy and not be toxic. So it'll go both ways. But you gotta be there though. You feel me? That's the main thing.
Yeah, you got to be there, gentlemen. I mean, I don't have any children, but I have a slew of nieces and grandnieces and great grandnieces now. And because I've been, by default now, kind of the patriarch of my clan, I make sure when I talk, because all of my nieces who are old enough are doing very well. And I'm kind of happy that they turn to me, even though some of them do have their fathers, some of the fathers are gone, to get some guidance from. And from me talking with you all over the years, talking to younger people, being around younger people, and some of the things I've done in life, because I wasn't had a halo over my head either. I tell them about, they know some of the stuff that I've been into, good and bad. And I try to explain to them how to move out here now. I know things are different than when I was young, but it makes no difference. You still got to build a foundation that they can work from. And the guys and the men that they're going to be around, if they know anything about me from back in the day or my brothers or anything of that nature, they have an idea what kind of men are around them. And so once they understand that, Dean or yourself, Rollo, or whoever else who has children, our daughters, once they understand what kind of father is around them, and you may have some brothers as well, they're going to edit themselves and they're going to govern themselves in a different kind of way because you paying attention. But we know how we would be if we were men. If the woman ain't or the girl that you're trying to get at, if you can get in the house because she's letting you in the house, as Dean says, and you know the father's sleeping, he ain't paying attention, you're gonna keep doing that. But when you know you got a father that if he catches you in the room, if he catches you there when you shouldn't even be there, if you ain't taking off your hat when you come in the door, if you're not getting out the car to knock on the door to pick her up, the father gonna check you and he gonna check you off. But that's the kind of father you don't have to be overbearing, but you do have to be, as you said, consistent, and he has to realize you're not playing with him.
And the biggest thing, Mr. Greg, I'll say, I've learned this, and I harp on this when it comes to my daughters. I ain't letting them slide with this. Don't think daddy coming to your rescue every time. Don't call me accountability, fellas. Teach your daughters accountability. Don't think I'm gonna just take your side. If I get to know your boyfriend, let's say my daughter, she's 25. She got a dude, right? She called me dad. He said this, that, and the third. First thing I'm gonna ask her, tell me what you did too.
Mm-hmm.
I hear what you're saying about him. What happened? I hear what you say. Y'all arguing over. What what part did you play in this? Because you're not gonna call me every time, or your brothers or your cousins every time you get upset. When as a dude, I know a lot of the times females be pushing this shit there and starting this shit. I'm not gonna lose that because that's my little girl. Because if it was any other female, I wouldn't just jump to that. And don't be no different with your daughter. Do not call me if you're not telling the truth. Do not call me if you're not going to tell me what part you played in. Don't be like, daddy, he over here, he cussed me out, but he cussed you out because he went through your phone and you was texting other niggas. You ain't tell daddy that part. I probably would have cussed your ass out too. See, I'm the dad that's going to tell you that. Yeah, you did the fuck wrong. He probably should have cussed your ass out. Now, I talked to him, bro, please just leave her alone if that's the case. But I understand a lot of dads don't do that. We forget when we was in that position and we wasn't always in the wrong and we wanted that grace. Make sure, I know your daughter, she might got a dude, but don't be just quick to jump to her side and you don't really know what's going on, especially if you took time to get to know the young man as well and give you approval in a whole nine. Because then I think a lot of times we be setting our daughters up for failure to get divorced, to not have, they be having a fucked up perspective on certain things. Like, baby girl, don't be so hard on that nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't expect this from you. As you doing this, I'm just big on that. So my daughters, when she ever do feel as though she's unappreciated or not getting what she deserves, it's legit. It's legit.
And look out for your sisters too, because I had three of my sisters are gone now, but I have three older sisters. And my father, at that time when I was young, put me in a position that I didn't want to be in, where I had to know what was going on with them as it pertains to boys. But, my older sisters were about 5 years older than me. So you can imagine as a little boy, I'm trying to get in somebody's face that's 5 years older than me about my sister, which I rather had not done. But as I got older, my sisters had a bad habit of calling and having one side to the story, as Dean was just talking about. And I had to, okay, what did you do? Because I know you. What did you say? I know you mouthy. I know you'll do this. I know you'll do that. So you have to also look out for, but you still got to look out for, I didn't want nobody hurting them. But I had to also make sure that if they calling, they were legitimate in what they were saying before anything was said or done. And so you have to do that.
Verify the story.
Yeah, because sometimes, like I said, with my sisters, as I can tell you, I'll be honest with you, my sisters could be extra.
All right, y'all. Check me out. It's almost 2 a.m. We've been on here for 3 hours. Great 2 Cents After Dark episode tonight. Listen, if you came late, run it back, run the replay. Listen, y'all, this 2 Cents After Dark. We're going to talk about boxing, but if the conversation veer from boxing, we're going to talk about some real life issues over here, right?
Yeah.
We want to talk about boxing 24/7 all the time, but we do want to get together as a community and talk about life sometimes. So thank you to everybody that came on the panel. I'm going to go around the panel. I want everybody to, all right, Dean. I want everybody to get a final 2 cents off. We're going to start with you, Blaze. P4P, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Oh man, great show, great panel. Appreciate you having me on 2 Cents. I think you got one of the best panels on YouTube. Real quick, rapid fire. Looking forward, this kid did his thing, knocked out Farmer, and to pay to win 12 rounds with him twice. Interested to see Shakur's response in the ring. And then maybe in the future, if they possibly might line up a fight for them against each other. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, again, unfortunate for the Haney situation. Hopefully he makes his next moves his best moves, and I wish the best for him and the child of his mother for them to figure it out. And then, I'm really looking forward to them finalizing some type of date for the Tank Roach rematch. And then I'll end with this. Has Tank gave Lamont his new number yet? and I'm out.
I don't even know nothing about. Hold on, Blaze P4P. What time is it where you at?
11:57. I'm on the West Coast.
11:57. Oh wow. Okay. All right. I was just curious.
All right, peace, y'all.
All right,
All
Blaze.
right. Thank you for coming up and giving me your 2 cents. And the boy say 11:57. I'm like, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. That boy working out in the middle of the night. He's serious.
Same time for me.
Mr. Greg, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, it was a great show. It's good to talk about some real life issues. And the fact that some of these fighters are going through some of these real life issues beyond the ring. I wish the best for all of them. I hope that the problems that they're facing, they work them out well and it matures them in some way, shape, or form where they can be better men and better athletes when they get in the ring to do what we have come to know them from. I don't want to really know about their personal lives like that, but unfortunately, that's not the world we live in now. We see and hear about everything, but we also can relate because some of us has had some of those experiences too, as we talked about when we were talking about Tory Lane and some of those other things. But this is what life is about, what they call boxing, the theater of the unexpected, that four-corner circle. It's the truth chamber. All of those things are good metaphors, and we've had a chance to talk about it today. I'm glad that your network is continuing building. I have got a chance to say that to you, but nobody's doing the things that you're doing. So you continue your distinct channels. You see who we come up, and we come up fast. Take up it's a line to get in, and that's a wonderful thing. That is a wonderful thing. You continue to work that way. And I forget to tell you, but I'm going to say it again. Don't forget to get the glasses, gentlemen.
Yeah, check the link in the description.
Yeah. So anyway, I had a good time. Thank you for letting me come up. Now it's 1 minute to 3 where I am. So and I gotta get up early. So let me call it a night.
Too.
Move
All right,
on.
Mr. Gray.
All right, see you later, no cap.
Thank
Right,
Listen, thank y'all for coming through tonight. We had an excellent show, very fun topic. Tory Lanez. Listen, I didn't realize people are so passionate about Tory Lanez. Like, when did everybody become Tory Lanez fans? I don't understand it. But shout out to Boxing Hacker with the $2 in the super chat. He says, "Did y'all see they are trying to force Tank in Austin? Who is trying to force Tank in Austin? He just fought, and Tank got a fight coming up. So who's trying to force it? And I mean, if they want to make that fight, make that fight. It is what it is." Shout out to Boxing Hacker today for supporting the channel. Shout out to everybody else that supported the channel by coming through, dropping your 2 cents below, coming on the panel, giving your 2 cents. I know not everybody is able to monetarily support the channel today, like my biggest supporter, Boxing Hacker, was today. But be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. It is absolutely free. No cap. What is your final 2 cents today for the show? How much of the show did you hear?
I don't know. I was fucking sick. I've been sick the past couple of days, so I ain't been.
Oh, what's going on with you?
I don't fucking know. I think I got a head cold. I think when the weather changed, I just get sick. I get sick like once or twice a year. It's like shit. Probably my allergies or some shit, man.
Yep, seasonal.
I'm just hearing this shit on, but fucking. I mean, it was a good conversation, but people got to realize society is in a fucked up place right now. It's like.
Well, now let me ask you a question before you go on. Is society in a fucked up place right now, or are we able to see more of society because of the technology?
No, that's in the fucked up place because I seen it change over time. I seen it evolve over time. It's like I experienced a different time where shit wasn't like this. But it was
Boxing Hacker say you got cap 19.
He got cap 19. What you man? Come on, Boxing Hacker, dog.
He said you got cap 19. But go ahead.
Cap. It's like motherfuckers gotta build a society. You know what I'm saying? It gotta be a societal structure where you did at a certain point you don't have to worry too much about who your daughter is dating because you know who it is, you know her family, you know how she was raised or how the guy was raised. Or
no, that's how it used to be. We're way away from that.
So you supposed to have like really your homeboys kids is supposed to marry your kids, like
Right,
somebody you
right.
know.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I'm
agree.
saying? It's like you shouldn't be like marrying strangers is kind of crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Mhm.
brother did. Like I don't like my brother family. I don't like my sister, baby daddy. I don't like none of the motherfuckers. Y'all gotta be ready to fuck them up, though. When I go back to the D, you have to listen to this shit.
Yeah, why you don't like nobody? You sound like
I
you
just
might
don't
be the
like them.
problem.
I'm not the problem because I'm like shit. I get along with everybody too. I just don't. I don't hate them, but I just don't like them because I don't know them. Maybe I do. Maybe if I do them more, I like them.
Right,
You know,
right,
maybe they
right.
just rub me the wrong way. I can't say I don't like them, but it's like I don't know these. I don't know.
You don't
You know
know
what
him.
I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know them. It's like this shit just weird. It did. You know. I'm a cool type of dude. I would try to make it. I ain't gonna be trying to get in nobody business or as long as it's keep it respectful. I just want to keep shit respectful. Like people start disrespecting my mom and something that's then it be different. It's all about respect. Like you gotta
Well,
respect the
this
fact
these
that
the
this is my
family
mama.
get-togethers. These the family get-togethers.
Yeah, they because I've been out of town and
But
shit. They be
it be
calling each
going
other
down.
and shit. It don't be going down, but it be like little problem. It be like it's close to. It feel like it just be shit to be irky that I don't feel comfortable with. Like if I was there, it'd be a problem. So I'm like, I know it's gonna be a problem, but I come back because I gotta check. I gotta let it be known. I'm like, you gotta establish boundaries. Like, look, my brother' wife, he disrespected my mama. My brother ain't checking it. That's a problem with me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't having that
Facts.
shit. It you know what I'm saying? My sister, baby dad, she got a baby daddy. He got like another chick. She don't like my niece and shit. I think you know what I'm saying. If she go over there and they do something to my niece, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna fuck everybody in the house up. You know what I'm saying? Like it gonna be like that. It's like people don't respect boundaries. Like people don't. That's like they got. That's why they gotta get ingratiated with me. Because I'm like, look, you gotta respect the fact that this my niece. You gotta respect the fact that this my mama, and that's cool. It ain't gonna be no problems. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fucked up way to be. But when the family structure is fragmented like that, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of problems you always gonna have. But and it's like it didn't used to be that way. But the community is like fragmented. People got society just fragmented. Like it ain't just
You
black
know what I
people. The
think
whole
the
America
biggest
like
problem
this.
is though? You know what I think the problem is though? And it's not just black people. It's really like society as a whole. They want you to think a certain way. But I've noticed even with black people, like it's like, and this might be another conversation for another 2 cents after dark, but it's like you have to all think the same way because you black. If you black,
Yeah, I
you should
mean,
agree with this. You should agree with this because you black. You should like this because you black. You shouldn't want this because you black. You should support them because they black. You should like what? Like no, 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 no. Just because you black doesn't mean I can't have a difference of opinion or think a different way. And I think
yeah,
people just it's so many. It's like people can't just you think this way, I think this way, and we can still be cool. It's like if you don't think my way, we gotta beef.
right. But I mean, people. It's like I said, we live in an ignorant ass society. Like people don't respect. They always trying to test the motherfucker. And I'm not saying you're supposed to go out and do some gangster shit or go to prison because you got hot. You know what I'm saying? It felt like you had to do something. But I understand it get to that point because everybody got their limits. You know what I'm saying? But people should understand not to push a motherfucker. It's got not to. It shouldn't never come to that point. You know what I'm saying? But people be outside themselves. People be wanting to do that. That's what make it disrespectful because they know it's disrespectful and they still do it.
Man, these people
Like they
mentally
trying to
ill,
provoke
no
you.
cap. These people mentally ill, no cap.
I know, but it's like shit. It's fucked. But it's like that's just the way America is, bro. I did ever want to leave America. Like I was like, man, I can't raise no family in America. I'd be in
Shit, where
fucking
you gonna
prison.
go? Where you gonna go? Where you
Yeah,
gonna go?
like I'll be in
Where you
fucking
gonna go? You
prison.
gonna be right back over here in America.
So I was like,
You see
man,
the
this shit
video,
crazy.
you be seeing the videos of them people that been moving and they be on the videos crying, talking about they want to come back to America and they be losing the electricity for 5 hours after day and all the stuff they got to deal with that they ain't have to deal with in America. I'm like, yeah, y'all done let.
That's because they try to move somewhere cheap, but it's like sometimes you got to move somewhere that's more expensive and figure it out. You get an import-export business. Sometimes you gotta make it work. You know what I'm saying? It's like people don't be thinking ahead, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, it's hard, you know, it ain't gonna be easy, you know. It's like shit. I mean, I don't think it's too late to turn the shit around in America, but it's devolving into a bad situation, dog. Like, I feel sorry for these kids out here today, dog. Cause they out here in the wild, in the belly of the beast. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be hard for them when they become adults to navigate the world, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. You know, I get at y'all tomorrow. I'm about to try to lay my ass down. And I probably even gonna be able to go to sleep.
Yep. You been turned up on this live. You ain't gonna be able to go to sleep as soon as you hop off this live. You gonna have to.
I know. I've been sleeping all day. I've been on East Buddy shit. I just had the shit turned on all day sleeping. I just been sick to the mud. Like, but I don't take no medicine. Nothing. I just try to sweat. I just put some sweats on. Be like, man, I'm about to sweat this shit out.
Man, you're not gonna sweat out no allergies, bro. If you don't go take a Zyrtec, you been suffering. Listen, I'm telling you
I feel cold. I got the cold. I'm gonna be feeling cold, and I got a headache and shit.
Because allergies got flu-like symptoms. Take some Zyrtec. You don't gotta suffer. If you take Zyrtec, when you start feeling the symptoms, take Zyrtec for a couple days, and then you should be straight. You know what times of the year you get sick? Take Zyrtec during that time, and then you'll be straight. You don't gotta be sick. Because it's your allergies that it's not gonna stop until whatever allergens are in the air go away.
Yeah, you're right. I'll probably go to Walgreens. Shit, that shit open 24 hours. Yeah, that's a good thing about Vegas. There's a bunch of shit stay open.
Yeah. All right. Well, go get you some allergy medicine, no cap. Take care of yourself so you get some rest.
Yeah. All right. I'll get at y'all tomorrow.
All right. Peace out. Thank you for everybody for coming by tonight. Had a good time. Tired, man. I promise I was only gonna be on here an hour. Y'all heard me say that at the beginning of this show. But shout out to everybody that came up on the panel and gave their 2 cents. I kept me on here for 3 hours and 20 minutes total. Shout out to everybody that monetarily supported the channel tonight. Big shout out to Boxing Hacker. If you did not get to hear the whole live, go back and listen to the replay. Very intense conversation about Tory Lanez and why his goofy ass ain't tell the truth about what happened. But nah, listen. If you don't want your hosts all in the videos, cussing you out, timing you out the chat, leaving you in the background, muting you, kicking you off the panel, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.